Welcome back. Yes, we are back for the day of days. This is Racing Post Live. Myself, Dave Orton, thrilled to be back in the seat. What a day this is. It's National Day. Happy National Day, everyone out there. The weather's set fair. A great 5 races we bring you this afternoon. Up to the biggie, 5:15. 39 runners go to the post. That's a bit weird, isn't it? No reserves this year, of course. One has come out, Iscaria 10. But we're going to have raucous fun. Don't forget, of course, you can get involved on YouTube. If you want to have your say this afternoon, the Racing Post, and it's live, is the place to be. Thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and share. That's what it's all about. Let's hear from you. I can see loads of people waiting out there. If you want anything on Twitter, Ed Gregson today clipping up for us in magnificent style. Hashtag RP Live. This is the crown jewel, really, in the racing calendar, isn't it? It's the day the nation goes racing, the day the universe goes racing. Whatever you think about it, it's going to be fun. Let us know your 1, 2, 3, 4s. That's what we want to see throughout the afternoon. Charity bets galore. Talking of crown jewels, I am joined by them in the studio. This is going to be fun. My job today is keeping a lid on this lot. Natalie Green, the RP Queen, comes back.
I hope I haven't got crown jewels.
Well, we're going to grab them, Natalie.
I didn't last time I checked, anyway.
Absolutely. Look who's come in for his Racing Post Live debut. We're spreading him as thin as butter, but we managed to put your flight back to Dublin off. This is going to be an absolute pleasure, Dave Jennings.
Looking forward to it, yeah. 3 of the best in the business, either side of me, I have to say. Looking forward to it.
And look who he is, Mr. Smiley himself.
Look at you.
Paul Kealy, the Racing Post, #1 tips. Don't say that too loudly.
Not this week.
Yeah, well, look, this is it. And this is the dream alive moment, guys, isn't it? We're going to go through the card. It's the Grand National. We'll have nostalgia out there from you as well. What was your first memories? Who's, the best winner you've had? All that sort of stuff. Let's get involved. We're going to play for charity today. It's the Injured Jockeys Fund, all right? Again, because this is our top charity. That's what we're going to do. Let's have your tips in there. Who would you be putting up if you were going to do a lucky 15? Are you ready for this?
I'm raring to go, Dave. I'm raring to go.
Has the bladder been emptied?
Yeah, I didn't need to go. Like 5 minutes before the show, I really didn't need to go.
Don't think about
How do you make yourself go to the toilet? But I did go. A little bit came out, so I should last the 4 hours.
Thanks very much for that.
How do you make yourself go to the toilet? Quite right. All the images. Look, we're going to have loads of great chat out there today. Is this a meeting that you would ordinarily go to much?
Not necessarily. We've done the morning show obviously this morning. We did it last year as well. We've done it from the office here in London. I was best man for a stag, and we went to Ladies' Day the year Don Cossack won the Melling Chase, and it was interesting. We had 25 lads from Ireland who had gone racing in Ireland when it was very reserved, and then they went to Ladies' Day at Aintree. And let's just say it was an eye-opener.
Ladies' Day at Aintree, one of your favourite days of the calendar?
Yeah, well, I know now I live in Shropshire, but when in Cheshire near Chester, it's not so far at all, 35 minutes to Aintree. And all my friends every year always go. And it is just brilliant. Like I love Cheltenham Festival, and Gold Cup Day is electric, but Grand National Day is great. I mean, it's carnage, isn't it? It's amazing. I think it is a real crowd, people's race. And the people of Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
Such great characters, such great stories. The Liverpudlians are just really funny as well, good sense of humour. So there's always a real sort of oomph behind
A few of
it.
my mates went that day on the Friday, it was Ladies' Day and it was great crack and everything. And then they got so excited, right? Kilbeggan was on the following Friday night and they were like, oh, this racing game is brilliant. We go to Kilbeggan on the Friday night.
Stag do.
There was about 7 people there.
Not quite the same.
Kills, when was the last national you went to?
Oh, I've never been to the National itself.
Come on!
I've been to Aintree. I've never been to the National itself. I mean, the last time I went to Aintree was 1990 something. I was just trying to look it up actually. Norton's Coin ran in the Grade 1 Melling. Is it the Melling? The bowl. What's the bowl? It's the bowl.
The bowl, whatever the bowl is these days.
It's the bowl
What's
now.
the Melling,
I'm going to tell you because Norton's Coin obviously had not won since the Gold Cup. And if I can find it was second to Aquilifer. So there it goes, 4th of April, 1991. And I was in the stands, and Norton's Coin was absolutely cantering between the last two. Right, and he made a right mess, ran around a bit. Aquilifer picked him up, and some guy in the crowd And we were standing very close to Cyril Griffiths. Some guy in the crouch turned and shouted, "He's just a handicapper." That's what it was. It was a very nasty thing to say. I have to say, not a Scouser. It was a Cockney who said it. And Cyril Griffiths, with big beaming smile, and he says, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, but what a great race. What a lovely fella."
Yeah,
You
right.
know what I mean? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is anyone
nice.
old enough to verify out there? I'm not sure. Tumbleweeds are going around the studio at this point. But let's hear your best national memories. Let's see you 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I'd be 5.
Loads of people out there. Let's get the. You would be fine. You weren't
thanks.
alive. Chris Timms, one of our regulars. Great to have you back. I missed you guys out there. Afternoon, everyone. Nice to have the show back. Good luck today. Good luck, Chris. Let us know what he's a Man United fan, by the way. Dylan, great to have you, Dylan, watching the TV with the sound off. Better listening to the banter in the RP Live studio. It's been a great big wait for us to get David Jennings in the studio. As you know, logistics. He's always out on track and all that sort of stuff. But while he was here, we very kindly agreed. So get your tips in to DJ. He will give you
Get your abuse
a
into
reaction.
DJ. Get it in.
anything
Tell me
you
how much you hate me. Go on. I can
Anything
handle
you
it.
want. Who's enjoyed the morning show out there? It's a great brand for us now, that isn't it? A back at Royal Ascot, Derby.
Yeah, we're back for 5 days, Royal Ascot.
Oh.
It's an early start every morning, but it's a great way to start today.
Yeah.
It is absolutely right. Okay, all right, so we've got a few of you out there. Let's get some. 225, obviously, our first. That's the Premier Handicap. You can see it. If you're new to the show, look, here's the graphics for you, basically. You're going to see the starting prices. We already had John Bon go in the first. It was a walk in the park for John Bon, wasn't it? Let's have a
He
chat
looked good,
about it.
didn't he?
It was very good.
Hey, I like that.
Thank you. And look, we're going to talk about the jump season as a whole. This is a celebratory day, isn't it, really, Grand National Day? I always find that. I always used to, before I started doing this show, I would have a big Grand National party, 30 people around, that sort of thing, barbecue on.
Yeah, we used to do
It was always
things
a
like
great way to do it, sweepstakes and all that sort of stuff. A winner in each race. We have got a nap for you in each race, all right? Safe gambling out there,
You
that's
can
what
have
it's
a
all
Scottish
about.
national party next week instead.
I could have a Scottish National Party instead.
Is it on next Saturday? Yeah. Wow.
Don't you
I know it comes thinking, but it's still a good meeting. It's still
you going?
Yeah,
I'm
going.
You're working.
I'm there.
No,
Are you?
no.
I'm there.
There you go, Kealy.
I'm not boozing either, but I'm going. And
Nothing
it's
against
good fun,
Aintree,
isn't
by the
it?
way.
Yeah.
You seem to prefer the Scottish National.
Yeah.
So look,
Gonna play
Premier
Derby on a
Handicap,
Sunday.
Mersey Novice Hurdle, Liverpool Hurdle. That's a beauty, isn't it? Who wins that one? And then the precursor to the big one itself. It is the, Freebooter? Is that what it says? Freebooter Handicap Chase? Get the glasses out, Dave Orton. What the 415 is a 3-mile handicap over fences that usually breeding ground for future national winners. Will we see next year's national winner in that? And the big one itself, 515. This is the crown in the jewel for Racing Post Live. This is when the most people historically watch this show. Let's build it up. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you've not done it. You can then get involved in the chat and have your say. We're watching Nicky Henderson, but it's been a great week for Hendo, by the way, isn't it?
Yeah, they're running really well. Like, even horses that haven't won from are running well. Lucia ran really well.
Yeah.
Horses that kind of disappointed.
Didn't the
Cheltenham.
ground one against Lucia?
Lucia, yeah, I thought she ran well.
Oh, really well. Yeah. I don't think it was great. I don't think she
Yeah,
was good
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, in the pocket looked very good, didn't he? Highlights of the week, Shishkin, of course, getting himself up.
Yeah,
Your charity bet I saw, was that the charity bet that went in this week?
Yeah, I did. I fancied Shishkin, but I got my philosophy was completely wrong, but I got the result right.
He's that sort of horse.
Yeah, I thought he'd be on the outside. He was on the inside. He was upside in the back of a high senior. But I thought the performance of the week visually was from Jerry Colomb. That was the one performance where you kind of went, "Whoa,
Yeah.
he actually is a Gold Cup horse."
Oh,
He
yeah.
is, he absolutely is. And in the pocket, I thought was good. I really enjoyed that race.
So we're going to look back at the season as a whole because we've got gaps in between the races. But listen, we're building up to the greatest race
Gaps.
anywhere.
Gaps. We've got tumbleweeds from the
Listen, this is
415
why
to the
we're here,
515.
king and queen of the fillers.
We're going to do charades from 4.
We can do charades, we can
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
We're going to play.
Something of a gamble developing in the first race, the 225. Listen, again, if you're new to the show, we're going to pin the market stories for you. We'll tell you where your money went. That's most important, isn't it? And you'll get the best race reaction in the business. We might even get some of the guys to do a commentary for you. Shall we take segments of the National each?
Yes.
Keels, you ready for this?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah. I
Yeah?
mean, how much time do we need? We haven't put a multiple bet on yet.
Well, no, right. Let this. Look, Keels is getting
Oh,
this
you're
show.
on it, Keel.
It's taken 3 years, but Keels is now getting this show. Keels is
I know what I'm
working the
doing.
Racing
Listen,
Post app today.
One thing, I'm working the Racing Post app, and we haven't put a multiple bet on yet, and you've entrusted me with doing it, so we
Well-
need as long as possible.
Mission Control, we have Dave Lowe and Will Carey in the studio today, and I think they might be taking part. We're also playing for this bad boy. You can do it out there if you like. Why not get the family involved? This is the day, isn't it, when you were kids, where your mum and dad would let you have your £2 on or whatever, or 50p in my day or whatever it was, 2p, whatever it was, and you pick a couple in the national. You all sit around the telly and watch it. We're 5 points for a win, 3 points for a second, and 1 point for a third, and we'll play amongst each other, and we'll have a bit of crap with that, but you can get involved as well, and Mission Control will do it. So, good time, Johnny, being gambled in the first, but let's get the lucky 15 on. Now, as you know, that is basically 4 bets, all right? So it's a small outlay for a big return. And Kills, I think they've built it into it, Mission Control, for you. And I'm going first. I got first on.
Right, they haven't built it in. I've got to do it myself.
Here we go. Let's
I've got
get
to
the
do it
app
myself.
up.
Oh my
Where
word.
shall we go? Well, I've got the app. We're going to start on the 225 at Aintree. If they can,
There we are.
Here we go.
You can mirror this out there, guys, by the way.
There we go. Look, this is.
God, I can't believe you're actually doing
This
this.
is how to put a bet on, apparently. Right, go on, what are we having?
Well, we have
Mexico, please, for me.
Mexico.
Everyone will have a different fancy in this, but Stuart Edwards won this 2 years ago, and this absolutely
Okay.
hosed up on Midlands National
Did
Day.
that? No,
Mexico, are we on?
No, it didn't.
You're not filling me with confidence here, Keels, I have to say.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Add more
there.
selections. Look.
That's it. Yes, Keels, we're getting the
Keely's-
hang of this.
Keely's-
Well, listen,
Yes.
it's educational. We want people to learn how to use the Racing Post app.
Keely's fat fingers working. Right, we're going to go on to the 3 o'clock now.
We are.
We are going to go.
I wonder if we go to Mexico, will things get better?
Here we go. Now, DJ, you're a massive favourite backer, aren't you? So
No, I'm not. No, but this is the day we find out actually how good Hermes Allen is.
You still believe?
I do believe, because everything about the Challow and everything about his performances leading up to the Ballymore suggests that he is a really good horse. So I'm willing to say it was too bad. If he finished second or third, you'd be kind of saying to yourself, see the way I said third there?
Very
Like
good, DJ.
I've been practicing my THs. If he finished second or third, I think we would say, right, he's just not that. He's not as good as we thought he was. But he bombed out completely. So I'm willing to give him another chance. I think flat track, 2.5 miles, Aintree, positive Harry Cobden, right. My whole day will revolve around Hermes Allen.
You are absolutely right about that. It's always been a theory that I've subscribed to. If a horse bombs out, right, if it finishes third or fourth, you know its limitations are starting to show, right? Houston, we might have a problem. But it was too bad to be true, wasn't
Well, I tell you what I think. And I could be just talking nonsense here, which I think he didn't run since the Challow after Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was a long break for a horse that went from Stratford to Cheltenham to Newbury. And like, who might tell Paul Nichols what to do? But I think maybe he's the type of horse, he's not massive like.
Yeah.
I think he's the type of horse who would have liked potentially a run before the Ballymore, because it was a bit of a shock to the system. They went much quicker in the Ballymore with Champ Kealy in there than any other race he's ran in.
This is your nap of the day, isn't it?
This is my nap of the meeting.
Hermes Allen's second leg of our lucky 15. Kills, if you'd like to
Third
take
one.
the
Get
next
him
one,
in.
please.
yeah, he's in.
Do you agree or
He's in.
disagree?
He's
You filled
done-
brilliantly there, in case you
yeah,
didn't.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if he win. I really liked it. Let's be clear about it, but we can get to that a bit later.
We don't have to back that. We're going to have singles as well for the Injured Jockey Fund today as well. Okay, in the next race, Kills, and this is a dual pick really, because you've both gone in the Grade 1 3-mile hurdle for
Champ. I think he's got a great chance. I mean, you know, the thing about Champ is he's exceptional when fresh. He's never been out of the first 2 when fresh. And, OK, he might be 11 years old, but Saidu Burley won the Stayers Hurdle. And I think that just showed that there isn't an absolute standout in the division. So I think coming here, he was third in the race last year, beaten a long way, but he had run at Cheltenham before. And they deliberately left him alone and thought, we're going to come here. They probably thought, well, we can't really win the Stayers. We're going to come here instead.
This would be more his track as well, really, because obviously when he was a novice, didn't he? He actually got beaten in the Ballymore and then came and won at this meeting.
So I've added him in. That's 3 in the bet slip. Now the last one ought to be in the Nash, shouldn't it?
Oh, no, it's not,
It's
because
not.
well, we're building up for the Nash. Natalie
Building
Green.
up.
Right.
See, I'd actually be on the other Henson horse. I'd be on Marie's Rock in that. But
Yeah, but
I'll make my case later.
come on.
Champ, really?
All right now.
What are you asking me to do?
What have you got in the 415?
What are you waiting to? Wait until you give us a selection.
What have I
I'll
got
rip
in
you
the
apart for that one.
415? I like Beauport
Bosh.
in the 415.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you've got to get with
lose
this is
faith.
a team effort, Paul Kealy.
No, I backed Beauport for the King Muir actually, and they probably just went too hard, didn't
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I just watched that replay. I thought,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to give Beauport another chance
So
today.
Kills, that would be the final leg, please, if you don't mind.
and
Then we can
Jordan
move
back on board.
they? Okay, that's the final leg. We're going to have a lucky 15.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm in charge, so £25 lucky 15. No.
Keels, I'm very impressed with you so far now. Look
Right,
at this.
here we go. Look at this.
There
It's
you go.
rolling down. Let's go. Lucky 15. £1
Yeah, £1, please,
£1
Kills. Yeah. See,
each way.
yes. Small outlay.
Each way,
Little
yes.
bit
all
back.
the-
There you go.
30 quid stake,
600 quid.
£2,611.69. Good luck getting that off me if that wins.
Yeah.
And that will be going to the Injured Jockeys Fund if that wins. And in all seriousness, guys, if you don't, it's quite tricky out there today. We could talk about the day as a whole. I think it's quite the trickiest card I've seen for quite some time. That often is when you get it right, though, isn't it? And the puzzle's there to be solved. We're going to try and help you out throughout the day. There you go. Just to remind you, Beauport was the final leg, and that is £30 on for a nice couple of bags.
He's in good form today, Keels, because not only did he do that flawlessly on the iPad there, right, put on the bet, we played table tennis this morning, myself and Keels, right?
You wipe the floor, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually thought during my childhood I was a really good table tennis player, and Keels wiped the floor with me a few years ago, so I thought today, kind of, you weren't in great form this morning, you were a bit kind of, you didn't wake up in great form, did you?
Yeah, but class is permanent.
Yeah, and he bet me 20,
Cream rises.
21-8, 21-12.
7.
He brings in his,
21-7.
he brings in his own bat to the office to
He
play.
is, no word of a lie, he's the best table tennis player I've seen. That's
You
like-
really haven't watched that much table tennis, to be
No,
fair.
but in the flesh. In the flesh.
It's been quite fun to do before the show as well.
What, play a bit of table tennis?
Yeah.
We've been warming up, haven't we, in the
Yeah.
office? We're ready to go. We're going to have some great fun this afternoon. Stick with us. There's that Members Club offer. Look, 50% off. If you're not signed up to the Racing Post, it's not going to last forever, this offer. It's big festivals, basically, and then it goes back to being 30-odd quid a month, but it's $19.98 for you out there. You get absolutely everything with that. There to remind you is the charity Lucky 15. So it's Mexico in the first, Hermes Allen, Champ, and Beauport. What would your Lucky 15s be? Well,
There's
let us know.
Mexico Dave in pictures.
Why are we going with Mexico?
I like Mexico.
Why is it not Mexico?
It's you know,
Well,
I
it's
like to-
Mexico, Mexico,
Yes,
Mexico,
sorry.
everybody,
No,
Mexico.
I like to be indigenous. I'm one of those very annoying people that when I walk into a certain
he'll
type
say-
of restaurant, I will adapt
Do you
to
say?
restaurants.
do
No,
say-
you don't.
I do.
In a
you
not in a
say?
I
Chinese.
do. It's
do you do in
awful.
How
My
do you
wife
say
hates
Bahrain?
it.
Do you say Bahrain?
I don't
do
know.
You?
However, the locals
What do you do
would
in a
say it.
Chinese then?
Meant to say
I
Bahrain.
start. I'm not going to do it. You're not lulling me
Have you
into
never
it.
had Chinese with Dave?
No,
I've never
me
had
into
Chinese
it.
with Dave. He goes, yeah, I'll have the hot and sour soup and the prontos with hot sour sauce.
She's been with me. It's quite
so
embarrassing.
funny.
Honestly, I once went into a Nigerian restaurant. It was almost asked to leave time. But no, I like to try and blend in. I've been around the world a little bit. I like to
Joe's been to
My
Australia.
dad used to talk in slow motion in foreign restaurants. It was really funny.
Yeah, well, that's
Same
what
thing.
my dad does as well.
We
Yeah.
My
haven't
dad
got
does
time,
that.
but the
can't believe
Shergar Cup
any-
came. Who was the French jockey, the female jockey that came over? Oh, I can't remember her name now. She came over. She very kindly came on to
Oh,
watch
she came on to
Shout.
watch Shout, didn't she?
Do you
Young
remember
girl,
that,
yeah,
kid?
yeah.
Oh, and
And
say that.
what was her name?
Blonde hair.
No, she was an excellent rider.
What were you
actually.
going to say?
Anyway,
Very
whoever it
pretty
was,
one.
you'll know out
Very
there.
pretty.
very pretty one.
I
Like
started
you,
morphing into hello, hello.
Don't know.
Good mooning and all that sort of thing. I started because I wasn't sure she could understand me.
She's not the one I interviewed asking.
I can't
We'll remember later. I
Anyway,
think she is.
we'll find out. But anyway, the producers were tearing their hair out. They couldn't
It
believe
was
it. If you
cry
could
your
watch
eyes
that
out
back.
funny is what it
Anyway,
was, but
moving on.
Don't go to Chinese,
Mexico is my hope in this race. So I'll get it out. I'm hoping that this kicks me off. And let's face it, if you're going to have a go at the king, you better not miss. This is my trophy, DJ. Nat will tell you. Very rarely ends up on
Yeah, you're not too
Green's
bad.
doorstep.
I was second last time, wasn't I?
Close but no cigar. First place loser, some people call it. But Mexico for me. All right, let's give you some actual in-depth analysis on this, shall we? Stuart Edmonds, great record at Aintree. Whether this has quite been the plan, I don't know, because it only comes 14 days after Midlands National Day, when everyone's forgotten about Cheltenham. You would have been there, wouldn't you, Midlands National Day?
Oh, it was brilliant.
He absolutely bolted up this horse. We've had the rain, haven't we? We should tell you about this. We'll also, actually get quite serious on the show at some point. We'll have a look at what we think the ground's doing after this. Quick word on that, Kills. Watered ground coming into it. What was she supposed to do, Sadiqa Varmi?
I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I mean, who do you take your advice from when it comes to weather forecast? Because the Met Office throughout Thursday were literally showing. I mean, I spent my life looking on websites, looking at weather, and they were showing less than 5% chance of rain all day Friday. I've got an app, it's a very good app called Windy, which was showing a good deal. Different forecast with a fair bit of rain forecast, and of course that's what they had.
Yep.
Although Aintree only said they only got 3.6 mil, and in and around the area there were people saying it had been raining for hours and hours and hours. So they seemed like they missed the worst of it anyway. It looked to me like it had got a fair bit slower, but the time suggested it wasn't awful. Like, I mean, so if it dries out, I don't know. I'm confused. I mean, I was when I was doing the weekend on Monday, I was working on the basis of really testing ground because it was literally rain was forecast every day.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was backing a few horses that want soft ground. And then when it come to Wednesday, and I'm looking at Friday's racing, and I'm thinking, right, I need some good ground horses now. And then it rained. And then so I really just don't know what it's going to be like.
It did rain quite a lot.
So this is very important for us, isn't
did.
it? We'll look at John Bond's time as well in the first and get a handle because,
Let's have a look.
But obviously the Melling course, as we call it, is not the national course. The national course, of course, we've had 2 races over it, haven't we? It looked pretty hard work to me in the top of him yesterday. I don't know whether that's because it was sloppy ground, I don't know.
Horton Clare's fairly stopped, didn't he? Like
The class
traded,
angle.
I think he traded evens and running, and then he probably, Paul just went in a little bit too quick, I'd say.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with sloppy ground, but sloppy ground, if you've got sloppy ground, you want it to stay sloppy ground.
yes.
This is almost more problematic because the sunshine is out today. There looks to be a little bit of a breeze. It's holding ground. That's an absolute.
Well,
What's not a
Wait
swear
till you
word?
get
Kills,
win on
it's
top.
almost like you want to break something here, Kills.
yeah, well,
What's
the
going
hurdles course is slightly slower than the chase course, but John Bond's gone
347.
347.89, fast against RP standard by 2.11 seconds. He ain't much soft in that ground.
on? So a reminder, we are well out of winter time now. If Keith
Yeah.
Melrose was on this show, he'd be saying it's just not going to be the
So I
soft
could have
that we know
changed.
it.
I changed all my selections yesterday for Saturday. Well, not all of them. I changed some of my selections yesterday for Saturday, based on the fact that it looked like it was going to get really boggy. And of course, they've had a dry night. It's dry now, and that suggests it's fairly quick.
Having looked like he was going to drift out, guys, it looks like the Cheltenham Win a Good Time Johnny is going to go off clear fav here. Tony Martin, 0 from 19 at Aintree in the last 10 years, but whether he's quite had the calibre of horses going over that he used to, I don't really know. This one with a lot in hand in the Potence, didn't it, DJ? Do you like him? Are you going against him?
Yeah, I think he's the right favourite. I think 4-1 is probably skimpy enough. The key thing with Good Times Johnny was I didn't think he'd handle the track at Cheltenham. He'd been to Cheltenham a few times, but on the old course, and he hated it. But I said it to Tony after. I said, Tony, every time I've asked you about Good Time Johnny, I said, you tell me he doesn't like Cheltenham. And he goes, no. He says, the new course is completely different for him, he said, than the old course. So I seen the money arriving for him at Cheltenham, and there was a proper Irish plunge on him at Cheltenham.
Yeah.
I said, no, he won't win because he won't handle the track. So I think Aintree will suit him, and he's kind of, if he gathers a head of steam turning for home, he's definitely got a big chance. But 4-1, he is the right favourite. Would I back him at 4-1? No.
What a lot of people have got to know about you, DJ, through Up in the Ante in particular, is that you love a British horse, don't you? And in particular, you love a Paul Nicholls horse.
Do I?
You do.
Do
I
I?
remember you were with Brave Man's Game throughout his novice season,
Yeah,
when a
that
lot
one
of people were saying, I don't want to get, but you are once again. You are being swayed this way.
Irving, as we were discussing earlier, remember
Irving, yeah, back to Irving.
They're all
against
out there, aren't
Duvan, yeah. Look, not necessarily. I think on Up in the Ante, I had a bit of a mix of Irish and English. I think Outlaw Peter is still a well-handicapped horse. I thought he went up £5 for winning at Kempton, but I thought he bolted up at Kempton. And I think he's been crying out for going back over 3 miles. He was the horse that was bought from Ireland that looked like he could potentially be a graded horse. Took him a while to find his feet. I think he's well handicapped, Outlaw Peter. I could see him running really well.
You're hoping this is a precursor for, of course, things to come, aren't you? Because this is those colours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Hermes Allen Day today. Yeah.
He surprised me at Kempton, this chap, when he beat the Bomberlister, because I analysed in the paper his Wincanton, and I know he had to do the running. He was 4-9 favourite. He didn't impress me that much. So, but you're thinking this is still ahead.
Yeah,
of
he
him.
kind of idles a lot, and he was I think today could be his day.
They're getting to go
I
now.
think I'm
Natalie,
getting,
not
I'm
getting to
getting
go.
the West Balboa. I'm going
West
on the
Balboa's
mare.
been saved for this. Another Kempton winner.
Yeah, no, look, she's
Got a minute and
honestly,
a
I
half
think
to
there's
line
so
up.
much more to like about her.
Yeah.
Looks like they're
Ticks a
lining
lot
up,
of
got a minute
boxes.
and a
They
half.
are, well, there's one still having his girth checked, so they are trying to line up. But
Yeah, she's tough and hardy,
don't
isn't
worry.
she, and lightly raced. And
no, I thought actually she was so impressive in the Lanzarote. That was gruelling. That was a proper test. And
Outlaw Peter was in that race.
I love a tough mare.
Do you know what I've just realised?
What?
So
That
you
we
are
fight
talking there,
speed.
and I go over to Kealy
Yeah,
and say
we're
something,
on chat.
thinking that nobody can hear me, but our microphones are on. I've just realised that people can hear me when I'm talking to you.
first yellow
sorry.
card for David Jennings on the show.
Sorry, yeah, I did it too. Listen,
You always do it.
yeah, sorry.
Dave Orton is a...
Absolutely.
I can
Gills,
finish
what do you
that
like in
sentence
this? Because the people are waiting.
Yeah, well, I ended up tipping Good Time Johnny on the grounds that the going was going to be soft. He would have won with £5 more on his back at Cheltenham. But had the ground, I'd have probably stuck with Antalya if I'd have known the ground was going to be as quick as as John Bond suggests it is, I think Antalya is a very, very well handicapped horse. He just didn't have the ground to suit him at Cheltenham.
It was a bit of a bumper car affair for him,
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
it?
he probably would have been second or third if he hadn't got in there. He was sixth. He wasn't beaten very far. Anyway, I think 10-1's a big price now. But I've ended up tipping Good Time Johnny in the paper despite having backed Antalya a few days ago.
Well, I think that we've got the lucky 15 for this race, so good luck whichever way you play in the
I
225.
think they put me on the wrong horse. You put me on Good Time Johnny, guys. I'm definitely not on Good Time Johnny.
Do you know what she's like
I'm
about
on
this
West
trophy?
Balboa, and
Mission
I want
Control,
that
better
trophy.
get that right.
She's off a mark of 135. For goodness sake, she'll be dangerous. She's great on versatile
She's
ground.
going to go off Fav now, guys, I think,
is
as well,
gonna
by the way.
Reverse. He had a horrible fall with Calico in the last, but West Balboa is firmly my pick. Don't put me on for anything else.
Ground's come in her favour, isn't it?
I
that
want the
little bit of
trophy
rain?
today, guys. I'm not here for playing. I'm here for winning.
There you go. All right, Henry's friend being kept away from the others. He looks a bit flighty out there. Money for him as well, Ben Pauling's horse.
It is flighty, isn't it?
What we're going to do is we appreciate a lot of you out there don't have the pictures. Loads of international viewers will be coming on today of all days. I will do my best to tell you where your hope is. I'll be going to the analysts in the room
Dave,
as
we've
well.
got to hope that Henry's friend behaves here, because when they're trying to line up in an orderly fashion with a field of this size at a festival, a meeting this size, it is not good when one does this.
Quite a lot of people in the community out there, the chat have gone for Henry's friend as well. Means I've got it open, guys. I can see you out there.
It's very hard to just say you can trot in. When a horse is cantering on the spot, you cannot. A horse can canter on the spot slower than it can trot. So when you just say, "I'll just trot in," that is not a straightforward request for a horse that's cantering on the spot.
We've got a horsey person with
Well,
us today, thank
it's
goodness.
impossible. It's impossible when you've got that situation. You can't. It doesn't go any slower because it wants to go on the spot.
Well, it's National Day. It looks like there might be. You've got Mill Green in this, of course, who was second a couple of years ago, wasn't he? He's just a pound lower. I think, was it last year he was third in it, of course?
Just trot, Henry's friend.
Come on, he's going to let them go, is he?
Go.
Yes, he
They're
has.
off. They're
All
off.
right, we're off and running. Let's have fun. This is DJ's first experience of Racing Post Live. Maybe yours too. And if that's the case, Outlaw, Peter and DJ lead over the last. He'll be open for that this time around. We've got a couple of circuits to go. Good Time Johnny, the Potence winner, is on the inside. Mill Green already being squeezed out. He doesn't like it on the inside. Moon Hunter in the middle there. I know you're pregnant, Nat, but if you get a bit windy, turn off the light.
I just did a really bad hiccup.
Glimpse of Gala is up there as well for Charlie Longston. Really tough mare this is. And tell you what the interesting thing is here already. The winter horses are right up there to the fore. They
Steady
stay.
pace. Steady
all right?
pace.
Steady pace,
Steady
Gills?
pace, is it? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
steady enough, yeah. Harry
Yeah,
is
slow
dictating
enough,
it from
isn't
the
it?
front here on Outlaw Peter. It's interesting, obviously, stepping back up the 3 miles. Harry obviously doesn't have any concerns about stamina here. So
Harry Cobden, didn't he love it yesterday on
Pick Dory.
Pick Dory, thank
Brilliant.
goodness.
That was
I
good
mean, that was great to see. He doesn't always give that
And he
much
did.
away, does he?
He was on the opening show as well in the morning. It was nice.
Mexico, the lucky 15 pick for me is right up there as well. Of course, Kieran Gethin's taking the ride.
Oh.
Kate Tracy's partner there. What didn't you like there, DJ?
He was a bit hestant there, Outlaw Peter.
This
I
is-
think he just got out jumped by a glimpse of Gala, to be honest. I don't
You've
think
got
it
the
was-
pleasure of watching DJ watch where his money's going this afternoon. That's the beauty of it. What do you make a Good Time Johnny Kills? You've got more in front of you than you have behind.
Yeah, that's always going to be the case, though, wasn't it? Like, it's not an issue. It's not.
Nice
It's
position.
not a massive issue. He's in a fine position. It's not going to. We've got a long way to go yet. haven't we?
It's one of the slowest home straights, isn't it? You
Can
turn
be.
in thinking it's a bit like Doncaster on the flat. You're like, how long have we got to go? 3 hurdles, of course, in the home straight. And every time we look at the clock here on the show, you know what it says. And at the moment, it's even just gone sub 30 miles per hour. One is not live in live, Natalie Green. That's Dallas Depict on. Brian Hughes, your mate's on it.
Yeah, I know. God, Brian, it's mad, isn't it? Champion jockey, didn't really rides at Cheltenham and not in the national, and then just having a little bit of scrubbing away here. I'm quite pleased with my pick at the moment. West Balboa, plenty of cover.
Yeah, she's got a bit of cover
Harry's
there. Yeah.
really covered her up
Lovely
nicely. Really nice spot there. Yeah, looks really happy. I mean, they're all in a pretty good rhythm, aren't they, to be honest
Now
with
we
you?
can see them. Party Business, last year's winner. He's right out the back this time. Hasn't been a great jump season. He's had loads of winners on the all-weather Ian Williams, but the jumpers just really won't fire him. Moon Hunter, still unexposed for Henry Daly. Will he get home? We'll find out. We can now see them in a really good line. Anything catching your eye, DJ? If you had to jump on one in running?
On Talyur, I jump on and
Yeah,
run.
he's
like
going
that.
very nicely, isn't he? He's going very nicely. Jumping a
Commentator's
bit slow.
curse.
Yeah,
It's always the way in here.
so typical, but
West
he is
Balboa
going.
would be the other one. On
he is
Talyur and
enjoying
West
himself.
Balboa.
All right, though,
yeah.
Brian
And good
Hughes.
time, Johnny. I think Liam McKenna. Liam McKenna, that was obviously his big day in the sun, DJ, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he won on Tudor City, didn't he, in Galway? And you can tell that Tony loves Liam McKenna, DJ, doesn't he? Again, you'd be thinking he'd be getting more chances next season.
Yeah, he's mid-20s, but he's a really good rider. Antalya just made 2 mistakes after we said
It's
that's
typical.
the horse we want to be on. 2 mistakes.
It's good time, Johnny. He hasn't moved a muscle on him directly behind him as well. He's going fine.
And you're right to pick up on Brian Hughes there with Dallas Picks, because he's really struggling to get this horse interested. He's having to bounce up and down a bit. It's what I call a rising canter. And he'll be absolutely working his leg muscles, I'm telling you now, saying, come on, but he just doesn't really look particularly interested at the back. Is that Dolphin Square as well?
Really, it is.
Dolphin
They're
Square
really
back?
strung
They
out at the
are,
moment.
They're stringing out, aren't they? And they just don't
Yeah,
look
if you're looking for Gatsby Grey, he's out the back as well. Looking for some of the others. What's in those Tim Leslie colours?
That's
Gaelic
the-
Coast.
yeah.
Regarding Ruth is making a bit of ground up. She's going all right. Tell you one that catches my eye. Villar Danza's going all right as well. Earn River as well. Didn't work out for him over fences, doesn't it? He's going well. Quite happy with the way Mexico's going too.
Mexico, you happy there? Yeah, Mexico looks to be having a good time.
It's just Harry Cobden's MO, isn't it?
Yeah.
Catch me if you can. You know,
Got a
you
bit
didn't like that,
closer to
DJ.
that.
No, I think if I'd like to trade tips with Natalie here, I think West Balboa in running is the one that's travelling sweetest
Yeah,
at the
she
moment.
does.
I think
She
there's so
is.
many going well at the moment, chaps. I wouldn't want to choose now.
It's hard to call it.
What's this? Is this
Brian's
4
pulling
out?
up.
5 out?
No,
So
5
Brian's pulling up Dallas to Pictons, I think.
One's gone then, basically. Dallas to Picton. If you're doing a sweepstake at home with your parties, that one's got Itchy Feet, one of Paul Kealy's best shouts of the season. Turns out he's just been wanting to go back for.
Yeah, he wanted to
he's
go
going
back
well,
over
isn't
hurdles. He was. I think he's just starting to feel the pinch a little bit, to
he?
be honest.
He's going to get
Off
he's gonna
Luran
move
has
on.
moved to the front under Kieran Buckley.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is a Moran horse, isn't it, of course, for Gordon Elliott.
Moran, excuse me.
Moran,
Noel
sorry,
and
not
Valerie
Moran.
Moran.
I know, I used to say Moran.
He's not even putting me up on Gaelic here. All right, okay. Anti-Air, despite
Yeah,
those areas,
Anti-Air
he's getting
still
close.
going
West
okay,
Alba.
isn't
Now we're getting sexy, guys. We're coming into the home straight. Okay, DJ, you're still in front.
Still in front, Outlaw Peter won't be staying there. I don't think Carrie is holding on too much. Fluron has probably travelled a little bit keen to this point. Mill Green travels well in running. Antalya are just coming off it, but West Balboa, as I've said all along, is the one that I would like to be on turning into the home
Yeah.
straight. West Balboa is the real traveller. Look,
Yes, I think so.
Barry is
Mexico's
tankily
filling his
getting-
lungs. Looks
getting
like
excited,
Mark
man.
Henry
Getting
bit soon.
excited.
What's this
I want
creeping
that
in the
cup.
green and the blue? With this, in the green and the... I'm going to find it.
Are
Hang on
you
a minute.
sure? I think it's... See,
Coming
It
up
might be
over the third
Pounding
last.
Poet for Tom
Good
Lacey.
jump by
I can see it's
Outlaw
going.
Peter.
River's there.
Your
Fluron.
Mexico.
Come on, DJ, you might just have this.
Mexico's going a bit
look at
back.
this.
Oh, here comes the
West
Balboa.
Balboa.
Harry Skelton being patient on this. Good time,
Come
Johnny,
on,
too far
Harry.
back. At the moment,
it's Outlaw
deep.
Peter
Could this
from
be
West
a debut
Balboa.
win for David Jennings?
West Balboa. wins.
West Balboa's coming. Come on,
Come
Natty
on.
Green.
I know, I'm really excited.
Mexico
I
up
love
and
this
down on the
cup
spot.
Today.
Pounding Poet there. Clips
Come
the
on,
cars going to
Harry.
bring. Mill
Keep
Green
her
could be
going.
racing again.
Keep her
Gatsby
going.
Gray's coming
West
hard.
Balboa.
And the Balboa
Come on,
gets
girl.
sent on.
Come on, girl. Keep
Go
going.
West, says Harry Skelton. Kept for the
Go.
meeting. The Lanzarote winner.
She's good,
What
isn't
a
she?
piece of training this. Antire's flying home again all too late. Same as good time,
Yes,
Johnny.
on the
Pounding
outside.
Poet going to get second. Mill
Pounding
Green
Poet.
third for the third year in a row. Wow, Gatsby Gray and a good
Awesome.
time, Johnny. Flew home.
Brilliant.
But that was one-way traffic from the last. Favourite wins the first here on Racing Post Live. There you go then. Who had it? Get him in. It's a simple game, isn't it, sometimes? I'll tell you what would be interesting. Lots of favourites seem to be winning this week.
Helicopter.
Oh, that's
Is that
what
what it's called,
That's
yeah?
what they call it.
Helicopter.
But yeah,
my
you don't look
fave.
impressed.
No, I do. I like it. I don't see why people actually made a big thing of it. So what if he celebrates? It's
I
great.
love-
That's what- that's
I
what the-
love it.
You're welcome.
And this
on
rubbish,
show,
oh, he's gonna-
so.
He's
because they're jealous.
He's
and
going to
they
fall off
stay on.
someday. He's no more jockeys riding with their
Yeah,
legs.
I love to see jockeys celebrating, right?
Yeah.
It's you want to
So
see
do
it.
I.
You want to see it on the flat more. You want to see it more. It's part of the game.
Otherwise, it's
Showbiz
like-
people.
Boring. It's like everything. We all have to go with the rules all the time. When you see a jockey win a great race and they are happy, you're like, go on, give it some beans. I don't really care. If you fall off after the line, doesn't matter anyway, does it? Really?
Great start by you.
Great stuff.
Great start
Yeah,
by
I
you.
loved her. I'm just so pleased because I really want to take that cup.
Takes the pressure
Well,
off
look, I'm afraid to say I'm moving it closer. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I'll
Natty
just touch
Green.
it once for winning one race, and then
There you
let's
go.
see.
All right, so we're off and running here. DJ, let's just go for Outlaw Peter. Do you think he's just sort of
Ridden
just
very
teed it up?
didn't jump particularly well. I thought he stumbled into a few. He'll make a nice chaser next season, but he's a handicap chaser rather than a graded chaser. The winner, look, she poked my eye out the whole way. Just travelled well.
Yeah, you did say.
And you know, Dan is a terrific target trainer as well. Like, put her away for this. He said time and time again, even in the lead up to Cheltenham, that he thought she was well handicapped. She is well handicapped. It was one of those. Even Robbie Wilders, our colleague in the Racing Post, had a drink with him last night. That was his bet of the day, West Balboa. So well done, Robbie, if you're
He's had
watching.
a hell of a week because he put up the McConnell winner, of course.
Yeah, Fenner Cross.
He put it up at 25s at the start of the week. Yeah,
She's very beautiful, isn't she, as well, West Balboa? She's got all the right things in all the right places. She's really well put together. Didn't Pounding Poet do well, though?
Yeah,
he came from absolutely nowhere.
Didn't he do brilliantly? Watching the replay, I'm thinking, God, actually, that was a hard enough task for Pounding Poet. That was a really, they'd be delighted with that.
Kills has come to you. Good time, Johnny. Again, who just needed that hill, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he just found it all hard work. Found it a bit quick, didn't he? I mean, I think the reason for putting him up was the fact that the ground was going to be soft. I don't think it is that soft, and it's probably just caught him out. He needed more of a test, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just started to come off it, coming round the bend, but he came home really strongly. I think he's probably still well handicapped, haven't you?
Definitely.
Yeah. One horse just to put in your tracker for Punchtown. Off Fluron, travelled well, hasn't run in a little while, and I'd say Kieran Buckley probably just couldn't hold on to him. Cover in a 3 mile handicap at Punchestown. Could be a big player. Off Fluron, a little bit of better ground. I'd say Off Fluron as well handicapped.
Is it
better from that.
at the end of the month? Punchestown?
Punchestown, yeah, 2 weeks, yeah.
Always around, just for the guineas,
yeah.
isn't it, usually? All right, yeah, so we're picking some of the bones out of that Untier again. I'll tell you what, Gatsby Gray ran very well.
Yeah, hampered there.
He's been held up on, and I'm hoping that McKinnon also goes well later on in the 3 o'clock. So, again, look, I wonder how much was really said about him winning the County and the Coral at Cheltenham that week. He is some target handicap trainer, isn't he?
Dan Skelton. Oh, absolutely,
To
yeah.
take both of those crowns.
Yeah, and I was absolutely mad on Pembroke in the County Hurdle. Was on anti-post at a big price. And I think with Dan, like, he knows the limitations of his horses, which I like. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't like oversell them. He doesn't like just say West Balboa there. You could have chance running her in something like the Mayor's Hurdle. You could have aimed her high, but he said no, she's well handicapped. And I find with a mare like that that's handicapped the way she is, you've one shot at exploiting that mark. That was his shot, and he didn't miss.
He's very realistic, Dan, and like he doesn't really mince his words. Like that's what I was saying about. That's why he never sort of like with Lemilos straight away at Kelso. He just said, "Yeah, but this isn't the target." Like he ran well, but I just wanted him to run well. He's not 100% that. I don't want him 100% for Kelso. I want him 100% for the National.
First nod to the National at 5:15.
There's one more in that race just to keep an eye on that went well for a very long way and doesn't want any cut in the ground at all. Regarding Ruth, she's finished out with a washing in the end, but she's going to pick something up this spring on good ground.
Okay, that could, because we've got things like we've got good meetings coming up, haven't we? Still,
Yeah.
You got the Bet365 at the end of the month with Scottish National next week as well. But it's all about the 5:15. Let us know what your national tips are. Great to have so many people watching out there. Let's get some more social comments up. You can do this, of course, by liking, subscribing, comment, and sharing on these shows. And rapping Andy Kelly. Raps. Ye have some line up today, Dave. Well, indeed we do. This is as good as it gets, isn't it? And we're having loads and loads of fun. And the favourite wins the first. Natalie Green told you she would. And there is, oh my Lord, look at that. It's a clean sweep so far for Natalie Green. 5 points. Mission Control's even on there. That's the guys in the gallery there having a bit of fun with us today. Who else had it? Let's hear it. We'll give you a shout out before we go up to the next at 3 o'clock. We've got loads of time in between the races today. We can have a look back at the season, ask you questions of the panellists, talk about what you want. Honestly, we'll try and find you the 1, 2, 3, 4 somehow of our great race at 5:15 as well. We've been asking people for their 5 to follow on the panel as well throughout the show. But we move on. As Harry Skelton
I reckon we'll get 2
comes
of the
back
4 in the National between us, and then there'll be something so random, like there'll be like an 80-1 or like.
Yeah.
What do we think's going off, Fav? Is it going to be Gael de Menil, by the way?
I think Delta Work could go off favourite. I don't know what the betting is at the moment, but I
He
thought
looks
Delta Work
brilliant. I've been following a few videos of Delta Work.
Yeah.
God, he looks absolutely stunning. Didn't they have a horrible journey over the Irish, all the Irish horses?
Willie's
The
did
ferry-
anyway, yeah.
And Gordon's.
Gordon's as well,
It
yeah.
was meant to be 9 hours, the ferry, and the horses, it took 14 hours to bring them over.
Wow.
And after the 14 hours, they then arrived at Aintree at 4:30 a.m.
This is this year.
Yeah, this was on.
Don't stop them, is it?
On Thursday.
Yeah. Even in Willie Mullins' quote in the Racing
Post. It was a 9-hour
Post.
trip, and it went to 14 hours for the horses on the ferry. I mean, you wouldn't want too young of a horse to be put.
The one thing I would say is that we haven't had the clearest of trips over to Aintree with the horses we've run in the National. There were quite a few delays for them along the way with the ferry.
14 hours, and arrived at 4:30 a.m. And horses love routine, love routines.
The grey Gael de Menil looks like he's just edging favourite at the moment. If you're looking at the Betfair Exchange, Corach Rambler coming back in for some love. I mean,
It's all gone. It's 11.5 each of 3 now,
Yes,
Dave.
that's what we're expecting, isn't it?
Gayard,
Was
Corach.
that the great question you did on What a Shout? Neptune, Collonge, Nickel,
Oh yeah.
Nickel Coin.
and then
you
what
remember
the
the
other
other
two?
No.
We're going to get them up.
Absolutely
We're going to
no
get them up.
idea.
Who can remember the
We'll
other
find
two?
out.
There's been 4 grey winners, basically, of the National. Neptune College the most recent, or the
and-
Nickel Coin the first. There's
Yeah.
2 in between. Who are they?
Who are they?
Let us know. Our minds
Who are
going.
they?
This is one of those wacky days, guys, isn't it? I saw the Jockey Club put out an email. Did you see it earlier about the star signs of all the horses, like where their birth date is and all that sort of thing? Like,
You didn't.
why do we?
There was. There have only been 3. One of them won it twice, and it was almost 100 years before Nickel Coin.
What?
No way.
No wonder we didn't get it.
Was on the tip
I'm no
of your
surprise
tongue.
you got it then.
No, I had to look it up, didn't I? I cheated, and I don't mind boasting about that.
Yeah.
The Lamb.
The Lamb.
There you go.
Never would have got that.
First name, you got this straight away yesterday. The first ever national winner.
Yeah, lottery.
Lottery, yeah.
Even I know that, and I know nothing. I know that.
forget these things though, don't you? Like Cheltenham
18. What was it? 69?
trends, I forget them. I forget like how many mares have won it.
Oh,
It's been a long time.
come on.
Do you know?
I'm going to get
Oh
it
my
up.
gosh, it's so long to think.
Having fancied Snow Leopardess when she ran, hardly any mares win it, hardly any greys win it.
No.
I was up against it. I should have put another 2 zeros
Talking
on.
about wacky things though, I'm on board with this. So Lucinda Russell
13.
yesterday did a tweet,
13.
and it was for the stencil mark on the back of a horse, what you should put on. And then the winner of which mark should go on the quarter marks went on her horse, and then she won best turned out. I mean, how to engage a crowd on social media? Brilliant.
You always
That's
need
brilliant.
a story, don't you, for a national winner?
Brilliant
There
that
are a
Lucinda
lot.
did that.
DJs come to you with this, of course. Deputy Irish Editor. There are thousands of deep stories, aren't there?
There are stories everywhere you look. Like even like just to go down through it, like any second now obviously would be a story given what happened to him 2 years ago, placed in the race for the last 2 years. I'm not going to go through them all, obviously. Jessica Harrington, you know, what a story that would be. You know, hasn't been well of late. And Jessie, oh, she's a queen. Like, just
Yeah.
even rang her yesterday. And you know, when you ring trainers, like, it's so funny. Like, some of them you obviously look forward to ringing, some of them you don't. And you ring Jessie and you just know you're going to have a good old chat. And she'll ask you how everybody is. And so it'd be great for Lifetime Ambition if he was to win for her. And then, like, the likes of Martin Brazel, who hit the target or hit the post a few times at Cheltenham. He's got Longhouse Poet. You know, you just look through it. Like, the stories everywhere. No matter where you look, there's a story.
Number 6, Valverde, of course, and Martin Brazel. Possibly my favourite national winner of all time was One for Arthur and number 6, Valverde. I watched One for Arthur in Galway on a stag do.
Oh, how did that
And we
go?
tipped it to everyone.
Yeah.
And we screamed this hotel down. And they couldn't pay us in the local Ladbrokes. They didn't have enough money to do it.
Oh my god.
And he is basically Corach Rambler for the same team. Has to be One for Arthur today. doesn't it?
timers, do you?
Oh, half the time was I 80. I tipped
There
it.
won't be any, you won't find
Couldn't
any
pay
in
us
this
out in the
studio.
Ladbrokes. They had to close down. The shop hasn't opened since. We had that much money.
You
We
won't
had to
find
check
any
in a
after timers
suitcase.
in here, DJ. This is why people love Racing Post Live. Absolutely. Look, I'm looking for the mayor's thing, by the way. Kills, you said total of 13.
Total of 13. The last one was 1951, so good luck.
Nickel coin, of course.
Of course, good luck in naming any.
Yeah, we
of the
have-
This
others.
is the worst quiz ever.
We
And
have.
Nickel Coin was the grey.
It's better than a bank
1951 was the
Right
latest.
there.
1951 was the latest.
We have
Classic
Darren
Episode.
Soap, gin on lime. Hang on a minute. Gin
Wasn't there
on lime.
jealousy?
Hang on, gin
Was
on
there a
lime's
mare
not in
called?
this.
Actually, was there a mare called
Where are you getting
Jealousy
this
that
from?
won it? Jealousy, no? Did Jealousy win it?
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
you just leaned over to us. 1861. You just leaned over my shoulder, didn't you?
There you go. So we've got it up if you want to know questions or that sort of stuff. But I have been asking the panel today for a little look back at the jump season and what might be still to come. Because I think I've seen a couple of horses that I want to be taking on my side anti-post wise next season. And I'm going to go off, if you don't mind, guys. In between each of the races, we've asked for a 5 to follow. Why don't you get involved with that out there in the chat? Put up your 5, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3. Who's your horse to follow for next season? You know, you got your Gallop into Champs, all that sort of stuff. But let's look away from it. Are there any interesting ones out there? Come on, Mission Control, let's get it up. My 5 to follow, please, if you don't mind, for the season are... Dave Jennings is going to enjoy this. Ballyburn.
Ah, you
I
stole
heard-
mine.
Well, no, we can all have horses. We can all have, we're going to have some of the similar horses. Like I've got Captain Teague on there, who was third in our bump. I'll go back to Ballyburn in a minute. Jerry Colomb, who for me, like DJ said already, what a remarkable performance yesterday. Just total power. When was the last time you watched a horse race knowing you were going to win after a fence? That was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it was glorious to watch. The only thing I'll say is he probably didn't beat much.
Maybe
It was
not,
a poor grade one.
but he won with bundles in hand,
Stain,
didn't he?
yeah.
He should have won at Cheltenham. That's my opinion. I think he really should have done. Obviously, Jordan Gainford, he'll be getting back on him. Doubtless soon. But Davy Russell just was superb on him yesterday. And there was a moment when Harry Skelton kicked on the mare. She's a good mare, isn't she? I think that as well.
I don't know what he was at.
I would like to take her if I could have 10 to follow. I think.
Sorry.
You all right?
You don't think I should? You don't think I? You don't think I should?
She's sneezing.
She's
burping.
No, it
What's
was
next? What's the hat trick?
It was a hiccup.
Oh, it was a hiccup.
It was a hiccup.
Okay.
We'll
It was
believe.
a
Anyway,
hiccup.
look, I'll keep going down. Jerry Colomb, yes, 8 to 1-ish basically, isn't he, for the Gold Cup next year? I think that's perfectly reasonable. Nosret, he's a weird one, this, because he was only third in the juvenile.
It's a weird
race.
one.
Certainly
It's a
weird
bit of a weird one.
Terrible one.
It's not a terrible one. Listen, I'm going to make you eat this. I'm going to message into
What's he
ante.
going to win? A handicap hurdle?
I watched him. Everyone was on Zenta, weren't they, pretty much? Or Bo Zenith, right? Okay. This is a very, very good horse. I think he could also be also the flat this summer as well. But I've watched this horse. He's got no right to be winning around Kempton over 2 miles. That was a bad dovecote. I think we can agree that, all right? But
The entire division is bad.
but I like this horse going forward. I don't think
What's he gonna win?
I don't think the division is that bad. I can't wait for him to go up in trip. I think he's going to win some good races when he does.
Like, as in,
I think he could
better
be
than a
winning.
handicapper?
Yes, he is better than a handicapper. Well, he's running Grade 1 and just a juvenile. Of course, he's got every
Yeah, but
chance to
he's
be.
come out of that rated
120.
130 something.
Listen,
No
he's
chance.
going to be fine. He kicked hurdles out the way. Watch it back in your members club. You can do this. Who's right or wrong? Them or me? All right? I think Nosret is one to take out, all right?
But what's the criteria for this 5 to follow? Is it like 5 proper
He's going to win a
top-notchers
couple
for
of
next
these.
week?
Like, if it's like a 10 to follow thing, right? You need to be getting some points on the board.
Okay.
I think Nosret's going to be winning
Okay,
races,
well, no, that's
all
fair
right?
enough. If we're not just looking
All
for
right?
Grade 1
It's
horses.
No, we're not just
He's
looking
not a
for
Grade
Gold
1
Cup
horse.
winners. No,
He's not a
he
Grade
might
1.
not be, but
He's definitely not.
I loved everything about his performance, and he's been running over the wrong trip. He ran in the Melrose Handicap, didn't he, at York? He's a proper stayer on the flat. I love juveniles that find 2 miles inadequate, but yet nearly hit the crossbar in Grade 1 company. Watch it back. He had no right to be running on for third. He steams home on the running. He was one of the eye catchers of the meeting.
How far
for
was
me.
he beaten?
What, 5, 6?
Was he? Okay.
Something like that. He did very well to do that.
No, fair enough. It's you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
I think you've probably gone too far outside.
I might. Well, listen.
You
Don't
need to
accuse
get-
me
you
of
need
that.
to get back in
You've
it.
called me an after. You've called me an after timer. You've called me an out of the boxer.
But you're an excellent host.
Who booked Dave Jennings?
You're
for
an
this
excellent
show?
host, I have to
Right,
say.
thank you
I could
very
learn
much.
a few things from you.
Well, listen. It's a progressive life.
My
And
feet are freezing.
Tehupu, I think, will dominate the Stayers
You
division
got on
next year.
2.5 hours.
Do you think?
Yeah, good shout.
That's a very good shout. He's shown himself to be a 3-miler.
Should have won
now.
the Stayers Hurdle.
He should have won the Stayers Hurdle. There's no doubt about that. And he's proven himself at Cheltenham now. And as long as he gets some, I think he could just be, that next 1-1-1-1-1 horse that division is craving for. He's a young horse. I absolutely love it. So everyone's agreeing with me, bar Nosret, right? But I love Nosret. All right, and Jerry Colomb is my favourite horse in training right now. Captain Teague, very interesting horse, had no right to finish third in our bumper. Absolute worldie he's going to be for Paul Nicholls. And Ballyburn, who you're going to give us the real line on, apple of your eye. I remember you talking about it up in the ante.
I loved him when he won his point-to-point. I'd advise you just to have a look at Ballyburn when he won his point-to-point. It was a remarkable performance because he got hampered at second last. And then he really stuck his head down and really battled to win that point-to-point.
So keen.
And he actually brought that performance to Punchestown. That he looked beaten at Punchestown in a good bumper. There were 3 good horses in the bumper. The horse that finished third was a horse of Edward O'Grady's, who had travelled beautifully at Leopardstown over Christmas.
Yeah.
And he brought that...
In the Mulrine colours.
In the Mulrine colours, yeah. And he brought the same kind of... finishing kick from the point-to-point to the bumper, and I said straight afterwards, I said that's Willie Mullins' best bumper horse. I put him up and up in the ante for the champion bumper. One of the owners, his joint owners, one of the owners didn't want to go for the champion bumper.
It's in the Bartlett colours, isn't it?
He's in the Ronnie Bartlett colours, yeah. He's in a partnership with a soccer agent, and the key thing though that just annoys me a little bit, he was declared to run in Fairyhouse on Easter Monday, so last Monday, but Patrick rode Il Atlantique instead. Now I wondered if Patrick knew he wasn't going to run anyway, and that's why he was on Il Atlantique, but when the decks came out and I seen the jockey bookings, I was horrified to see that Patrick had picked another bumper horse over him, and something that's probably not in his top 3, but Ballyburn, next year's Ballymore, I think could be his.
Chris Timms is agreeing with you, and Chris, you've got the wrong initial there. You mean with D.O., yeah? I'm with D.O. on this.
We call you Do.
Well,
DJ and
my
Do.
initials are DJO. So again, you've stolen that
Yeah,
off me.
you DJ.
Right? DJ was kind of my nickname when I was a kid. I thought it was very, very good, but we'll have to call you DJ through this. So you can only have so many days in one room, I'm afraid. But all right, then my 5 to follow. We're going to go down. I've been absolutely burnt on one of them. All right, but I love Nusrat. I love everything about him, and 4's a Nusrat. All right, so on we go. We've got 10 minutes to the next. The lads are thinking tumbleweeds are going over. I can't wait till they put theirs up. I bet they've all gone for Grade 1 winners, haven't they? Like, you know what I mean? Galloping to Champs and all that sort of thing. You're next, Natalie Green. Get ready. All right, but we've got the 3 o'clock coming up.
I'm ready. What
And
now?
No, no, not yet. It's because it's Grade 1 time, all right? And it's Hermes Allen time, as DJ will be telling you out there. It is the Turners, Mersey, Novices Hurdle out there. Download the app, there you can see it, but I want to see that download the app replaced by all your tips coming up. Come on, we've got 10 minutes to go.
I think he's going to destroy these. I do. I think
Give
this
us the
is,
case then.
Well, I just think, obviously you have to be forgiven here, and that's one of my worst flaws is that I'm too forgiven. But that shallow performance, like, it can't just have been a, bolt out of the blue. It can't have been. He absolutely hammered really good horses. Most of them have won since, and most of them have won at a decent level since. Like, people are trying to make the case for You Wear It Well to beat Hermes Allen. Like, imagine if you're told straight after the race that there wouldn't be that much in the betting between Hermes Allen and You Wear It Well when they renew rivalry at Aintree. You'd say, how could that even happen? How could that happen? I thought last night when Hermes Allen was 5 to 1, it was a ridiculous price. Obviously, that price has contracted considerably into 11 to 4. I just think it's a case of he's the best horse in the race. But look, I'm probably wrong.
No, because I'd rather see a horse that bombs out as too bad to be true than just
Like that
runs.
theory.
I do prefer that because these horses cannot consistently. Well, obviously the superstars do, but they do not always consistently perform on different courses, different days. They're just not like that. They're not machines. And so I'd rather have that. A bomb out, then I'd actually probably rather have that than a faller last time out. I don't like falls last time out so much. I don't like what it can do to their confidence or whatever.
Don't get me wrong, it was a terrible run. And
They're coming for him, DJ, now. I mean, he was a strange betting...
Yeah, well, they came for him at Cheltenham as well, didn't they? Well, the whole market was strange, wasn't it? Because obviously we had the day before, we had the first 8 home in the Supreme All Train in Ireland, and by the evening he was a 9 to 2 chance.
Fives in the place, yeah?
Fives in the place, yeah. And then he went down. He was about 13 or 8 at one point, wasn't he? I mean, it just very, very strange. Now, he shouldn't have been either of those prices, to be honest.
He looks terrific.
He looks like a horse to me.
He looks
I can't tell. I couldn't tell live, let alone on the 2D.
Hermes?
Hermes Allen looks
He is a light-framed horse, though, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's not like Braveman's Game at all.
Yeah, exactly. Could he? I wonder whether he's... I don't know.
Over the top?
Yeah, I don't... I'm worried about him. Who was the horse? Napper's Hill? Is that Nichols said to us last season, this won't be going chasing, and you just think Paul's Hot Novices will all go chasing. I wonder whether this guy's really got the scope for fences. I don't know, I'm not sure.
I think he will.
This is your nap of the day, right?
There's my nap of the day and nap of the meeting.
And we nap of the meeting, this is what you get here, premium
It's only because my last nap of the meeting was beaten.
Well, yeah, quite, absolutely. All right, DJ's going for this then, but I think there's going to be a range of tips in this, so let's go to Kills and find out what he likes, because we're going to put a bet on before they go off in this.
Yeah, we better, haven't we? Yeah. Earlier in the week I backed Let's Be Clear About It, because I thought if it gets really testing, this horse was 4th in the Albert Bartlett, didn't quite stay, but I thought he was all over the winner turning for home. But he travelled really, really well through the race. I do think he is high class, and we haven't seen the best of him. And I don't just, just not 100% sure how slow the ground is. It doesn't seem that slow, but I still like him. I still think he's a very good horse. And I think the Dan Skelton mare is quite interesting as well. It's one of those that there's absolutely no telling how good she is because she's been hacking up. But she's been beating some average horses, but the average horses she's been beating have been coming out and winning.
Yeah.
And she's beaten him by a long way very easily. So they're the two that interest me at prices. In case I'm perfectly happy to forgive a horse a bad run, but the price has to be right for me to do so, and I can't be jumping on Hermes Allen at that sort of price.
All right, well, certainly Stay Away Faye didn't harm the Albert Bartlett.
He ran really, really well, Stay Away Faye.
Yeah, he did, considering he's a horse that they seemingly need to make a lot of use of. Kills is going for that then. Before we go to the current leader of the team at the moment, Natalie Green, yeah, you did hear that right. I'm going to suggest that there are a few bigger fans out there than me of Dark Raven. I absolutely love this boy, and I've been waiting for him to go up in trip. I thought he would run in the Ballymore. Do you remember we did our preview in here with Tom Siegel, and I said, look, I know he's the same colours as Imperial Path, and you were like, Dave, you sure he's going to run? And he actually went for Supreme. I thought you ran really well in that. In the pockets, come out and showing that form. To me, on form, he almost ought to be the fav in this. I know that the Challows worked out so well with Hermes Allen. I just think this guy, I love him. He missed out a year basically. I felt to blame for that because I was telling everyone, I remember speaking to Patrick Mullins about this guy, and I said, should I be putting this up? I think I should be. He was 2 from 2 in bumpers for them. Actually, the second one was his stable debut. He won first time out. He beat a very good horse at Leopardstown over Christmas. Third then last time, of course, to next time to Ile Tomp. And then last time at Cheltenham, I just think he was running for a run. And everything's right for him today. I'm slightly worried about some chopped up ground for him, but I'm just going to keep the faith in him. You can tell that I quite like him. They're vying for favouritism, these two. Natalie Green, take it away.
For my win bets, I've got 2 bets in this race, is Irish Point, the sort of steel grey. It's quite hard for a dark steel grey to stand out in the paddock. I mean, he's beautifully turned out, but they don't have kind of that shine in their coat, so you just don't look at them and go, wow. But Irish Point, missed Cheltenham, I think that could actually be key because the main rivals, I'm talking about the main rivals as in market rivals, obviously went to Cheltenham, the main rivals. So I actually thought the key could be that was missed Cheltenham, so nice and fresh. He is a stayer, I think. He finished a good second in the Lawler's Nace Grade 1, Novices Hurdle over the same trip. With rain around, whether it's rain or not rain, I think the ground will be ideal. It looks quite a versatile horse. But I have to mention, I'm just not sure if I keep saying it wrongly though, is it Katira?
Katira.
Katira. Katira is absolutely my each way for sure. She'll benefit the return to 2.5 given stout pedigree. I think she can make a mark on this race, absolutely. She suffered her only defeat to date, which was given far too much to do in that nickel coin. I watched that on the train again, actually, and I thought, yeah, she just had way too much to do in that bumper. She's won with great authority as well, so she's certainly got a tenacious attitude, which I quite like. And I'm clearly sticking with the mares, aren't I? But she's won her last 2 starts, one at Huntington, one at Market Raising, a little bit different to a Grade 1 at Aintree, the Market Raising and Huntington. But I kind of had success with a girl in the first, so I think my each way is Katara in this race. Katira. See, I can never say it. Can you see?
You're commentating, Natalie Green.
It's like one of those names that just won't stay in my head.
Right. Well,
Seamus Moore's agreeing.
As myself and Natalie have tipped it, shall we have a little few quid each way on her?
Yeah,
yes, please, Katira for the charity, and Seamus Moore will be delighted.
Oh my gosh, like Shakira, but Katira. So Katira, I'll never forget her now. Katira, oh baby, when you're told like that.
When you've been watching these shows from afar, this is what she does.
Katira.
This is what she does. This is a deep race, guys, isn't it? You've got Crambo and the Cool Survivor. What happened to him in the Martin Pipe conditional handicap?
Beaten early, wasn't he?
There you go. We've had a tenner each way.
Thank you, Keels, for the Injured Jockeys Fund. Seamus Moore all over that. Seamus is one of the first people of every show that we do to get in the chat. Seamus, great to have you with us this afternoon. Great to have everyone with us. Seemingly a lot of people watching us this afternoon. This is the show, your race reaction show, Racing Post Live, coming your way. Get involved on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment and share. So we can see that there are the team tips going to who Mission Control gone for. Hermes and they're going with DJ as well. All right, good luck whichever you play. Deep race this. Really, really excited about it. How's he looking, DJ? Where's he going to sit in the run?
Oh, he'll be very prominent, yeah. I think Harry will be hoping he'll get an easy lead. He won't, though, obviously, because it's a pretty deep race. I'd imagine there'll be plenty of the stayers. Like, let's be clear about it, is a prominent horse who's been run over further, so let's be clear about it, is going to be up there.
He's going to want it to test, isn't he?
Yeah, Cool Survivor is going to be up
Rachel
there.
Rachel wants to be there, doesn't she? She's just next to Hermes now, Hermes Allen. Just, you can see, isn't it funny when they start to pick their spots? Rachel's like, I'm staying here.
Yeah, Rachel
I'm going here.
Is not moving beside. I don't know what you guys are like, but when I strongly fancy a horse, nothing to do about betting or anything, just actually picking a horse and tipping a horse to the public. When I strongly tip a horse to the public, I get so nervous before a race.
Absolutely.
Oh, terrible.
I get really
Are
nervous.
you shaking at this point?
No, I'm not shaking, but I'm just like, I get to the stage where just before a race, I'm like, okay, even if you don't win, just run well.
Just run
well,
well,
because
absolutely.
I don't want to be switching on Twitter and then just getting absolute
Don't you feel
hurlers.
your face burning up?
Just ignore
If you know, if you go out and look in the mirror, you'd be proper purple. I mean, I know I am anyway.
You always look like a baked bean man.
Don't say that about my Paul.
Get off him.
Can we just talk about the size of Katira, by the way? Because she's about 15 hands. She's literally...
That's tiny in layman's terms,
she's
right?
a bit bigger than 15 hands, but she's about 15 too. She's the littlest wee thing. Harry's about this much. Look in the saddle. She's teeny weeny, but I quite like that. I love a pocket rocket.
This is a deep
It's
race.
not all about size, is it, Keelan?
Lady Rebecca was one. Why are you asking me that?
She knew not to ask me,
is
didn't
everything.
she? She knew not to ask me.
Quite
let me
right,
tell
and
you.
me, DJ, absolutely. You
Yeah,
wear it well
straight
in
to
here, of
heels.
course. The Cheltenham Festival when it was in here.
Tiny.
Authorised speed, only beaten once, wasn't it? A lot of time when people thought he would win. He's a very interesting player on his best form.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, you'd have to question his jumping in a race like this, wouldn't you?
He was kicking them out and just bossing bad fields, wasn't he? But they think
He's talented. He's talented. He's talented. No doubt about
Crambo's
it.
in here. His form's really worked out that EBF final so far. Springwell Bay, of course, some very old-fashioned colours with the John Joes. He could be the fly. So which way are you looking at this race? Are you looking at the proven Grade 1 form? Or are you looking at maybe a bit of a flyer in there that could well be your Springwell Bay? The market certainly likes him. I'm not sure about Irish Point, but I guess that's that Marine National form, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Royal Bond.
Hallwood, who I have to confess I've never heard of until now. Hallwood is not looking the most enthusiastic about lining up here, but
Mark Rymel's horse, Adam Wedge on. Let's mention them all
so
because you know what
annoying
happens.
when they
Uncle
get like
Bert's
this.
in there. Form could have been was let down at Southwell. His first last win in the week. Stony Man, Sean Bowen, big no for him.
And they're
Nigel
off.
Yates, and they're off then. Second race, Grade 1 time here.
loads
Let's
of
see
pace.
who's going to do it. Oh, loads.
Harry, calm down, Harry. Now, calm down. Don't panic. You don't need to lead.
They've gone so quick, it's blown the mind of Blow Your Wad.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
you don't need to lead, Harry.
Is he the one that's tailed off already?
Yeah,
You've got one that's-
Blow Your Wad's gone. What?
It's what you call taken off your feet, and you might not be surprised at all to know that he's drifted out already on the exchange, Ms. Allen, because of this move. Just look at Paul Townend. He must just... I know a couple of years ago, DJ, they used to say that Davy Russell was in Paul Townend's head, and everywhere that Paul went, Davy had him covered, all that sort of thing. I think Paul Townend is also the same with Harry Cobden at the moment. He's like,
Maybe.
you just go on, Harry. I know you're going to do it. And I'll just wait and wait
They've
and wait.
settled a little bit now.
He's
You've
settled
got a
a bit
bit
now,
of
but
company,
he's-
but
in
it is the
fairness, he is
Cheltenham
keen.
Festival
He's
when
dropping
you
his
wear
head a
it
bit,
well,
hasn't
leading it in for the Snowdons. Wasn't she brave when she made all? This is a bit of a stiffer test for her, I would imagine. Irish Point settled in the midfield for Nat Green. Where's Katira, guys?
Second last.
Second last.
Can't
On the
miss him, she's
inside,
so little.
lobbing along. What do you mean you can't
Well,
miss
that's
her?
exactly why I can
You
miss
can't
her.
miss her. She's
She's
so little.
tiny. She's so much tinier than the rest. Just again, lots of little cover. She's like a little bright bay there. Just
Now you're happy, DJ. Settled
Yeah,
in
let's
third.
be clear about it. Travels well for early, nice and settled for Keels.
Yeah,
Cool
yeah,
Survivor
very
in
nice.
fourth. Authorised speed is in sixth. Irish Point just tracking the pace in mid-division there. I'd say most people are reasonably happy, apart from Blow Your Wad maybe at the back of the field.
Yeah.
So you wear it well. Just about to take the fourth. Good jump by Hermes Allen. Authorised speed, a little bit deliberate there.
And has he fallen out the back of the telly, Blow Your Wad? This is form that's got he's got form with Hermes Allen in bumpers, isn't he? This chap. And anyway,
yeah. He's
all right,
just
they're
finding
passing his
it.
stand. The
Stick
sun
it
is
there.
out today.
that was Hallwood that made a mistake
the
there.
outside up.
Harry Cobden doesn't want to sit in behind. He seems to be wanting to take the lead again. He's just gone up on the outside
Yeah.
now.
Dark Raven on the inside, about two back. Springwell Bay with a novice. This is a tough test for him. He wasn't great there. Authorised speed, they're giving him a bit of a
I
sight.
think they're all
Gills.
novices, Dave.
Well, thank you, DJ, for picking me up on that one. What else is this one? What else is this that's fallen out the back? Is that Stony Man?
Uncle Bert is second last at the moment, Crambo. But I'd say you're happy with Katira. She's loving it at the minute.
Yeah,
there.
she's fine. She's fine. She's just loving it enough. I think they have steadied it a bit.
Oh yeah,
now.
Blow Your Wad's caught right up, hasn't he? He's got about
Yeah.
three behind him now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Cool Survivor. Then.
Going
No
out onto the
idea what
final
happened with him.
circuit.
Okay, so, a couple of greys in here. One's falling out the back of the telly now. That is the rag of the lot, Hallwood.
Yeah, it's getting a reminder.
He'll
I
have a
don't
P
think
next to his
Hallwood
name
wants to
soon.
play today.
Looking
Cool
for...
Survivor is very keen here under Rachel Blackmore. He's after snatching
Yeah,
on.
he's trying to just really grab the bit out of her hands all the time, isn't he? And she's just going, come on. She's trying to coax and say, just chill out. But it's hard when they are
Let's
that
be
keen.
clear about it in a beautiful rhythm.
She was so well positioned on in the pocket yesterday.
I was going to
She
say,
lost
shut
it.
up, Dave, because the last time you said that it went bad, but you actually
we
jumped
have
that
to
quite well.
commentate on the race.
Yes,
but, you know,
exactly, we do.
and
All
you-
right, a reminder where our money is.
Punting.
It's Katira, the team bet for Paul Kealy and Natalie Green. Also likes Irish Point. Also like, let's be clear about it, Hermes Allen, the nap of the meeting for DJ.
Oh, Dark Raven's
Oh,
gone.
what happened there? go? Was he brought down?
No, I think
Did he? Was it just a bad mistake?
That was independent, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Harry
I hope he's
Cobden
all right.
wants to take it up here on Hermes Allen. He's
is
not
a
waiting
long
around
way
any
out.
Well, that's
got
fair
him
out then,
tight.
guys. And I'll tell you what, this lead is still going well.
But the right
Kealy's got-
speed has
speed.
managed to get his way.
Come
through.
on, Keels, we're
Irish
getting
boy.
excited now,
I'm getting
Keels.
excited, but let's be clear about it because he's just waiting. He's just patiently waiting.
Harry
I'm-
Skelton's got loads to do, isn't he, on that
Hermes
Katia?
Allen looks
Hermes
like
Allen's
he's
in
not
trouble.
going great.
I'm happy with my Irish
Yeah,
point.
and Crambo travels
and
really well.
Catiera is lobbing along at the back.
Crambo
Yeah.
has been pulling the arms out of Connor Brace
Oh,
all the
got
way
tailed
round.
off that
Will
one.
he get home? Blow you
Not
one
bad.
still there. Now Harry Skelton start to warm up. Springwell Bay still there.
Come on, Irish
Authorised
points.
speed for a share of the lead. And let's be clear about it. He just wants to attack, doesn't he?
There's
Keep
about
Donahue.
10 in here with a chance now. Let's be clear
Absolutely.
about it. Travels well.
Come on, Davy Russell.
Look at Katia running up the back of him.
Yeah, travels well.
And she's got to turn her foot, you know this. Right, we're in this longest of home straights now as we saddle up for home. Loads of chances, as DJ said. Over goes Authorised.
Full
Survivor's
Full Survivor's gone.
And that's conquered a few in
Let's be clear about it.
Shaking the reins. What's he doing?
on,
Go,
you've got loads on
DJ.
ya.
And look at Harry Skelton. So this all of a sudden, Kealy's getting excited.
Irish point.
Irish point.
Come on, Irish
Harry
point.
Skelton just needs a run, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Will he get it?
Come
Let's
on,
find
Irish
out.
point.
Irish Allen, Irish point.
I
Going
want the
Vincent,
1-2.
for Aintree.
I want
Irish
the
point.
1-2. Come on, Irish
point goes
point.
to last.
Go
Harry
on, Harry.
Skelton's going to be the danger.
Come on, Irish
Harry,
point.
base. Let's be clear about it.
Come on,
I think this is
Irish
gone,
point.
guys.
Hey, you're picking up.
It looks like Irish
No,
point's
he's
got
not.
it.
No, he's
He's
not.
gone. He's not stopping, is he?
on,
Katira's got
Irish
an absolute
points.
blinder in second. But Davy Russell, he had a terrible Cheltenham. Back with a bang. An Irish point. That's that Marine National
Bolton.
form. Very, very ready winner. Great shout in second from the team with Katira. That's a 1-2 for Natalie Green. She's running away with this trophy.
Oh, yeah. I love getting a 1-2.
And fair play to Harry Skelton, despite the fact he's probably a little bit frustrated about his run through. He congratulates Davy straight after that. I wasn't sure about this horse, I have to say, when he was fourth at the Leopardstown.
How good has the Royal Bond form of Fairyhouse worked out?
Remarkable.
Marine National won the race. Irish Point was second in the race. Champ Kealy was third. Ashrow Diamond was fourth. That is the novice race of the season. The Royal Bond of Fairy has worked
Yeah.
out spectacularly well. Irish Point, what a great piece of training with Gordon Elliott. Wasn't tempted by Cheltenham. Kept him fresh for Aintree. 2.5 miles has obviously been his bag. And what can you say about the man on board, Davy Russell? Like, if you had offered me 1 to 10 Davy Russell not to ride again after Cheltenham, I would have snapped your hand off. I thought he was gone. He's back now, and the mental steel of Davy Russell to come back from that backlash, from being criticised by Michael O'Leary,
Yeah.
from being criticised by Gordon Elliott too. Gordon Elliott didn't think he rode well at Cheltenham, and then for Gordon and Davy, who have been lifelong friends, to make up and then to marry together for this meeting, it is absolutely fantastic. Davy Russell, one of the greatest jockeys that we will see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And-
wouldn't listen to what
and
O'Leary has to
Genghis
say anyway.
agrees with you. Genghis 26, one of our regulars, comes on
What
and says,
happened?
I'm going to miss Davy Russell. A beauty of a ride. He kept it so simple, didn't he?
What happened to my bet yesterday on no looking back? Gave £9 to Irish Point and only got beat a length and a quarter. Still looking for him.
Kills us.
Lots of looking back.
Kills, there's only you looking forward. Kills, you got better there. You had Katira and you had...
And I had,
he
let's
just-
be clear about it, there was 4 places. Unfortunately, all my betting on Let's Be Clear About was anti-post, so I don't get it. But I mean, if you backed him
Another
today,
nod, though, wasn't it,
you
for
would
that
with
Albert
some
Bartlett
funds.
form as well.
Hermes Allen looks slow, didn't he?
But he's run a lot better, hasn't he?
He's run okay. I don't know if he's run a lot better. He's probably run a little bit better.
It was alarmingly
He's
bad,
not the
I thought,
horse.
Cheltenham.
Yeah, it was. He's not the horse I thought he was. He's not the horse he looked in the Challow. Whatever happened that day in the Challow, that form hasn't followed through. Good run, grand run. I'd say Paul would be reasonably happy, but deep down I'd say he's disappointed.
I'm looking for Paul Nicholls' record in this race.
Not as disappointed as me, let me tell
Well, yeah. Did you back each way?
you. Hermes Allen?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay, all right.
But yeah, good winner, Irish Point. There's a lot of good Irish novices. It's going to be interesting to see where to go next season. He'll obviously have to go chasing, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the future is looking good, isn't it, for next season with the novice chasers? I mean, there are some absolute rangos about to go over
Kicked
them.
Dave's glass, I think.
You were in some form, Natalie Green.
Today I
I
am.
may get pregnant myself and try and tip a few winners.
Well, I think modern methods might have you already. You know what I mean? It's
You know what
possible.
though?
Do you know what, Nat? Right? How long have you left?
7 weeks.
7 weeks left, and honest to God, genuinely, my belly is bigger than Natalie's.
Hang on.
She's tiny.
Hang on, let's not go
No,
down there.
no.
If there's an award for that, I might be up there.
She's tiny.
No, I like getting the winners, but I much prefer my forecast. If I can get
This
the 1-2,
means a lot
that
to you,
means
doesn't it?
more
You
to
don't
me
get
than
it. Honestly,
anything. I
you've
love-
never seen the notes that you've seen
So-
with
so-
Natalie
so
before.
far-
I've written a whole book today.
So
Just
far
tell me-
today, right,
no.
you've gone West Balboa,
Yeah.
and then you've got the forecast Irish point to beat Katira.
Yeah.
That's
That is
marvellous,
exceptional.
isn't it?
Like.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we've got a little bit of each way profit there for the
Not
English
gloating
Jockeys
at all,
Fund
no.
as well.
good. Keep it coming.
Let's get the score. Oh, this is awful reading.
Go out with a
Okay, only
bang.
2 races.
Will
only
you
2
take
races.
down that scoreboard there, lads? Come
Look
on.
at that. This is Ladies' Day, isn't
I
it?
got a point. I got a point.
All right, okay. Yeah, lucky you. So
I'd
the
like to
Mission
steal
Control's
inquiry, by the way, because I've had a side bet with Mission Control, but they haven't told me what their selections is, so they just stuck themselves on one up.
Oh,
so
they're filthy, are they? Well, you've had a
Outrageous.
mad bet of you about who's going to win the
No,
cup.
their tip was Hermes Allen.
Was it?
Yeah, I was paying
Oh, yeah.
attention.
Oh, yeah.
You were stuck.
Yeah.
You were stuck in the lap.
Well, listen, Kills is doing a great job for us today. We've
I
got
don't trust them.
the 3:35 coming up next, which is another great one. But let's pick the bones out of this because we're watching the replay, DJ. Let's look at Harry Skelton at this point. He's got, what, 7 horses behind him? But
Yeah, I think what happened to Katira, like obviously it's a career best from her, and you know she's completely unexposed. But I think what happened, they did slow it down, kind of heading out onto the final circuit, and then Harry obviously wanted to take it up on Hermes Allen. But at this point here, you're looking at Katira, and he's a lot of horses to pass, and a lot of kind of good graded horses to pass. She pings this Katira, desperate fall for Cool Survivor. I hope Rachel Blackmore is okay. But like, if you were to have a bet and running just at this point where we're coming up to the second last, you would pick Katira. Pings that, but Irish point, and you have to say a very similar type of horse to the winner of this race last year, unfortunately, the ill-fated Three Stripe Life. Irish Point is a very similar type of horse in that you just didn't know if he was ever going to win a Grade 1, and this was probably his day. Three Stripe Life is obviously as well.
And let's look at the roll call of winners in this. My Drogo 2021, Reserve Tank. I mean, Black Op, a good horse, but Finian's Oscar, York Hill probably the best of them. I would imagine Nichols Canyon actually maybe
My
the best of
Drogo
them.
was the best of them.
But he's hopefully we're still going to see him back
What a
sometime,
sickler.
aren't we? They've roughed him off, of course. Yeah, a lot of love out there in community land. Racing Post Live for Davy Russell as he comes into the. Will this be it now, or is it going to be Punchestown?
I'd say he'll ride a Punchestown and then that'll be it.
And then that'll be it, because
That'll be
it's
it.
Punchestown, isn't it?
Where does he rank, okay? Where does Davy Russell rank in the all-time
This
list
I
of
like.
jockeys, okay? Number 1, we'll all agree, is Ruby Walsh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
2,
Well, McCoy's got to be there or there, actually.
Yeah, but Dickie Johnson as well is just class. He's lived in McCoy's shadow, I think.
surely Garrity or McCoy is 2.
No, I'm going to go McCoy
I'm
2.
going to go McCoy.
I'm going to go
Okay.
McCoy 2.
Garrity 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best rider I ever saw around Ascot by a million mile, Garrett.
Russell's got to be up there.
Yeah, Russell's in the top 5
I'm going to
somewhere.
have to
there.
put Dickie 4th and Davy 5th for me.
We've been blessed, haven't we? When
It's
you
too
read
early
that,
to
when you
put-
read that list.
Dunwoody,
Before my time, that
And
was.
me.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem, isn't it?
No, it's
I
not
mean,
before your time.
It's not me. It's not my problem. John
Tell us what it was
John
like.
Frankham's-
Giles.
Go a bit with the
John
finish, what we
Frankham's
know,
not before
haven't we?
my time.
Yeah. All right, okay. We've got another race coming up. Listen, if anyone should be telling us the 5 to follow at the moment, it's you. So you're coming up next, I'm thrilled to say, while you're hot.
No, I just think, I know Katira wasn't the winner, and obviously I'm delighted Irish Point to win because that was my bet to win. But there is something I really like about little horses going a decent gallop over hurdles, because you've got to flick, you've got to be quick, you've got to, you just need to be quite compact. And that's one thing I'd always look at. For hurdlers, I like to look at a certain sort of type. You've got your big chasing types. And I don't know, with hurdling, it can absolutely work the same. Because see, what my point is, a lot of people are off put by a small horse. Oh, it's tiny. Oh, it looks like a pony. Constitution Hill, it is not the biggest, as in, like, Nicky said he doesn't show a lot at home, and he really doesn't. He's like, he can be a bit of a monkey at home, like he doesn't really turn himself on very much, but that is sometimes what you want to look for. Don't always look for the biggest, flashiest horse.
Whatever you're saying today, Nat, we should be listening to. What are you laughing at, DJ?
I honestly, I would love to tell you, but if I told you the
Naughty joke.
the message that
We
Keel's
both
not
get the
good,
sack.
we both be sacked. We both probably end up in jail, and it's a funny, nasty
be
message.
shared.
I wouldn't be surprised if either of those played out in the next 5 years. All right, okay. So look, you've called out. You've called it. This is where we knew you were going to be good on this show. The community's gone mad. McCoy is the greatest ever, Martin
Over
Lewis
Ruby
says.
Walsh?
He's actually shouting it as well.
Caps. It's a Caps job, is it?
It's a Caps job, yeah. Yeah, ever, says Martin. Come on, top jockeys then. Best, top 3, top 4, top 5?
McCoy was glorious. And you think of McCoy and you think of, his drive to win all those championships, his mentality, and even in a race, to have that attitude where you're never beaten. Tony McCoy was a winner, and he had that winning mentality. But I mean natural ability-wise. Natural ability. On the big day, when it matters most, Ruby Walsh, for me, was the greatest jockey I've ever seen.
AP would even agree.
I think
AP would agree.
Well, maybe, but they were
winning
two
machine,
totally
but they're
contrasting
totally
styles,
different.
Kills, weren't they? You had the Wichita lineman, and you had the...
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know, this
I
don't know.
think that can get overblown, I mean, I remember there's all sorts of people arguing about whether McCoy was the right ride for Denman when Denman was past his best. And it's all nonsense. You don't become... You cannot pigeonhole someone as a certain style of rider when they've ridden 4,000 winners. You know what I mean? McCoy could sit on a quiet one.
Anything.
Yeah,
he could sit on anything.
Anything.
You know what I mean? So it's a bit silly like that. So,
Yeah.
and
All these jockeys have
Ruby
won
Walsh
the
would have
National
won
as
on
well,
Wichita
by the way.
lineman as well, but McCoy wouldn't have that in his top 50 ride, would he? You know what I mean? It's just a case.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, he freely admits he'll tell you even miles better than that. All he had to do was keep rowing, and if the horse responded, which he did, he'd have got there. But that's all he had to do. It's not like he had to fight and pick his way through or whatever. It was just like row. What he showed was an immense fitness. And an immense stamina to be able to do that, because I've seen I've seen jockeys on 6 furlong sprinters coming getting interviewed afterwards, and they're still panting like 5 minutes later, aren't they? So you can imagine how hard that was. I mean, that's why it was such a great ride. But in terms of finessing a horse or picking your way through, I'm sure AP McCoy thinks he's got far better in the locker than that.
He was brilliant at his mentality, getting it down to the horse. We go now. We go now, and horses do respond to that.
Hunters just loved AP because if something looked beaten, he would just get him home, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
That's what he was just too good at.
Class, yeah.
I can understand people's arguments for saying that McCoy was better than Ruby.
A lot of people coming in for Frankham, by the way, guys, as well. And that, again, John was before my time, so I didn't really see it. I just, saw nostalgia with John, really. But
who?
Frankham.
Johnny.
Frankham. He was brilliant, wasn't he? I mean, again, he was one that could do anything, but he had a real good head on him. He knew, like all the great jockeys, he knew exactly where to be, and he was extremely, extremely cool.
Well, we do feel like we've been blessed with the riders, don't we? I mean, the top 5 that you just mentioned there, and throwing Dickie Johnson, absolutely. And you could probably pluck another couple. We had that 10 years where it was just unbelievable. And we had the horses around as well.
I've just seen the 4 bets my sister's had on the National, and I'm like, she is not related to me. I better text her and change those
1,
picks
2, 3,
because they
4's
are
in the National.
rubbish.
Ain't that a shame is in there?
Yeah, but
Eva's
Jockeys.
Oscar, ain't that a shame?
More jockeys coming up.
They're
Let's
not
have a
very-
look.
no.
Here we go, guys. Look, Kinky Cadet. There you go, one for DJ. McCoy, Geraghty, Ruby, Davey are the best
yeah.
I've ever seen,
True
says
that.
the cadet. Ron Corkill. Ron, welcome along. Top 5 NH jockeys, that's right. Of course, Frankham, McCoy, Walsh, Johnson, Dunwoody.
Well, we're all singing
missing
from the
there,
same
Russell?
hymn sheet, really, aren't we?
Yeah,
Probably.
I remember seeing Davy Russell give something.
Ron's not in his
as a
20s
rider
though,
I've
is
never
he?
seen
But it's great to see.
Yeah.
We're just watching the replay here of Irish Point. I'm delighted that this is Davy being Davy.
Yeah.
Cheltenham wasn't Davy. He was obviously very sore from the fall he got before Cheltenham. This is him. Look, right in full stride. Around Cheltenham, I have to say, in a handicap hurdle at Cheltenham, Davy Russell for the last 15 years was glorious. Diamond King in the Coral Cup would have been my personal favourite. I thought Davy was exceptional on him.
He rode some bizarrely handicapped horses, just amazingly handicapped horses, though, didn't he? In that, I mean, like presenting Percy, was it?
In the Pretemps final,
Yeah,
yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
And he used to sit on them for Tony Martin as well. I remember.
That was
Anyway.
class watching that replay up close, though. I mean, and just look right with that.
Well, it was if you were on the winner.
Yeah, but the steel grey of Irish Point, the black sleeves of Davy, really getting low in the saddle. That was ace watching that.
All right, we're coming up to 3:35. It's more Grade 1 action. And we've got the 4:15 for you, and we've got an hour to go until the National. But don't worry, this is when you want to be watching this show. We'll be going through each and every single of 39 runners. I know it sounds weird to say that, doesn't it? But it is. We'll be giving you a line on all of them. We'll be giving you all our tips for the race as well. Stick with us here on Racing Post Live. We'll be getting a little bit of help as well, because our dear friend Ross Bryder, who usually joins us on this day, has given us a little teaser of what's to come.
With form figures of 3 and 2 for Ted Walsh, not Rogers, can second be first on the third attempt? Poetry in motion in last year's race, but without an amateur dentist on his back, has he bitten off more than he can chew? Punters up and down the country were cross when he lost the cross country, but can he galvanise their support on Saturday? You'd be mad to have a max bet on this one. He's not quite as Tom Hardy as you'd like. With 2 wins this season, he's proven he's not a hound, but you'd be barking mad if you beat yours on the line. Woof.
He's the best, isn't he? Rossi, he's just absolutely fantastic. And in between that 4:15 and 5:15, Rossi's going to go through the whole card for you with his alternate look on it. He's gone up to a wedding in Cartmel today, Ross says.
Oh, lovely Cartmel.
Cartmel gets weird mentions on
I
the
say
show.
this about a lot of people, including probably you, but he is one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Lovely, isn't
Yeah, he's
he?
great.
Diamond.
Yeah, he usually does this
Absolute
day, but he's
diamond.
up at a wedding in Cartmel. He's going to Longclume. It's one of
You
the
know, one of the
greatest
Oh,
restaurants in
it's
Europe.
fantastic.
One of the greatest.
Is he going there
He is.
for the wedding?
They're having a lunch there, apparently.
Oh, fantastic.
One of the greatest traits in people is not knowing how good they are at something.
Yeah.
And he is so gifted, and he has no idea.
He's wasted a lot of the time as well, because he's, you know, racing needs comedians, you know, actual comedians.
Why are you looking at me there?
Because
Actual
I couldn't see Kealy, that's why. But yeah, and he is fantastic, and thankfully, you know, you get to see plenty of Roscoe in here, don't you? We certainly love him as well. So tune in for that, because look, it's all about having some fun, isn't it? And we're going to do that in the 3:35 coming up. But before we do that, I think we can go to Natalie's 5 to follow. Can we, Mission Control? They're still showing a sunny replay of the second race that we showed, Irish Point scampering away. But here we are, 5 to follow. So to treat this as a 10 to follow. Let's see if she gets stick for one, like Dave Orton did in his first list. Natalie, take it away.
Probably. So I've subtitled mine, right? My first one is a pointer to follow, right? And it is called Wicked Thoughts. I saw it win an 8-runner point-to-point maiden at Ayton, which is in Shropshire, but it's a very good point-to-point on Easter Monday. I thought, God, that's nice. And I was with my husband, and he was like, God, that's nice. We kind of both looked at it. It's a nice little chestnut, really gorgeous for a 4-year-old. Quite advanced for a 4-year-old, skeletally and muscular-wise. Then, of course, I didn't realise at first, but when we started watching the sale at Aintree the other night, we were like, that's Wicked Thoughts. British pointer, 135,000.
Strong name.
Yeah, but that's a lot for a British pointer. 135,000. He was emphatic in his point. Obviously, winning points, they do sell well. But 135, I thought, was a lot. He's by Marla. I'm obsessed with that sire. I love. One day, I'm going to breed from Marla. I love that horse. So he sold.
I'm sure I will, DJ, and Keels as well. Won't
I'm
you be
going
breeding
to.
for Marla one day?
I am going to. So he was purchased by Tom Malone and Michael Scudamore. So
Okay.
How do you spell
Wicked
it?
Thoughts.
Wicked
Thoughts.
Why is it not coming up?
Is my pointer to follow.
Wicked
Could've
My
been
next
naughty
one,
there,
I'm
right? Well,
agreeing
if it's
with
a
you
pointer, it's
guys,
probably not
and
in here
it's Jerry Colomb. He's my Gold Cup
Because
horse.
there has been a big sale at Aintree, of course, isn't there? You see some very, very good
It
horses
was
in the future
brilliant.
going through.
But I won't go on and on about Jerry Colomb. There's absolutely not one single thing I do not like about the horse. He's my Gold Cup horse to
I
follow.
love him.
Yeah, I love him. Then in the pocket is my chaser to follow.
Keith Melrose put him
My
up as his
chaser to follow. Did he?
He did.
Darn it. My potential, I was maddening for the Supreme that day. He was keen, not fluent at the last, blah, 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 blah. But obviously, absolutely up to his game, stuck his neck out at Aintree. I loved that performance. I was cheering from my sofa. So Chaser to follow is in the pocket. I've got one that I've subtitled Keep the Faith, and that is Stage Star. Stage Star is big, he's beautiful, he's straightforward, he's an amazing jumper. Came too soon, Cheltenham put the mark on Stage Star. And he absolutely bombed out at Aintree.
I wonder
So-
whether you're blinded by your love for
No,
this horse.
he's
Come on,
good.
can't all be niceties
No.
when this guy.
I was trying to
Come on.
find Wicked Thoughts there, and I couldn't find them.
You'll find him on the Aintree sales.
Okay.
no.
Stage Star.
Give him a chance. He's big, strapping horse.
But where is he going to go next season? Like, if you were to say, right, he's definitely going to win that race next season, what is it?
Well, I wouldn't say definitely going to.
Ryanair?
It's got
I
to be
just
right
think-
there, isn't it?
For a horse like him who put it all together at Cheltenham, I think Aintree was just way too much for him. It just blew his little head. He couldn't sustain that. It obviously, clearly took a lot out of him, and he couldn't redo it. He's just one that I've written, keep the faith. Don't give up on him. I said the same about Hoyt Senior, a few things.
I said the same about
Keep the
Hermes
faith.
Allen.
Keep the faith.
Not even DJ like
It's not
stage star.
Cliff, it's keep the faith. Right, last one, totally agree with you, that Tiapu. I have got, that is my stayer.
2 Robcore horses that are going to be in a lot of lists.
That is absolutely going to be, he's the new kid on the block, he's a stay in division, he's 6 years old. Do you know what, Dave? He's going to be better next season.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Okay. All right. There's Natalie's 5 to follow, and she is hot at the moment, and she does her homework. She gives you a pointer to follow as well. Michael Scudamore going to be having a great season with that. All right, and DJ, well, you'll find it at some point. It will come in, I'm sure, onto the Members Club search tool. Right, we're going to move on because we are 10 minutes or so away from Grade 1 action. The big boys come out to play. Talking of Tehupu, we have his conqueror here, of course, last year's winner of the race, Sire du Berlay. A remarkable animal, this, isn't it? He is just... It was a great story, that, I think, to win 3 times at a Cheltenham Festival and come back as we did. I mean, lots of people seemingly tipped him as well, didn't they? There was a lot of, like...
Well,
Twitter
a shout out to Ben Hutton. Ben Hutton, Spotlight in the Racing Post tipped it, and it was so funny because we were staying in a house near Cheltenham, and I was flicking through the paper, and it was like, Sire de Berlay, he's tipped that, and like I was gathering the Irish quotes for the paper, and I remember chatting to Gordon, like, and Gordon wouldn't exactly fill you with confidence. He was like, look, sure, hopefully he pops up every now and again, but it'll probably be again rather than now, and he won. Like it was. He's an astonishing horse, sire.
And he won this last year. Of course, he came in with a duck egg next to his name. He comes into it with a 1 now. Whereabouts is he in the market at the moment? That would be the question, wouldn't it?
He is 8 to 1.
Again, they just keep thinking he's going to get beaten, don't they, the market, basically. Flooring Porter then, heads it up. Kills looks like he's going to go off Clear Fab now.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the case for him, couldn't you? Because he had the interrupted prep going in. He had one, but he still ran really, really well to finish 4th, which obviously won the 2 previous Stayers Hurdle. He was 2nd in this race last year after winning the Stayers. He's just a very, very solid horse, isn't he? He tends to run his race at this time of year. He always tends to get beaten in the spring, in the autumn and the winter, but he tends to run his race this time of year. I think he's probably the right favourite now. I just think he's a better horse than Home by the Lee overall. I can understand Homebody might be improving, but I think he's a better horse. Marie's Rock has it to prove. 1 at 3 mile, which I think she'll get, but 2 after a poor run at Cheltenham, which there may have been excuses for, but I don't like making excuses for horses at shortish prices. And but for me, the each way bet in the race, as myself and Natalie discussed earlier on, is Champ, because his record fresh is fantastic.
Hammered in the market.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's been
into 5 to 1.
That's what you want to be seeing, lads, isn't it?
5 to 1, yeah.
Champ was in there.
11 to 2, best price now.
Could that be green and gold money?
Well, it could be. It could be. You never know. But yeah, I think he's got a cracking track. He's a very popular horse anyway, isn't he?
Yes, and he has, of course, won here as a novice. Remember, he got beaten in the Ballymore, one of the weirdest results ever by City Island, that, wasn't it? And then he came here and stepped up in trip, and that was when he showed what he was all about. It was a great tussle, wasn't it, between him and Paisley Park when they came back in November. That was one of the races.
And they were so far apart, like it was hard to know who was in front.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, he didn't lose much next time. And Kills says the angle here is being fresh, of course, named after AP McCoy, isn't he? You like him too, DJ?
I do, yeah, but look, I'm in terrible form. That's probably not a ringing endorsement.
You're not alone.
I think with Champ, like on his day, he's a very good horse, and I think I go back to the long walk, which was rescheduled for Kempton on St Stephen's Day, Boxing Day as you call it. Like he tried a very short and running. He was probably ridden a little bit too positively and didn't quite get home. I want to see a little bit of exuberance, but not too much in the early part of the race. I want to see him getting into a good rhythm. And you just wonder, he's had 110 days off. Everything that ran in Cheltenham is back after 30 days. 30 days. And that freshness angle just could be key here. But as I said, I'm in terrible form.
Yeah, they got going at it off the home turn at Kempton, didn't they? And you could tell that Paisley looked a million at that point. If you know Paisley just keeps going. And you're right to forgive him that, I think. Look, on his very best form, he's got a 170 RPR, which is top in this. This is, okay, Natty, where are you going this, remind me?
Marie's Rock.
Okay, stablemate.
Just wins, obviously. She's just tipping winners. She doesn't
Correct.
tip losers
Get
anymore.
involved,
No,
everyone.
I've got a bit of a thing about mares in spring. I think mares perform really well in spring. I really do. It's obviously a natural thing for them, isn't it? It's the first time they come into season, they feel well, their coats are well. Marie's Rock, what my trainer thought here is there's actually several of Nicky's high-profile runners that disappointed at Cheltenham, and she was probably the biggest one for me.
Yeah.
I found her massively disappointing. We've seen Shishkin's bounce back. I don't see it's impossible for Marie's Rock to bounce back. The question with his daughter Milan, you could possibly say whether she'll stay the longer trip, but don't forget they were toying with the stayers for Marie's Rock anyway. So the yard absolutely think that she can stay. Of course they do, otherwise why would they have that decision? Totally get the theory with Champ. He's just got a big, massive ass on him, hasn't he? He's got a right engine. He has. He's got this big hindquarters. He's just got such an engine. I totally get it. But Marie's Rock is on top. And I still will never, ever ignore Dash or Drasher. I've never known such a consistent horse in my life. And God, that horse tries. Dash or Drasher. So I'm kind of on the real kill form, aren't I? I can never say that right either.
Rel
kill form.
Yeah, I just want, what happened at Cheltenham? I just don't really know Marie's Rock. Everyone thought she was going to
They're sort of blaming a slow-paced sprint finish, aren't they? But I just think there must be more to it than that, because she looked at so much better than that, hadn't she? So
yeah, and the second last hurdle, it fell apart.
The word was she didn't please him that much in her final gallop as well. I think that was what I got told. But Epperton didn't.
So I'm all right with that. So I think that's okay. Maybe she might bounce back.
Holding
Like
her
I
place
say,
in the market,
these
that's for
girls
sure.
like the springtime. I'm telling you, it must be some thing with their hormones or something.
There's some interesting
You
chat
know
out
more
there
about
at the
that than
moment
me, I
in
suppose.
Chatland. Joe Green comes on and says, "Aye, Davy boy, knee deep in Sir de Burley." Thoughts? Well, hopefully we've covered that for you, Joey boy. Joe Green, the carpet clean, out there.
Big Bucks was the best staying hurdler, wasn't he? Like, I just think it's interesting. I remember speaking to Ruby Walsh about this, and I said, ability-wise, who was the best you've ridden? And it's funny, I think I asked Paul Nichols the same question, ability-wise, who's the best you've trained? And I think they both agreed that Big Buck's natural ability was better than anything in the cheat, which I thought was interesting because, you know, there's obviously been the Cautos, the Denmans, any amount of top-class horses. But it's interesting that Big Bucks was the one that, you know, could have done anything. Like,
He hasn't really had a
gorgeous.
staying hurdler since, has he, Nichols? Which
Gorgeous
shows you exactly what a freaky sort of campaign it was, and it was when Sam Thomas fell off.
but he doesn't want staying hurdlers, does he?
Well, no,
that's the whole
exactly.
point, isn't it? They go
but
over
Big Bucks
fences,
found his way in that department, didn't
Yeah.
he? And he was that talented that he absolutely just dominated. It's been a long time since the Stayers Hurdle has been dominated
And
by
that was
that
always
Thistlecrack type
a
of
beautiful
horse.
story, Big Bucks. Because he is one of my favourite horses, Sprinter Sacra, Big Bucks. I mean, it's gorgeous. But wasn't it like his groom or there was so much credit given to the person that like rode Big Bucks out every day, like something like they managed him really well, and there was some gorgeous story behind it. I really can't remember. I remember being shown on TV, and I was like welling up, like, oh, so cute, such a nice story.
We're going to put a team bet on
great
it.
story now.
That was gorgeous.
That was a great story,
That was gorgeous.
Are we going to put on a team bet here?
it's got to be Champ, hasn't it?
gotta be
No,
Champ.
no, sorry, we're letting Natalie pick.
No, I don't think I should be put under pressure here.
Third time lucky. You're a bit superstitious.
Don't talk
like
to me
that, eh?
about third time lucky.
Oh, yeah, right. And again. Well, look, I've got one in here as well, meet and greet. If you like Home by the Lee, I don't think you'll be far away from that, and I couldn't believe the price of him, really. Oliver McKinnon had Grey Gatsby go very well in the opening handicap hurdle, and this guy's unexposed as a stayer for me. And I just like the way that he ran behind Blazing Cal when we last saw him. Blazing Cal, I don't know about him in the stage, he didn't quite get home, did he?
I'd say he probably missed a couple of gallops that he probably needed because he travelled really
You
well.
never know when you're hearing the smoke screens and that, do you? I wasn't sure what to believe there.
Shall
But,
we back Champ while he's still five, though?
Let's get
It's
Champ
money
on
back
then.
on the place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Me and Dave like him, don't we?
yeah, let's get Champ on. We've got him in the lucky 15 as well, which could do with a boost.
There we go. That's all right. We'll have a pony each one.
Although Hermes Allen was placed for us. There we go. All right. And listen, great to have you on board this afternoon here, Racing Post Live. This is how you bet through the app, basically. If you haven't got the app, download it. It is free. It's the best in the business by a mile. And they're going to keep building on it here at the Racing Post in 2023. Home by the Lee going to quite exuberant.
Probably the horse to beat Home by the Lee.
I think so. I read Johnny's column. Do you help him with that column?
No, he writes it himself. No, he does. He actually does write it himself.
Do you know what we're going to do later in the show, by the way? I want to get into your mind a bit about Up in the Ante, because loads of Up in the Ante viewers will be watching this afternoon, and what Johnny's like to work with and all that sort of stuff. We know he's a complete gent, isn't he? But
Proper gent.
He does like this chap. And as Matthew Samuel says in the chat, I can see you, Matthew, in there, he made a terrible mistake. Cannot see why he is more than Florian Porter in this.
Just to reach out a bit of Johnny's column, which is actually very interesting. He says the JRL Group Liverpool Hurdle is, as you would expect for a Grade 1, a belter of a race, and this is yet another contest where I am perplexed by the shape of the market. How in God's name is Marie's Rock favourite for this? She couldn't run any worse at Cheltenham against her own sex, and now she's up against seasoned geldings and even has a stamina query as her first try at 3 miles. I backed her at Cheltenham and thought she ran terribly, with no valid excuse either. She's almost priced as if she won the Mayor's Hurdle, and she's up against it. I fancied Home by the Lee at Cheltenham, and if he gives his running, which is obviously no guarantee for a horse who ran at the festival, then I'm expecting him to make amends. He made a horrific error with a circuit to go at Cheltenham and ran a blinder afterwards considering that error. I think he's fantastic odds in this, and I can't see one horse that I'm worried about if he brings his A game. He's a confident win-only selection.
I love the fact that you read that as if you didn't write it.
I didn't write it, no. Johnny wrote it.
We can lift the lid. We can lift the lid here.
No, Johnny
He
wrote it.
actually rang you when we were doing What a Shout yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
And was that to check if everything was all right?
Yeah.
I could hear him on the line.
He's
bellowing
actually,
down it.
honestly, he could be a journalist. He's a good writer. He's quite
He
witty.
was on ITV. You were livid about that, weren't
I know
you?
he was on
Your
ITV
partner in
without
crime.
me,
He was great on ITV,
I
actually.
wonder
He was
why
in the
they
ring.
keep his tack so simple, though, Home by the Lee, because he's got his...
We're hearing it's
Yeah,
not
but
good
he's-
news about Dark Raven, guys,
he's
by
got
the way.
his gob
which is
open.
terribly sad.
Oh, no.
I think Tom Barras is flagging that up. We'll try and check that for you. Yeah, I'm on the floor about that.
Oh,
'cause
don't. That's horrid.
we're just waiting for it to be official, by the way, guys. They are circling down at the start.
Yeah, but
Kills
how
is
are
the
they
bet
meant to
on
have
with
a
champ. It
control
is.
over him, though?
Kills bet's on with champ.
Bet is on with champ. Yep.
Yeah,
5 to
all
1.
right. So we've got last year's 1-2 in the race. Cider Burley beat Flooring Portner, but Home by the Lee. Johnny Deneen loves it. A lot of you love it out there as well. Good luck wherever you go.
It's been
Marie's
interesting to
Rock.
see how much control they've got over Home by the Lee. Let's wait and see.
He went down very exuberantly for a horse
He
that
had his
can.
gob open. He was snatching.
He runs in
and
snatches, doesn't he?
rolling.
That's what you call it when a horse is not, looking that happy push and then back on the bridle, push and then back on the
Right,
bridle.
will we do a bit of practice in here for the national and do it, take
We're
it
gonna
in
do
turns to
segments?
comment. We'll do segments, right?
All right.
So there's probably, how many hurdles is there? There's probably 12, is there?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is
imagine
confirmed
so,
about Dark Raven.
Oh, that's so sad.
Ridiculously sad. It's a beautiful animal. Footstool connections up.
Okay,
there.
so we'll say, will we say
13 hurdles.
13 hurdles, okay? So we'll take 3 each and you do the last 4, Dave, maybe?
I'm good.
So we'll go along the line. You take the first 3 kids.
I
We
was
want,
the
right,
first
we
three.
want, we want.
Matt, are you ready?
Right, Flooring Porter's in
What can go wrong?
No, we need now. This is as if you're doing
Lots of Keel's going
test,
to break down the
a
studio.
race course test. Okay, so
This is the bit where they say, please don't come back. Yeah.
yeah,
This
is
was SIS. You would be getting that line.
Keel's a bit of effort here, right? Okay, you have to. This is pretend you're at the race course. I don't know who's commentating
I'm
on the
gonna
race
do
course.
this without swearing
But
as
Simon
well,
Holt
no.
is after saying, "Oh God, I don't feel great." Keels, you have to take over, okay? So here you go, right? Come on then.
Chances of that. I just had to check up which one was Mon Morale, and I should have known that. Meet and
Okay,
greet.
now come on,
Well,
they're nearly off here.
Cider
They're
Blaze
nearly
won.
off.
They're off and running. Grade 1 action.
They're off.
3:35. Over to Paul
Off and
Kealy.
running, yeah. Flooring Porter taking his usual position, taking it up, home by the lead, close up behind him in third, just about, is Dashel Drasher. This ground might be a bit too quick for him, actually. Meet and Greet's jumped that quite well. Bit keen. It looks like Flooring Porter is getting quite an easy time of it up front.
You missed the
Home by the
dodgy
lead.
jump by Marie's Rock there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Marie's Rock jumped really
Don't put
badly
him off,
there.
man.
Sorry, go on.
Is there nobody else puts you off when you're doing that? I thought I was doing really well there.
Simon Holt hasn't got someone going. You
Simon.
missed it, Simon.
You missed it, you idiot.
Come on.
Yes, right. Anyway, so Flooring Porter taking it, going really easily in front. Got Home by the Lee in second. Dashel Drasher third.
Really
He is, isn't he?
jumped one hurdle.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
he's
DJ,
going
you're a
well,
hard
isn't he?
taskmaster,
He's going
DJ.
well. Meet and Greet is up there. Marie's Rock's got a head a little bit high. Bit keen, maybe.
You've never
What's
heard
Jim at the
anyone
back?
wishing for the third hurdle so much in your
I've
life.
no idea what the one in pink was the outside.
What hurdle is this? Is this that's brewing up a storm?
Oh, that's brewing up a storm.
is this the second hurdle, yeah? You have another hurdle to go. Go on.
Darren Owen, rest easy.
Another good job from Flooring Porter. Still going really well. Hopefully, second. Dashel Drasher third. Monmorale moving up on the outside. Meet and Greet fifth. Brewing up to 6. Marie's Rock still a bit keen. That Cider Burley in 7th. Is it? I do not know which one's got the white cap.
Cider Burley's white cap.
He's
Oh,
not
right.
going
I've got
great,
that
Cider
wrong.
Burley,
He's not
actually.
going
Maybe
great.
left his mark.
Champ's going well. Is that it? That's
But we have
three.
three.
Where you go?
Right. So we take it up coming down to the fourth hurdle here, and it is Flooring Porter, who seems to be in
Keel's
a good
getting his
rhythm
ear.
under Danny Mullins. Home by the Lee in second. It is Dashel Drasher in third. Marie's Rock getting into a little bit better rhythm now under Nico de Boinville. Monmoral on the outside of Meet and Greet. followed by Brewing Up and Storm. Champ, who had a good early position, has been shuffled back to third last.
He's never been anywhere other than third last.
No, he was early on. He was prominent throughout the early stages. Over the first, he was quite prominent. And I think John Joe Neal wants to be closer than he is. Proshima trails in the field as they turn for home with a circuit to race in the JRL Group Liverpool Hurdle. Grade 1, 140 grand to the winner. It is Flooring Porter in his comfort zone.
Space filling there, wasn't it, eh?
Under Danny Mullins, 2-time winner of the Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham. Had a bit of a blip, of course, before the Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham. Missed 2 or 3 pieces of work. Will he be cherry ripe today? Home by the Lee in second, Drashel Dasher in third. Pings it, does Flooring Porter. Marie's Rock is really settling into a nice rhythm now. Drashel Dasher in second, Home by the Lee third. Meet and Greet, Dave Orton, I'd say, are very, very happy because Meet and Greet is in the box
Very
seat.
happy.
Champ is back in third last, not travelling particularly well, I don't think, Champ. Sire de Burlay. Sire de Burlay is doing his customary kind of couldn't be arsed on the first circuit kind of thing. Pings that, does Flooring Porter. 2-length lead from Dashel Drasher. Home by the lead, just getting a shove along from JJ Slevin. Mon Morale is enjoying it. Meet and Greet is fourth. Marie's Rock on the inside. I know commentators aren't supposed to say this, but if I was having a bet in running right now, it would be Marie's Rock.
Oh, she's been a bit exuberant. How many hurdles have you called, by the way?
I've called 3.
Marie's Rock is fine. She has her nose up. She's got the sheepskin noseband on that can also make them put their head up. So it does not worry me whatsoever. Flooring Porter still in the lead. Danny Mullins trying to dictate the pace slightly here. They're going. They have slowed it down a little bit here. Dashel Drasher just looks like he might be slightly run off his feet a wee bit. I mean, obviously he is still prominent.
Simon Holt doesn't play with his
He
hair when he's
does
doing
look like he is a bit. Side of Belay, look, he's 11 years old. He's still held up at the rear. I mean, yeah, look, it might have left his mark last time. Marie's Rock still travelling into the race nicely. Dashel Drasher still there. He's number 2. Flooring Porter remains the leader, trained by Gavin Conwell. I'm going to fill now. Lovely jubbly. Who else is there? Brewing Up a Storm under Aidan Coleman. Ollie Murphy
Home by the Lee going
trains
backwards.
again in quite a nice rhythm
Home by the Lee is beaten.
They are picking up the tempo a little bit now, actually. Again, it's staying off speed.
Oh, wasn't great there, Flooring Porter, Natalie.
Marie's Rock wins.
A little bit scruffy. I'm still hopeful with my mare. It's all about the girls today. I reckon I've done 3. I'm going to head over to Dave because I think I've done really well to
You're going to win as well.
Talking.
Marie's Rock is going to win this.
Coming to the 4th last, Flooring Porter takes it up from Dashel Drasher, and then Meet and Greet's been the eye catcher throughout. Mon Morale there in the slipstream is Marie's Rock. Look at this from Brewing Up a Storm. He loves Aintree. Proshima taking off his lead. Home for the Lee is trying to rally. Champ is off the bridle. Sir de Burley's never been
Marie's
going,
Rock.
guys. Okay, now Flooring Porter puts the pedal to the metal. Danny Mullins knows him better than any. Meet and Greet continues to catch the eye. What will he find? That's the question. Marie's Rock still exuberant. Here we come, the Dashel Drasher. We'd all love to see the Drasher win this, wouldn't we? Money on or not.
Marie's Rock wins.
I'll tell you what, she's cruising. Does she get home? Will they rue the decision not to go to the Stayers at Cheltenham? It was one of the talking points of the preview. And in the lead in, Meet and Greet now maybe just finding it a bit tough. Marie's Rock continues to catch the eye. Mon Morale back over hurdles. He's really given a good spin. Look at Brewing Up and Storm. Aidan Coleman putting pressure now on Flooring Porter. 2 out. Flooring wasn't great there. And I'll tell you what, Nico de Boinville just counting. This could be a bridal job. Natty, come on.
Sire de Burlay, flying home.
Listen,
Sire de Burlay.
I'm excited, of course I'm excited.
Sire de Burlay.
Is it too good to be true? But Sire de Burlay
Marie's
is
Rock.
fair play to him. God,
He's gonna finish second, Sire, I think,
back.
isn't he?
He is absolutely.
He might not finish second. He's going to win it again.
He is
Oh,
going
no way.
down.
Sire de Burlay wins.
Ridiculous.
I am
Look
worried
at this.
Burlay.
about this. Come on, Marie.
Marie's Rock. No,
Come on,
what is she
Marie.
doing?
Come on,
Oh, my
girl.
God.
Sire de Burlay, horse of a lifetime. It looks like he's going to do. He wasn't going a yard through the first
Unbelievable.
circuit. Marie's Rock just run out of it.
What a ride.
What a run from her. But Sire de Burlay, doff
God.
your cap.
Wow.
This is impressive stuff. This is a horse of a lifetime. Joey Green, go collect out there in community land. And you know what? Mark Walsh loved that one. Picked the bones out of it. He must have got massive in running, mustn't
What
he?
price are you going running, Keels? Can you check?
Yep.
An unbelievable horse. It's like it's so easy after the race. Like he's one of them because he's in and out. You don't think he's going to be in twice in a row. He has been in twice in a row. Didn't travel in the early part of the race. The key is obviously a fast early pace. Danny Mullins went quick on Flooring Porter. But what a terrific horse Sire de Burlay is. My God, 2 Pertemps finals, a Stayers Hurdle, 2 Liverpool Hurdles, and Spring. Spring is obviously the key to Sire de Burlay.
Is he
A very small amount of money, 200.
200 on the machine. Wow.
And is he just an unbelievably clever horse as well? Like, he's 11, he knows the game. Like I said, he looks a bit, he's 11-year-old, maybe it's left its mark last time. He was right out the back. I've got hiccups. Really have.
They're not called hiccups now.
Just as long as water doesn't break, I think we're fine.
But no, what a horse. He's almost like, right, I know what I'm doing. I've been here before. He knows the block, and then he knows, right, okay, it's time to pick up. I'll pick up. I mean, it's ridiculously impressive. He's 11 years old.
And like for you, I'm actually sick for you because obviously Marie's Rock travelled like the best horse in the race. Looked like she was going to win. Everything went seamlessly. I'd say you were happy the whole way.
Yeah, but I'm still happy to see an 11-year-old like Sire de Belay win. There comes a point where I'm like, I'm just chuffed for the horse. To be honest with
100%,
you. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits for the horse. Marie's Rock.
Look at him. Look at him there.
So we're about 5 out at this point that we're looking on the replay at the minute, and he's gone, isn't he? When home by that he goes backwards, he's hit his customary flat
ran
spot.
a shocker.
She's just, I guess the problem kills for Marie's Rock over 3 miles. She's just a bit too exuberant, isn't she, in the run?
Yeah, she just didn't get home. But she's ran really well.
Well, I don't know about that, Keels. She was beaten by a thorough stayer who managed to get into contention, turning for home, and outstayed her. But that doesn't mean she didn't stay.
Do you think Johnny
she
was
didn't get home
it?
as well as him? I mean, look at Sire de Belay back there.
Dour stayer.
He is a dour stayer, yes, he is. But I mean, you've got to really, really stay to win these races, haven't you? And she didn't.
Do you think Johnny was papping it at any stage throughout that home straight? Do you reckon he's laid her and he's thinking, oh my lord?
And Marie's Rock,
yes.
yeah, like she just travelled beautifully. This was a different Marie's Rock to the one we saw in the Mare's Hurdle. Like if this Marie's Rock showed up against Honeysuckle, it would have been very interesting. For whatever reason, she didn't. But even here, they're turning for home. Sire de Belay and Mark Walsh, you know he's going to keep going, but you're kind of going, he might stay on for 4th or 5th. But just seems to get so much confidence from passing horse. See there, he goes for a gap between Champ and Home by the Lead, turning for home. And now you're going, here we go. And just at this moment, Nat, I said to you, they're jumping the 3rd last here. I said Marie's Rock has to win. Everything has gone perfectly. But then I just saw the white cap, and I said, for a split second, I was like, oh, Champ. And then I was like, no, it's Sire de Belay.
It's an extraordinary performance. The more you watch this, it's actually quite unbelievable. Like, what a horse. I mean, I can't believe how he's come through, then actually managed to speed up, then dug deep.
Missed the last.
Yeah, missed the last, got in tight.
Yeah.
Marie's Rock had a better jump at the last. She is trying, but he is unreal.
Let's have a word for some of the others. Flooring Paul's running like
Ran a cracker.
He sort of showed his form all season, didn't he? Just hitting the crossbar. He's found a couple too good.
Dash did get run off his legs.
Yeah, he did. He's had a long old season as well. I just wonder whether meet and greet was 4th there. Let's have a look. You can tell my wallet's waiting to find out.
Ran brilliantly there, but Sire de Belay was
meet and greet 4th.
Yeah, he looked like soft ground horse there, didn't he?
Champ 5th. I wonder will that be the last we see at Champ?
Well, he was rusty, Kills, wasn't he, from a long way out, Champ? Are you slightly deflated about that?
It just didn't look right, did he? I mean, Nicky Henderson seemed reasonably bullish in the paper today about him, but he just never travelled, was he?
No.
He just never really looked that happy from the off.
Gordon Elliott's been interviewed here. One thing I will say about Gordon, he has realised, and it's taken him time to realise it, that Punchestown, he can't win Grade 1s at Punchestown because Willie just dominates. That's Willie's playground. So he said to himself this year, they had an okay Cheltenham, probably a par for Cheltenham. A couple of winners here and there. Hit the crossbar with Jerry Colomb, obviously. Mikey Potter was disappointing, but still won with Delta Work. Still lead a couple of other winners. He won the Fred Winter. But I think he's brought a bigger team than usual to Aintree this season. And you see now, he's won 3 Grade 1s. Like, that's not an easy thing to do at Aintree, to win 3 Grade 1s. Yeah. So good placing by Gordon Elliott. And to keep his horses, every season, usually Gordon hits the ground running at Down Royal. And Down Royal in November, he hits the ground running.
Before Willie comes out.
Before Willie comes out.
But there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a hell of a line that you only get on Racing Post Live.
Willie's playground.
November's the time, seemingly.
It's Willie's playground.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, before Willie comes out, Gordon decides to make
Here's an image.
But the one thing, I've lost my train of thought now. But the one thing I'd say, he did it a bit differently.
I'm amazed he's taking us 3 races to get here.
Why did you have to say before Willie comes out?
Again.
Why did you say that?
Keel's just in the back going, again. All
But
right, come on, get back on track, man.
This season, he's brought a few in a little bit later, and you're seeing the dividends of this now. I'd say Sire de Belay probably didn't come back into training as earlier as he would other years, and maybe the likes of I don't know, others. Irish Point, I know, didn't win a hurdle until he won a maiden hurdle at Cork in December, I think. So Fair
I mean,
training achievement.
a lot of people think it's a cliche about talking about training performances, but to keep these old, I mean, no 11-year-old had gone actually in the first 3 in this race in the last 10 years. An 11-year-old winning the Stays to hold his form from Cheltenham as well. It's just such good stuff they're doing there, isn't it?
Absolutely,
It's inspiring stuff, and people love these old boys that keep coming back. Loads of people are in today in the chat. Chris Timms, I know you're out there. That was a biggie for you as well, wasn't it? Look, it's been a great say so far, hasn't it? And I guess if you're Tehupu looking on from your barn, you're thinking, I can't wait to get back out next season. It must be a race at Punchestown, isn't there? I'd imagine it's
for Tehupu.
Yeah.
If the ground stays kind of reasonably soft, I'd say we'll see Tehupu in the Stayers Hurdle.
You mentioned Irish Point there. Can I give you some quotes that are coming in?
Yeah.
Lots from Davey on that, actually. He says, I'm having to ride like a 21-year-old again, and I'm loving it. These young lads are all very professional and fit. So Davey again showing what he's been doing in the gyms and the saunas and all that sort of stuff. Novice chasing as we expected for him, and might go up and trip potentially as well by the sounds of it. But he's one to look forward to over fences. Katira, just thrilled to get that Grade 1 placing with the mare, I guess. But she's going to start over hurdles again next season, and they might go for that Weatherby listed hurdle on Charlie Hall Day. All these great things still to come. And Paul Nicholls and Hermes Allen.
Well,
thrilled with the run, unlike DJ.
No, I doubt.
Once the 3 miles,
Yeah.
he said when the rain came, Stay Away Faye was always going to be the representative. You get the feeling they're going to have to split those two up next year, Team Ditchit, don't you? Because they're both going novice chasing. We're going to work on his wind, and he goes novice chasing.
Will either Stay Away Faye or Hermes Allen win a Brown Advisory or a Turner's?
They're going to need to do what Braveman's Game did and step up again, aren't they? They need to find, 4 or 5 lengths on the Irish horses, I think, don't they?
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's hard to stick them in your 5 to follows, isn't it now, going forward? Talking of which, we're seeing quite a few come in. Is it time for another 5 to follow? DJ's going to have to fill his lungs. What are we doing first, sorry? Scoreboard.
How many?
No, I don't need to do the
How many
scoreboard. Forget about
points
the
do you get
scoreboard.
per second? Why am I?
We really don't need to do the scoreboard.
How many points do you
today.
get per second?
We get double in the national Michigan drive.
How
Just
many points do you get
confirmed.
per second? So why am I on 13? Should I not be on 14?
What were you second?
No, you get 3 points per second.
Yeah, so what about my... So
Natalie,
she's
you're clear. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, she wants another point like
I'm not
Tiger
sure.
Woods here.
I'm not sure it's added up
We
right.
can't win.
We can't win.
We can't win.
You can't win. There's 2
I
races
can't
left.
win,
5
Gil,
and
you
5
can't
Hold
win.
on, if I've had 2 wins in 2 seconds...
2 wins in
Yeah.
a second.
I thought I had the second in the
You're not
last.
counting the forecast. You do this. You tend to sort
was 10.
of
You
mess
get
around with the
points per
scoring.
seconds.
So, just to let you know, that
so
cup,
confused.
neither you nor Keels can win this
We
cup.
can't win.
The only person that can win that cup is me.
Well, how do you win it?
Let's put it somewhere there.
So I
then,
need
shall we?
the winner. I need
No,
the
but
winner.
you're still
Hang on a
getting
minute.
points
How
for
do you
balls
win
a
it?
second.
How do I win it? I'm on 4 points.
No, have another
Oh,
look.
I'm only on 1.
Have another look. Read it.
I thought I was
Have
second.
you won this?
Yeah, she's won
don't
it.
know.
She's won it.
Graceful.
It's a shambles of a
It's a
competition. Anyway.
shambles.
It's a stupid competition. I don't know why we did it in the first
I know.
place.
Do you know what? This
you know
is
what?
the last time we do it.
Do you know what? It's not even real gold.
Yes, it is.
It's a tin pot cup, like the operation we have
Plastic,
here.
isn't it?
Yeah, okay, but it means a lot to Natalie
Shit,
Green.
the
and
shambolic
lots of people are
performance
loving the
was.
fact that you won it out there, Natty. So, should we get another 5 to follow up then, guys? It's DJ's time, I think, isn't it? To get this up?
5. This is the way things are going. This is 5 to unfollow.
Well, here was he having a go at my nuzzer. It's his time to shine. There you can see the market then for the next race coming up. Here we go, 5 to follow. DJ, take it away from Ballyburn.
Okay, Ballyburn, I've obviously spoken about this horse endlessly on Up in the Ante and again with you earlier. I think he could win the Ballymore next season. Looking forward to seeing him in the bumper Punchestown. There's a bumper for winners of 1 at Punchestown. I think that's where he'll go. Just love his attitude. I don't think he's, like, during races, he's not one that would poke your eye at, but just his will to win. He puts his head down, he really wants to win, and I think he's got a huge amount of ability. So Ballyburn would be my number 1.
Love it.
Now, look, I have a soft spot for Sander Clegane. I thought he was the best horse in the Albert Bartlett.
He's huge, isn't
He's
he? Is that why
huge.
he's called Sander Clegane?
Yeah.
House of...
What's the mean?
Game of Thrones.
Thrones.
I've never seen it.
Really?
No, Joseph O'Brien said Joseph O'Brien loves Game of Thrones, and he had a horse that was called after a Game of Thrones character. And I asked him one day, I couldn't pronounce it. How do you pronounce that? I said, and he said, oh, that's a famous Game of Thrones character.
Oh, not that
I'm with
Tyrion,
Joseph.
no. What was that horse?
Sandor Clegane is a huge character. He's massive.
Yeah, just for anybody
You need
that's...
to watch it, by the way.
Is it good, yeah?
Good. It's unbelievable.
Okay,
You got,
yeah.
you got a baby.
Do you like
man.
violence?
You got plenty of time on your hands.
Do you like violence?
I just said, do you like islands? Do I like violence? Yeah, I like a little bit of
It's
violence.
unbelievably good.
Sandor Clegane. Just have a look back at the first 4 furlongs of the Albert Bartlett. And you say to yourself, there was scrimmage in Sean O'Keefe. Sean, if you're watching, I know you're probably not watching, but Sean, he was probably tearing his hair out because he got involved in a scrimmaging match, got shuffled back to second last, didn't want to be there. And to do what he did, to get himself into a challenging position, and then not to get the rail before the last, and then for the carnage to happen with Corbett's Cross, who's also in my 5 to follow, I just thought it was a remarkable performance to be beaten less than a length in the Albert Bartlett.
Corbett's Cross. You're putting up the... What happened with him then coming to the list? The doors that ran out, of course.
Yeah, but he was in the process of running a cracker, I thought. Corbett's Cross did an awful lot in a short space of time. He went from winning...
I like him.
Yeah, he went from winning at Limerick at Christmas, then to Fairy House. Then he beat, like, Found a 50 Rampuri the
What
other
was
day.
that about
Found a 50 is a
Whip was
good
in the
horse.
wrong. Yeah, it wasn't right.
Baby bro.
I just thought it was probably, he was taking steps, and then there was a giant step, obviously, the Albert Bartlett was sent off favourite in the process of running a really good race. He's made for chasing. Everything about Corbett's Cross screams chasing. And the only problem I have there is that my number 2 and my number 3 are your perfect Brown advisory type. So they're going to have to clash at some stage next season if they stay sound. Looking forward to seeing that. Sandor Clegane and Corbett's Cross. I think in time, both of those horses are Gold Cup horses in time.
Yeah, okay, that's very interesting, isn't it? A lot of people will be wanting to forgive him, of course, for what happened there, because he was favourite in the Albert Bartlett, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he ran well.
Yeah, but punters don't like that, TJ.
Then he ran out?
Yeah.
Something could have caught his eye. He's a young horse, he's inexperienced. I wouldn't read too much into it.
Yeah,
would
no,
you?
I am right. I read it on the analysis. No, I'm sure the whip was in the wrong hand. And it's when he dodged out right at the last minute where the white railings were. Well, the whip.
He's all right. He's just won a grade 1. He's okay.
If the whip was
Yeah,
in the
he
other
could
hand
take
though and had to slap down the shoulder, it was too easy for him to run out. It was very, very close to the wing. That horrible little gap between the wing and the rail. You look back, the whip's in the wrong hand. I'm not baby brain. I've bloody nailed this.
Yeah, that was a bit harsh, wasn't it?
I remember it. There's a reason.
Corbett's Cross will be 3. 4, Tiger Bay Queen. Any of you heard of him?
I'm getting on the search, and this one, like Wicked
you know?
Thoughts, I think I'll find.
No.
So
Tiger
Tiger
Bay
Bay Queen is the mare that won the bumper at Fairy House at the weekend, trained by Peter Fahey. An exceptional performance. Now, I mean, it was wow. Finished second to Mercury in a bumper at Gorham Park on her debut. Spoke to Peter Fahey about her. He couldn't believe she was beaten that day, even though Mercury was a real short price favourite. He said in the quotes afterwards when I interviewed him, he said she'd won a schooling hurdle. You hear people there's a lot of hyperbole about schooling hurdles. He said she genuinely won a schooling hurdle at the start of this season by a furlong. She's a rapid jumper, he said. She just loves it. To win the bumper the way she did, ridden cold by Jamie Codd, being very keen over the first 3 or 4 furlongs, she must be exceptional. She would be my idea of next year's Mares Novices Hurdle winner.
Oh, there you go. Very interesting. We've had a
That's
British
good.
point. We've got the Mares Novices. We look outside the box here a little bit. Even Nosrit is going to clean up. All right, and what's the last one? Down memory lane.
Down memory lane, JP McManus, Gordon Elliott, won a bumper at Fairy House. And I love when Gordon says...
Ooh, I remember this also.
Yeah, I love when Gordon says, I'm going to mind one. I'm going to
Derek O'Connor
mind
was in
one.
the episode,
Derek
wasn't he?
O'Connor, very good, Dave. Derek O'Connor rode him. Very impressive when he won his point-to-point. I want to mind him. We won't see him again this season after winning the Fairy House. And like it was a couple of weeks ago now. And you just get the impression, everybody you speak to in the yard, and then you watch the video of the point, you watch how confident Derek rode this horse. And I think he's got loads of speed, but I think he'll stay as well. I could see him ranking very highly among the novice hurdlers next season. I could see him coming out and winning maybe a maiden hurdle at Down Royal, then maybe going on to the Monksfield at Navan. I think he could be ranked very highly in the novice hurdlers next season. So what you've got there is you've got Ballyburn and Down Memory Lane, who I think potentially could be Supreme and Ballymore types. You've got Tiger Bay Queen, who I think might potentially be a Mares Novice Hurdle type. And then you've got Corbett's Cross and Sandor Clegane, who will be going then the stay in Novice Chase route, Brown Advisory, and potentially, if we're sitting in this seat this time next year, you'll be saying, oh, they have chances in the Gold Cup.
The dream is alive. Then 5 to follow from DJ David Jennings. Love that. Absolutely superb. You could have gone on about that, man.
Yeah, it was
and
cool.
I could have gone on listening. And the notebooks are filling up. Now, if you want to find those horses, just go into the search bar, of course. And unlike Wicked Thoughts, you can find them on the website. Okay.
The caveat to that 5 to 5.
Fine, wicked thoughts on the sales, Aintree sales.
We go Weatherby's.
Oh, there's all
Point.
the-
Just to warn viewers of my 5 to follow there. So far today, I've tipped Hermes Allen, Outlaw Peter, and Champ, and they've all ran poorly.
You've got closer than I have. That's for sure. You've got closer than I have.
So great race,
all
man.
right. All right. We are what? T minus around about. We've got a little bit to go, haven't we? Around about an hour and 15.
That sounds too
away.
disappointed, though.
Hour and 15 until the Grand National. 39 runners going to battle over those famous fences. Cannot wait for this. Get in your 1, 2, 3, 4s. Let's get the poll up if we can on YouTube as well. Mission Control having an easy afternoon so far. Let's test them. Let's get that poll up. Who wins the 2023 Grand National? Who goes off Fav? I mean, who's going to finish where? Let's have it all. We can have all the chat. But first, we've got home in on what I call almost like the future Grand National. The 415 usually throws up a Grand National winner of the future. Will it be Beauport? The market suggesting some. Shake 'em up, Harry. For Harry Redknapp, first time over 3 miles. Midnight River, who's got that great Cheltenham handicap form. He's in there as well. Coconut Splash, still somehow a maiden over fences. The Nutty Nassalam. Is this his day? Eldorado Alen is the class angle. Charlie Post on the morning show told us to horse that he broke in. Quando Cueto would not go on the ground. The market still thinks he's got a chance. And bow to greatness for Ben Pauling, trainer of Shake 'em Up Harry as well. There's your market as it stands, around about 15 minutes away. Keels, what do we like in this?
Yeah, I backed one Anti Post that was bow to greatness. Just thought he was very interested in a couple of early pieces of form. Third to Complete Unknown, second to Black Jerry, who's won a couple recently. Nicely handicapped on those, has sort of lost the plot a little bit, but trainer's in good form and he's been well back today. Didn't expect him to be that price. And the other one was Carl Philippe. They're all sort of similar owners. I think Harry Redknapp has a share in both of them.
It used to be his colours, didn't it?
Yeah, Carl Philippe, I think, well, actually...
he is still in it.
He is still in it.
Yeah.
They're all different colours now because they've got another one. They've got Shake 'em Up Harry in the race as well, so he's got actually a share in 3. But yeah, Carl Philippe just went well for a really long way in the Ultimate. I think that it was one of he's in the first 2 of those who raced up with the pace because I think the first 5 home were well held up. Obviously, Corach Rambler coming from miles away. I think it was a pretty good Ultimate as well.
Yeah.
And he's I think he'll jump better around here. I think he's not like a flat track. And I think he's going to go well with Jack Hogan taking £5 off him. They were the 2 for me.
All right, okay, you've heard from Paul Kealy then, and all right, it's interesting. No Beauport Kills. Why are we deserting? And I say you're deserting Beauport because you're really keen on this bloke. Throughout the season a couple of times.
It's a price thing. It's a price thing. I think it was probably a case of just going miles too fast in the Kim Muir, but I just think he's short enough now, isn't he?
Oh, breaking news.
Go on.
Davy Russell has announced his retirement for the 2nd time following today's racing at Aintree. We've decided earlier this week that we'll finish it here. So Davy Russell's last ride will be on Galvin in the Grand National.
And what lightning striking twice? This is exactly what Sam Whaley-Cohen did. So last year, Sam Whaley-Cohen with the amateur, the crack amateur, before he went on Noble Yates, said, this will be my last ride, and he went out on possibly the winner of all winners. And now we have Davy Russell doing the same. There was a lot of chat in the quotes I was getting about whether he would ride at Punchestown or not. So this is it. He's going to go out, and we want him to go out on the high, don't we?
Maybe he'll enjoy Punchestown. There must be something in your head, though, if it's your last ever ride, to go absolutely beep it and just give it your everything. Your mind would be so strong. Like, what have you got to lose apart from, obviously you don't want to come down and fall, but you could give it. It's amazing what you could do in that situation. It'd be quite cool.
I wonder, is there any jockey in the history of jockeys that have ever retired twice and both on winners? Because he obviously retired on Liberty Dance at Thurles before Christmas. Imagine retiring on a winner and then retiring for a second time on a winner. It's definitely never been done.
No, 100% never been done.
Never been done.
All right, well, with Davey then, all of a sudden, all eyes on Galvin.
I wish I could retire with a winner.
But still, you got 2 races, and they're nice, easy ones for you, DJ, as well. We've heard from Kills then. Let's see what DJ likes in this before we get an injured jockey's bet up for the team. What are you going to put up, my man?
I was going through this race on Thursday, and I went through the whole field. I spent about an hour and 10 minutes going through it and looking at videos and everything because I was waiting. You were on in the know and we were going for a drink afterwards. So I went through it and I just came down the list and I got to Coconut Splash and I watched the run of Hereford and I said to myself, hold on a second here. Now, this is a horse that obviously hasn't won one of these big handicaps yet, but you just sense from that run of Hereford behind City Chief, who franked the form afterwards and obviously won the graded race at Wetherby. I think with Coconut Splash, if he gets into a good rhythm and gets a bit of cover under Adam Wedge, Evan Williams' horse have just started to come back in form. I think he's had 4 or 5 winners in the last fortnight. They're starting to rattle again. And I think with Coconut Splash, he's the one that you can see is potentially well handicapped. He's £2 out of the handicap here, but I always thought he was far better than his handicap mark. So this could be the day when Coconut Splash puts it all together.
Connections one runner this week, the last day in the Red Rum handicap, of course, which hit the frame. It was third run and blinder in that. I can't believe he still have made no defences.
Yeah, well, this is it with him, isn't it? I mean, even the trainer quote, it says, Evan Williams says, I think his trainer is probably the only one who still has any faith in him at the moment. You know what I mean? So
He's doubled up.
I do.
He's doubled up.
He's looked like doing it, but he says, you know, I hope he runs well, as I have a lot of faith in him still. So, he obviously thinks a fair bit. He's been well supported too. But he is just one of those horses that flatters deceive. You know, he could be your hitman.
No, Mai Tai is my hitman.
Have we jumped off either of those yet? Mai Tai and Hitman, or are they still living in?
Oh, Mai Tai is gone.
Gone.
Mai Tai, to me, Mai Tai, the race was there for him twice now at Cheltenham. His prep for the Martin Pipe, he should have won that race and he didn't. Going into the Martin Pipe, the race went beautifully. Lorca Murta gave him the perfect ride. He came, he got the rail, the race was there for him, and Mai Tai just obviously wasn't good enough. And I'd say he's not the easiest ride. He's not the easiest mentally, I'd say as well. I still think he could turn out to be a good horse. But me and Mai Tai, I can now reveal, we're over. And there will be no...
A splitting heart screen emoji just went up.
Look, I got rid of Mr. Coffee a few years ago. I'm now getting rid of Mai Tai.
So Q next year's Bootil.
No, Mai Tai won't be... No, he's not a Grade 1 horse. I thought he was going to develop into a Grade 1 horse. He's not. He will pop up someday.
Coffee is one of those horses you just like...
Absolutely.
Well, he runs in the National, of course,
Oh,
Mr.
is that
Coffee.
Coffee?
So,
What
all
about
right,
Mr. Coffee?
okay, what am I going? We're in
Coffee.
tandem here. Don't expect Mission Control to make coffee. Whatever you do, they can just about press buttons. Right, okay.
Now, hold on a second, right? Producer Dave Lowe, okay? Just to let viewers know, right?
Machine.
Producer Dave Lowe, we were in this morning for the Good Morning Show, right?
Here we go.
First thing he said today, right? The
Want a
first thing
coffee?
he said, no, he didn't say, do you want a coffee? The first thing Dave Lowe said to me today was, I have a winner at Chepstow, okay? He said, have a winner at Chepstow, don't worry about Aintree. Rock of Star, he said, will win the 5-2 at Chepstow. And was he right?
Yeah.
Of course he was. Rock of Star absolutely bolted up. I think you might have backed him, did you?
6-4 though.
I didn't back it.
6-4.
But Dave Lowe said that he would win. He was 11-4 at the time. He absolutely bolted up on the Nick Schofield by 5 lengths. So you don't be saying the only thing they can do is press buttons.
Have you
He's
seen how
giving you
Mission
winners.
Control are doing on this tipping? They are they're in tandem with you.
They're beating us.
They've only got what? Yeah, come on, we need to get back on this,
No,
Gills.
they're in second.
They're
in second. They're thrashing us.
They're in a share of second.
What is Mission Control going from here? Nasalam, your old buddy, Keels.
Man.
Nasalam.
I mean, should we just have a quick word on Nasalam before we go to me and Nat? Because we're tandeming up here, which I'm delighted about.
There is no doubt whatsoever that Nasalam is still a well-handicapped horse at 3 miles, because to still be in contention, having belted nearly every fence all the way round at the top of the hill, was amazing. Now,
Amazing.
I have a feeling someone pointed out to me that his record in big fields isn't particularly good. So I mean, if they go hard, and he's just going to get knocked out of his rhythm. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he won. Like, I mean, he was one of my bets at Cheltenham as well, and I knew from the second fence that he wasn't winning.
Yeah, he can really frustrate. If you go left, he'll jump right. If you go right, he'll jump left.
Yeah, he's got talent. He's got to jump. Basically, he's got to jump. He's got to get himself into a rhythm.
Best handicapped horse in the race?
I think he probably is, but he's got to put it all together, and you can spend your life backing horses like that.
A lot of back class for some of the runners in here down the bottom. Daily Tiger, if he came back to his, Noel Mead form, he'd be very interesting. Okay, we are tandeming up then here, which is delightful because you won the tournament on National Day.
I know, I'm so pleased with myself. I've had such good days in the studio, but I've had hard days too. So this is a long time coming for me.
You really have, haven't you?
I've had like a
Should I text you at 10 o'clock going, that horse should have won and I should have taken
the
that home?
last 3 shows have been quite tough. Like, I've really thought, and I've come up with all these left field ideas, and I just thought,
You're
no.
being serious here.
I'm being serious.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like, I'm not going
no,
left
she's quite serious.
field. I'm going back to I used to make loads of notes, didn't I?
I mean, you still sort of do.
Yeah. No, I made a whole book today, but that's when I win. That's when I win.
Okay,
When I
all right.
actually get my brain
It's a
into
bit
it.
embarrassing, to be honest. We were just past the halfway mark in the tipping competition, and it's over.
It's the first time it's ever happened to me, so
Like,
I'm struggling. with it.
Potentially, it could be something to do with the actual terms and conditions of the competition, given that it's over with 2 races to go. So I blame the people who actually organised the competition.
I think we should also get 5 points for 7.
Oh, actually, hold on a second. It's not over. Isn't there double points for the national?
We're going to go double points for the national. Because it's the only race, all right? It's the only race where you could do double points
That
for.
could
We're going to go
be
double
the,
points national.
that
Can't
could
we have
be
4
the-
selections in it as well? Change the
She
rules.
hasn't
Come on.
won it yet, say mission control.
I haven't.
All right? Kealy, get your hands on that, man.
In
Get a bit of love
in my
about it.
head, I've won it, but now it's
Well,
okay.
you just gave a very gracious speech there. You were like, "Oh, I've had some tough days here in the
I
office."
have.
And blah, blah, blah.
I have. I'm
That's
just
uncanny.
saying.
If I close my eyes, that was Natalie.
I'm just saying, when I used to get my forecasts and stuff, it's when I put the real work in. I've gone
Yeah.
back to that, and I feel confident. Beauport, we could probably split this up between us to share, because
Go for it. You've got the notes.
sharing is caring.
I agree.
And we should see. So my initial thought was ran a belter 4th in 3 mile handicap hurdle on this card 12 months ago.
He's going to be so much better suited to this than the Kim Muir, isn't he?
Well, I agree with Keele as well. I think it went way too quick, but he's so likeable. It was an impossible task as well, trying to concede weight to the real whacker in that dipper. That was impossible. So then
Went really well in that, actually.
Then you look back. Then I looked at Kim Muir and I watched that, and I was like, yeah, okay, went too quick, whatever. This is actually less a test. I think this would be way better suited to him, reunited with Jordan, which I think for me is a real positive.
Yeah.
'Cause obviously, and the mark is £6 lower than when he was an unlucky loser over hurdles last year.
He's done us a favour before, hasn't he?
Yeah.
On Midlands National Day.
When
Do you remember?
I got the forecast.
He led home a tricast from Natalie that day.
That's
Unbelievable
the day I got the
scenes.
forecast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought I was the only
Tricast.
timer in it.
Tricast.
But
Can't even get a winner.
I wonder
Back
if this
it, got
guy's a
striker.
future national horse, and I think I'm a big fan of Midnight River, but it was too bad to be true last time, and I wonder whether he might just have had his chips this season. The market doesn't seem to think so. They quite like him as well. Quando Quatu would have been my pick on a proper sound surface. I love
think
this
the ground
animal.
is okay, though.
I'm not sure it's okay for him. And Posty was really down on it this morning, wasn't he?
Well, I didn't think so, no.
Didn't you?
No. At that stage, it wasn't a nice morning here. It was a bit murky, and we thought the ground was going to be. But it's a lovely, dry, sunny, breezy day in Aintree.
He doesn't want it to win anyway because he bought it for 28 grand, sold it for
Yeah.
50, and he
Yeah.
keeps winning.
Do you know, I went to a point with him the other day, and he told us that his horse was running called Capguard. Well, he told us to the letter what would happen and to go and back it. And to the letter, it happened.
Wow.
He's a very, very good judge.
Should we mention though with Beauport about the lost shoe and the Kim Muir, because
Yes.
I don't think it's completely irrelevant. I don't. Some horses do not. If they lose a hind shoe, I really would not be that bothered. Honestly, it's like losing your little toenail. Your left 4, your near 4. It's like losing that one. Not so good.
Really?
Hurts. Depends if it rips off. Depends if it comes off clean. It won't affect them. It depends if it pulls a bit of heel. It just depends.
But it happens a lot though,
It's
doesn't
the
it?
one thing as pundits I think that we dismiss a bit, or I do anyway.
Well, I
it's not
dismiss it.
something that I see in the excuses and go, here.
Well,
Yeah.
I dismiss it because you can look through race after race and it says vet says lost shoe. I mean,
Yeah.
they lose. I mean, there must be 30 shoes on the track after
But you
every
know-
race meeting.
Yeah, if you
Why do they always come off like that?
No.
Why?
They need to be a front shoe to cause any impact, in my opinion. But I've had, especially when I was a full-time work rider, it stops them dead for me.
Is it?
Yeah, they've got when they're racing, it's different because they've got the adrenaline in them, so I don't think it hurts them. But like particularly pointers that I, would go and used to trail hunt or whatever, it'd be straight home. I couldn't walk; it'd be straight home for me. So I'm not. It's not an excuse.
And Nige,
It's
Tristan
not an
Davis
excuse.
has suggested that might have been the issue.
It's not an excuse. It's me saying let's not completely ignore
I always
it.
think
No.
if you fancy a horse and it runs bad and then you find out it lost a shoe, it's a brilliant excuse. You
Yeah.
just go, oh, well, he lost a shoe.
It is a brilliant excuse. It
Chris
is.
Timms is having a great day,
And
like
it is
Natalie,
an
by the way,
excuse.
guys. And Chris
Why do
Timms
they
says,
come off so much? Any
2
idea?
each way for me, Coconut Splash, Stable Do Well here, and
Nails
Chris,
in a hoop.
Nassalam. Stable
Not
in
that
great
strong,
form,
really.
worth another go at 3 miles. You wonder why I shout a lot in this show. And it's because the likes of Natalie Green keeps talking.
He
that's
also
why.
asked me a question and I really wanted to address it. He said, why do they come off so much? But it's hard because you're reshoeing them every 5 weeks.
Horse shoes we're talking about here.
Yeah, but you're reshoeing them every 5 weeks. There's only so much hoof growth you get in 5 weeks. You are only putting the nails above the last hole you pulled out. So you're always just hoping, like, I went cross country 2 days ago, and my horse kept his shoes on, but the other horse who threw one off straight in front of a fence, disaster. The week before, my horse lost 2. Both in front. I don't know, they do come off.
We can see you're passionate about this.
They do come off.
We can see you're passionate
Not
about
an
shoes
it shouldn't be an
falling off.
excuse. It shouldn't be an excuse.
I tell you now, the shoe is going to be on the other foot here when
Oh,
Coconut Splash wins.
Very, very good indeed. Loads of people out there watching the show this afternoon. Welcome along if you just joined us here on Racing Post Live. Coconut Splash going down to the start. You can see the teams. I'll tell you what, shake 'em up, Harry. But Harry Redknapp is going to go off fab by the looks of it. Beauport has found his place in the market. Anything else, Kills, that's sort of steaming in?
Yeah, come on, Kealy.
Wanda Quetta, the love's coming back for that, right?
Yeah, Canonda Quetta, the love is coming back for that. Gold Cup Bailey is shortened a little bit in the market too.
For Team Munir and Isaac Sway, Darryl Jacob in the plate. Look, very progressive. And then he sort of, I don't know, I thought the handicapper might have
Brilliant
done
trainer.
Yeah,
They won this
very
with,
shrewd.
what was the good horse of Ben Paulings that won this a couple of years ago, began with K? Kildesart.
Oh, God.
Oh, you're
Right.
old buddy.
My old buddy, yeah.
Kildesart.
I've got a lot of them old buddies.
Don't
though,
Push It won this
unfortunately.
race, if you remember, before going on to win the Grand National.
Yes, correct.
Sam Brown
Sam
won
Brown
this
last
last
year.
year. It is in. Can you believe how badly handicapped he looks when you go down the first 10? The poll is going to be up, by the way, on YouTube for you out there. Like,
Brown.
subscribe, comment and share if you're watching on YouTube. Let's get them through the roof. Let's see this show come back in style at Royal Ascot. I think that's hopefully going to be the plan for you guys out there. All right, myself and Natalie are on Beauport.
Come on, Beauport.
Kealy is
I know
putting
he's
a
not the best
lot
price, but
of
come on.
eggs in the Harry Redknapp basket, but not shake 'em up, Harry. All right, let's hear from you out there. This is going to be a wide open event according to the market. We're getting excited now, aren't we? We are T-minus, hopefully, if they're right on time, around about an hour away from the Grand National. We'll be getting a 1, 2, 3, 4 from the team. So much content do we put out here at the Racing Post, you might know some of them already. But Natalie Green, who is absolutely flying at the moment, is going to give us hers, so we might want to hear from that. We'll be hearing from Ross Briley after this race, as well as you, we do hope. All right then. Now, happy for me to take the call here? We're going to look at the map
we
as well,
practiced
aren't we?
I did all right in the last one.
You certainly did. You got yourself a little Bruce Millington about you. He does like to do. He just assumes he's going to call them when he walks in.
Oh, really?
Sky-
No, I
Sky
wouldn't
Hill,
have
Sky
that degree of authority.
Well,
No,
next
no.
time on.
You're the boss.
Well, I don't know
You
about
are
that.
the boss.
It doesn't necessarily feel like it.
Only one Dave in this room.
Yeah, well, absolutely. It turns out there are 2 DJs in the room, so...
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so are we going to see a National Star of the Future? They're ambling their way down to the start. Let's get some more socials up, shall we? Loads of people on Gold Cup Bailey out there, actually, by the looks of it. Captain de Lilly is interesting for Nisha, who's won this horse race before. Very interesting, because on that certainly red form, a couple back at Wincanton, I thought she was a certain future winner, but she just a little bit disappointing last time. I'm a massive fan of Charlie Deutsch, who isn't.
Yeah,
So
he's
anyway,
great.
we've called them all basically in this race, haven't we? Darren's Hope is in this race. Is that
Great. It looks like Adam Wedge is going to sit stone cold last.
You're thrilled about that?
No, I'm not.
You're thrilled about
There's
that?
plenty want to be up front. Gold Cup Bailey's up front as well, isn't he? Can't
Have a look
Philippe
at
on the
Beauport.
outside.
Now, I'm going to put you on Beauport cam if you don't mind. He's carrying his head a bit interestingly down at the start there, isn't he?
He just looks like...
Doesn't look to be any rush this
He's
time, does he?
He's
Because
to
they
be
went
there, Dave.
hard enough
He's
last
being
time.
a bit...
Come on, Adam. Don't be sitting. Look at this.
There is a lot of pace in this race with the likes of Castle Robin, isn't there? And it looks like Natalie wants a share of it as well.
Yeah.
That's an interesting move, Kills, isn't it?
Harry
Does he have to get on
Redknapp.
with it?
You get a look at the fences, won't you?
Harry Redknapp has so many runners here. I kind of half expect Jermaine Defoe to be running here.
Harry's done the trifle. Very good. Well, let's think about
What's
some
the
of the other
fella
players
used to
who's
sign?
actually-
What was the guy who used to sign all the time?
on transfer deadline?
Every single Cranchard, Nico Cranchard.
Nico Cranchard.
Well, the flag's been
When he was at
raised.
Tottenham. All right, flags up. Glorious sunshine
Right,
at
lad.
Aintree.
You're going to do the first
And
three?
No.
They go. Eldorado Allen, the
No.
class angle in the market, runs in, King George's. Charlie Halls gives this a nice bit of class, and over the fence he goes with Castle Robin for Charlie Longston, who loves to get on with it.
Oh, it.
Interestingly,
Coconut
come on,
splash.
DJ, you're groaning
Coconut
already,
splash.
man.
Oh, coconut splash.
He jumped it like
terrible
it was a
jump.
national
If there was
fest,
water
Dave.
on the track, that would have been a splash.
I'll tell you one thing that you learn about people. Oh, that was awful.
DJ.
That was, what's he gone out to? He's out to about 14 on
Never
Betfair
mind.
Exchange at the minute.
Pass the cup back over here.
14, he's got to be more than that.
No, he's not. He's not. They don't mind a hold-up horse on
No,
it.
I don't want to hear in-running moves because it's ahead.
Well, here's the thing.
We're not prominent.
This is what you learn about people when they come on this show. What sort of a punter are you when you watch the TV?
No, I don't. I want to
And
watch the race live.
After about 2 furlongs, you've already lost your head.
Oh, God. God.
Carl Philippe wasn't good there either.
My man's
Hey,
lost his
where is
irons
that?
as well.
Beauport's right out the back.
The three fancies are
It's doom and gloom here.
joint last.
But Eldorado Allen gets on with them. Could this be Brendan Powell riding them to sleep? Despite the fact he's never been over this trip, Shake 'em Up Harry is in second. Castle Robin not leading, which shows you what sort of gallop they're going. Midnight River is up there with Captain Kealy. Taking a really keen hold is Condo Quater on the inside. Natalie, despite the fact he was lining up for a share of the lead, he's gone all the way back. Bow to Greatness is in the middle as
Dave,
well.
we're at the back.
Gold Cup Bailey's there, looking for some of the others.
Oh, this is not going well.
Looking for some of the
not
others.
going well.
Going down. Where's Handsworth? He's out the back as well. So
They are going quick though.
They are- look like
Eldorado
they're going
Allen is
quick.
going his kind of grade 1 pace here, so it's taken a lot of them out of their comfort
could this
zone.
be one of those classic winter handicaps kills where they just find it difficult to peg him back?
Oh, to live with the class act, yeah. I did look at him earlier. My issue with him was he's run 3 times at Aintree. He never really shown very much.
He wouldn't
He's
run
in
in this
today.
type of company.
He's in
though,
a
would he?
nice rhythm now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. It is pretty. It's a lovely rhythm.
For the big breakaways trainer, of course, Tizards have got such a great record over those national fences with the Ultra Gold and the like, back-to-back Topham winner. A lot of love coming in for the big breakaway, despite the fact he pulled up in the Ultima last time out.
Shake 'em Up Harry's not doing a lot wrong though either.
He's got that Cheltenham form, hasn't
Yeah,
he, as
he's
well?
not doing a lot wrong.
Kills.
Dave, we're struggling.
Every
We
fence
are-
coming along, DJ goes, oh, God.
It can't be any worse than Beauport.
Can't
What's
be any worse
Beauport
than
gone
our
out to?
pick. You're joking.
I love it.
The Gamble of the race, Gold Cup Bailey's been kept really wide by Daryl Jacob, but it's been going quite nicely.
Looking for the what's this in these colours? What's the Erne River colours here? What's that? Is that? Oh, that's Darren's Hope, isn't it? Out the back, the mare. Carl Philippe starting to warm up for your kills. I'm delighted to say.
Yes, he started to jump a little bit better.
Unlike Coconut
what time's-
Splash.
I'll tell you something, the
Gold
horse...
Cup Bailey's
the
already
horse
broken
that's,
in.
Greatness is
the horse
going.
that Charlie Post sold, Canondo
Yeah.
Q2, is absolutely loving
And
it.
he's a course and distance winner here as well. It's just about the grade. Running the Reynolds time last time, so handicap.
he's loving
He's a winning machine earlier on. Wasn't
Oh, I'm gone.
You're not gone, man. I'm afraid this is going to be a painful
You're
watch
not
for you,
gone.
TJ.
There's
No,
nothing-
we saw what Cider Burley did. Don't tear up your ticket,
No,
man.
Coconut Splash is gone.
It can
nothing-
happen.
there's
But
nothing loving
winging
it as
him out
much as,
front, it's Eldorado Allen at the
Allen at
moment.
the moment, is there?
I'll tell you what, the fact that Castle Robin's only about 6 shows there must be going some form of gallop here. Interestingly, Harry Skelton's got Midnight River bang up there. Harry's been really patiently riding his horses today, not Midnight River first. I think he's had his wind done, hasn't he?
Travelling well,
River.
Midnight
He's got the
River.
tongue strap on,
get
hasn't
them
he?
done.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Condo Quater does continue to catch the eyes.
Gold Cup
Lovely big
Bailey's
store
running
horse.
really well though. He's a lovely jump about him.
Bow to Greatness Kills has got a
Yeah,
nice
Bad
position.
Greatness is going nice, yeah.
Yeah, for the inform Ben Pauling. I'll tell you what,
Where
Beauport's
are we?
gone.
How much further we are?
Who's last there?
Oh, it's us.
It's
Oh, no,
not-
it's
it's
not
not
us. It's
Darren River.
Darren's Hope.
But you're all right.
Darren's
Like,
Hope.
Beauport is actually travelling reasonably well, even though he's... Oh, well, maybe.
I mean,
No.
the fact we're tracking you, you've been crying.
I've
about
clattered
it.
every fence.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure we've been jumping
They're
great.
pulling up Darren's Hope.
Yeah, okay,
I'll
the
tell
mare's
you
gone
now,
then.
right? Are you... the winner of this race, I think, in running, is Canondo Q2.
Quato. Quato.
Yeah, I think
Where's
he
Charlie
is,
Post?
now maybe he's travelling a little bit too enthusiastically, but he's
I quite
absolutely
like
loving it.
Capga de Lily.
Yeah, for Venetia, she'll certainly be staying all day. The Gold Cup Bailey's quite small, isn't he, on the outside?
I like Capga de Lily in this.
Yeah, so where do we want to
Happy.
be then? We're on the far side then. This is our warm-up for the Grand National, of course, coming up in minus 1 hour, the big great race. Okay, but at the moment, will we see a future national horse? We're still hoping it's Beauport, and he's just starting to get a little bit of wind about him, Natalie Green.
A little bit, Dave, yes. I mean, I'm trying to keep the faith here and be as optimistic as possible, but he had a terrible, terrible jump at that, really sticky. I still...
I'm loving the fact DJ's got to watch.
I'm afraid Venetia and Charlie Deutsch,
a horror show.
this Capga de Lily just keeps...
Oh no, he's
Right.
gone, Beauport! Oh, he's
Coconut
gone!
Splash.
This is it, absolutely done. Watch how's your luck. I shouldn't have said anything, should I? It's amazing how I'll be out. Let's hope the horses are all right.
almighty.
Beauport guessed at the previous one. He stepped through that fence. They're unforgiving park fences here. They're really stiff, but it looks like the horses are up and galloping
Yes,
okay,
Beauport's
which is
definitely
great.
up and...
Okay, let's see this. But at the moment, Eldorado Allen's still the one to pass. Shake 'em Up Harry looked really confident, doesn't he, Luca Morgan?
No,
Now,
I think
Luca has had a
Venetia's got
habit
this. I
of
think
pressing the
Venetia's got
button a
this.
little soon. Bow to
Bow
greatness,
to
Gills.
greatness, going
Could this be
very,
Paul
very
Kealy's day
well.
in the sun? Condo Quater there as well. Midnight River, the Cheltenham specialist. Nassalam looks like he's gone.
Does
There
Shake 'em
goes
Up
Mission
Harry
Control.
win?
Cap Lily for me.
Captain Kealy, the mare, getting loads of weight, but at the moment, will he stay? That's the question with Shake 'em Up Harry. And I'll tell you what, Bow to Greatness is absolutely cruising as well. These could be your first two. He now needs a gap, Ben Jones. Keels, what are you thinking?
No, I think he's winning. Can't bow.
Oh, he thinks he's winning. I like this.
Oh, wow.
Would he
Come
be the
on.
stayer in the
Oh,
pack
yeah,
as
what are you
well?
gonna say?
It's
Come
the
on,
two- it looks
Bow.
like it's going to be Ben
Come on,
Pauling.
winner,
Look at
winner.
this. He's absolutely quitting. Midnight River's not done with. Shake 'em Up Harry, I think he's just coming to the end of his tether.
Come on, Bow.
Condo Quater's the national horse of the future. He's not done with. It is. Come on, Keels. Sheet this home, old boy.
Oh, bow.
We're 2 lengths into the last.
No,
Oh, it's
no.
quick. He's shortened into it. You hate to see it. And it looks like Harry Skelton's going to double up on the day. He's taken his measure. Oh, he's definitely lost it on the last Keels. Condo Quater steaming home for third. There's your national horse of the future. Shake 'em Up Harry didn't quite get home. And Eldorado Adam, if he got 5 places, the class angle kept going. What an dramatic race that was. And
What
Harry
a
Skelton
trainer he is.
just gets it. What happened at Cheltenham with him, guys? That's the question, isn't it? He showed all that great Cheltenham form leading into it. The duckhead next to his name.
big
I
hug
jumped
from Harry.
off. And Keels, you thought you had it, man. Close but no cigar.
Close but no cigar. I have had
Great shape.
Very close, Keels.
If you want me to after time, I have had a sneaky little exactor.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Is that right? The great
exactly.
man then reveals, if you thought I was the after time. Oh, there we go. It was a great race to watch that, guys, wasn't it? Eldorado at end. What a sight he made. Wait's just, just done him. Pick the bones out of this, guys. Condo Quater, for me, is definitely the horse to take out of it, isn't he? He's flying up
Yeah, and
rattling.
he's a lovely big horse as well. I actually thought he actually lost his race probably in the first second, just being a little bit too keen, I'd say. And you can even see fair play because he actually ran on
Probably
again.
had to switch at some point off the inside as well, hasn't he? I
Yeah,
missed
he
that.
just lost a little bit of ground down the back
Yeah.
straight for the final time. But yeah, terrific performance from Condo Quater.
When
Quater.
Midnight River
Quater,
won
sorry.
on New
Quater.
Year's Day, I heard Harry Skelton talking about what a project they've put, how much work they've done with this horse, Nat. And it's a double on the day for the Skeltons. This is going to be a good story. This could he yet develop into a Grand National horse?
Well, I mean, that was a really nice performance, and I do like to see Harry literally fold his arms around the horse and give it a hug. Like, you can see how much it means.
I think this is one that means a lot to them. I can't remember exactly why. There's a story of the horse.
It's an amazing reaction. Very, very smart looking horse. Yeah, great performance. I mean,
Here we go. Here's the replay now on Racing TV.
Yeah.
So look at, I just wish this horse was easier to pronounce because I've said his name a million times. Condo Quater.
Quater.
Quater, okay.
Condo Quater. It's not that hard, is it?
That's going to live in your head.
Really?
We'll
isn't that hard, is
pretend
it?
that's a Q, okay?
Condo
Quater, okay? Just look there.
He
was
missed it,
still,
didn't
yeah,
he?
he missed that, but he was still absolutely tanking
Yeah.
leaving the back straight. And you're kind of saying now, he's going as well as anything here turning into the home straight.
Yeah.
He's tracking Harry Skelton on the winner, Midnight River. And you just wonder how he went from being hard on the inside to 10 horses wide on the outside. We're going to find out now.
Yeah, we need to watch
Comes into
this,
this.
actually.
Jumps that, I'd say he has to move out now for room
Yeah.
because Bout to Greatness is travelling really well as well. So he just comes off it here now, Condo Quater. That was good, wasn't it?
That was perfect.
Got it.
Well, I'll tell you now, right? I'm making an early anti-post selection for next year's Paddy Power Gold Cup in
Here it is,
November.
now,
right?
now.
Shake 'em Up Harry will win
Yes,
the Paddy
good
Power
shout.
Gold Cup. He just
shout.
doesn't quite get this 3-mile trip,
Yeah.
Shake 'em Up Harry.
He cruised
Travel
through
like
it,
the
didn't
best
he?
horse in the race.
He's made his move now, DJ.
How low kills did Shake 'em Up Harry go? Can you find out?
I don't know. It might be.
Because it
over,
must have
might be
been
over.
fairly low. He was absolutely tanking. I know he had 2 fences to
Ben
go.
Jones just couldn't find a stride at the last on both Bout to Greatness. Just couldn't find a stride. The stride wasn't there. There's nothing he could do. If he
Yeah.
went for it, I think he would have came down.
Oh, no complaints. Best horse won the race.
Well, he's given him a lot of weight, Midnight River, isn't
Midnight
he?
River's jumped really,
What price is
really
that?
well. He
No, they've
goes
cleared it
long.
out, they've
He's
cleared
happy
it
to
out.
brush
What
through.
price is Bout to Greatness?
I don't know. I think he's gone for about 14.
He was gambled in kills.
So
It
you
was
got
20s
the
into
you got
12s,
the
I think.
exact.
Yeah.
Filth bag.
That was very slick.
Okay, this is Racing Post Live. Myself, Dave Orton, Natalie Green, David Jennings and Paul Kealy just picking the bones out of that precursor to the Grand National coming up in around about, 50 minutes' time. Cannot wait for that. What fills and spills. Let's get some socials up. Seamus Moore comes back on and says, Skelton in with a good chat in the National as well. Oh, it could be a travel on the day, couldn't it? Lamilos skills like this one as well. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big Lamilos fan, to be honest.
Yeah, the Kelso form, the Premier Chase. Ryan Gill says, once again, oh, blimey, this is a bit harsh. Once again, Daryl Jacob, pathetic ride, racing wide all the way round, losing at every fence. What a terrible. Nusrit Gold Cup Bailey, absolutely terrible.
He's been beaten a furlong. I don't think he gave that much ground away.
We don't mind strong opinions.
No, I don't mind strong opinions, but I mean, if you moan about a ride, you moan about a ride that you think's cost you some money, cost you the race, but it hasn't.
It's been beaten a furlong, Ryan. It's a bit of pocket talking going on there, Ryan. Look, by all means, you might be proved right in the future, and stick with yours, maybe. Nusrat, certainly stick with that one.
And also remember that a lot of the time jockeys are riding to orders.
That's another thing, isn't it? That's another.
Do you not think that's right,
Yeah.
DJ?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. I know, like, the likes of Michael and Eddie O'Leary like the horse to be prominent on the outside, don't like to get into trouble.
Alan King,
I remember.
midfield on the inside.
I remember starting to have a smash. I've got the old keyboard wiring on Twitter, when that ridiculous race that I think it was John Bonner's and Novice Hurdle was in, when they stood around at the start for 30 seconds. I said, these lots should all be added and fined, and I had Aidan Coleman come on to me.
That was the long walk at Ascot.
I had Aidan Coleman come on.
Sorry, the Kennel Gate.
Yeah, I had Aidan Coleman
Long
come
walk.
on to me. No, it was the race at Newbury, not the Ascot one. On Twitter, and we had a chat about it, and he said, "You've got to remember, some of us we're told what to do. If I jump off in front and it goes wrong,
He did end up making it that day, didn't he? And he did it at Ascot.
but it makes the point that they are.
It's a good point, because I suppose it's a bit like a football team. Like, if they play defensively, it's not the team themselves that are deciding to play, 10 men behind the ball. It's the manager's tactics. And it's a bit like that sometimes in racing. If a horse needs cover, if a horse needs to be wide, if a horse is claustrophobic, sometimes it's not the jockey that decides.
Jockey bashing is the easiest thing.
And it is their job, and they need to keep their rides, and they have to ride to a certain degree.
But Ryan's given us a talking point, so we appreciate that, Ryan. Great stuff. Listen, keep it coming in. We're going to build up loads of social reaction for you, please. Leading up, there it is. The market is up. The time is nearly nigh. The jewel in the crown of our racing season, certainly over jumps, that's for sure, is the Grand National. Who's going to go off fab? Ain't that a shame? He looked like he was the gamble of the day yesterday. He was drifting back
Is that
out.
who you like, DJ? Ain't that a shame?
I do like it.
Brian Ashton said he was rubbish, didn't he, to Lee Mott's? What do you make of that? Just completely throwaway line.
Tongue in cheek, yeah.
All right, okay, because Rachel Blackmore, when she came off in the pocket, she was like, I think he's got a massive chance.
Well, the thing
she
with
was gushing.
The thing with Ain't That a Shame, he's obviously hasn't got the experience of some of the others. Should have won the Paddy Power, should have won the Munster National, and I think he's really well handicapped. Yeah, I know.
Let's give it over.
Well
Let's
done,
give
Matt.
it over.
Congratulations.
The producer has just told me they can't see my ugly face, so move it.
Oh right, and I'm being told it's treble points in the national.
Oh no, it's
Treble
not.
points in the national, lads. We're not out of this yet.
Can't we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 as well?
Injury time.
Four goes at it.
That is such a bloke thing to do, to start cheating when you're losing.
Treble
Pathetic.
points. We're being
No,
told
like-
if we get the national winner.
Treble points.
Treble
Excuse me,
points.
if I haven't won, we're waiting until the bumper.
Yeah.
Such a bloke thing.
We
Listen,
to
moved
do.
the trophy again. Apparently,
Oh,
we've
it's
been
going to
told.
change
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
back.
rules to make it
The car is
suit.
on tomorrow. We can
It's going
fast
to keep
forward.
changing the rules.
Yeah, the gold trust is tomorrow, so it's all good. Are you going to the Curragh tomorrow? We're working you that hard.
No, I'm off
Are
tomorrow.
you?
You
I was gonna
deserve
say.
it, man.
Christ.
I'll tell you one thing I'm really looking forward to. We were talking about Ross Briley earlier. I heard
Washing
he's
your
done
hands?
I know, I've pen all over my hands. I heard that Ross Briley has done a brilliant pin stickers guide for National, has he?
He certainly
Can't wait
has.
for
He
that.
certainly has. I think we're going to get Kealy's 5 to follow. We're calling it
first?
Kealy's 5 to follow before we
my
go.
Poor Ross.
How's the bladder,
Can we go
DJ?
for a wee and just
How's
leave
the
it?
bladder, DJ?
Can we go for a wee and let him
Hills, I
just
want you
do
to
it on
take
his
your
own?
time on this. Give us war and peace, please, my man. We're all
Right.
sitting back.
Number-
Paul Kealy's 5 to follow.
Number 1 is stay away.
If you're wondering what's going on, DJ needs the gentleman's, but we're going to get this through first.
Yeah, stay away, Faye. You look at the horses that Paul Nichols doesn't have that many horses at the first 3 in Novice Hurdles at the Cheltenham Festival. Look at the horses that have Celestial Halo, Rock On Ruby, Noland, Alfaroff, Brave Man's Game, Denman. They all end up top class, either over hurdles or fences. Stay away, Faye will be exactly the same.
Do you think he's got more improvement for a fence than Hermes Allen then? Obviously you do.
Massively so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's going to proper stay. He'll be, he'll probably be Britain's number 1 in the Brown Advisory next year.
Yeah.
Sir Gerhard, strange one this.
Very strange.
Strange one this. When I first saw his run over fences and when he made that step at it, I thought, oh my word, he just cannot. He cannot jump. And he's got no chance. And
It
then
was a
when William,
reminder of how fences have changed
and
over
then
the
when
years, that,
yeah,
wasn't it?
well, of course, yeah. But then William Mullins said we're going to run him into Brown and Buzz. I'm like, what? What on earth has he done to suggest that he stays 3 miles? Which, nothing. But during that Brown advisory, he travelled like a wrath of God, didn't he? I mean, he actually come swinging around the bend, and I thought, crikey, he's actually jumped really well. The next race afterwards is obviously an afterthought. He'd had a really hard race at Cheltenham because he finished knackered, but he showed some heart to get within half a length of Flame Bearer, and of course he only had half a season as well.
Yeah.
And he's obviously a horse that's had his problems. He won 11 times.
It was a strange position to put him in at Cheltenham.
But yeah, it was. I think he's a very,
Hindsight
very
and
good
all
horse. I mean, he's on my Ryanair radar.
Okay.
Is where I put him. Now, let's be clear about it. I took a risk in putting him in here, given that I was going to talk about him after he'd run today, but I thought today's run was perfectly good. I think he's going to be a top-class novice chaser. What he does, what I like about it, stayers who travel, they're going to be able to hold their position in their over fences, and I love that. I love the horse that can really travel, and if he can jump a fence, he's going to be a real good horse. I think he is. And the last two were the two horses that finished first and third in the bumper: A Dream to Share and Captain Teague. Now, A Dream to Share has done what Facile Vega did by winning at Leopardstown and Cheltenham, done what Envoy Allen did by winning at Leopardstown and Cheltenham, but because he's not trained by one of the big three in Ireland, he's 7-1 for the Supreme, he's 10-1 for the Ballymore, which I think is a big price. He's by champion sprinter Murat, but we've seen since he's gone to stud that he just gets stayers, and and he's got masses of stamina on the damn side of the family. The form of the bumper is on a par with either of those two previous winners of it. Yet because what price in Facile Vega was about 6-4, wasn't it? Like, everyone talks them up. This horse is very good. And I think, again, Captain Teague, for Paul Nicholls, doesn't run that many in the bumper. The last one that was placed in the bumper was Al Faroff, who ended up a 170 plus chaser and won a Supreme.
He's a lovely big horse, isn't he?
They think the absolute world of him. And they still didn't think he was anywhere near the finished article, which obviously no horse in the champion bumper was going to be. But Paul Nicholls doesn't have that many winners of novice hurdles at the Cheltenham Festival because he trains them for the future, not the day. But this horse is very good. He's going to be one of Britain's top hopes for the novice hurdles next year. What that will mean on the day is another matter.
Thank you, Paul Kealy. There you go.
Yes.
His notebooks have really filled up,
Thank
like
you.
DJ's bladder at the moment. Do you think your man's going to keep the ride on A Dream to Share?
Over hurdles?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think we're going to see a Dungaree thing here?
No, but John Gleeson is terrific. Like, he's a young kid. He's doing his leaving cert. To have that mentality going to Cheltenham, to ride for JP McManus, who's just bought a horse off your family in the champion bumper, and to ride that horse the way he did, like, that's a future champion to be able to do that.
Followed Patrick all the way around.
Brilliant, right?
And then came
I'd
stateside
imagine Mark
That
Wall should be riding him next year.
Okay, all right. I was just curious because he's obviously been the making.
Well, he's young. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say if the horse came around in 5 years' time, he'd definitely be riding him. But no, Mark Walsh #1 in Ireland for
Jockey of the
JP.
future. Right, there are 5 to follows then. All right, we've got lots coming up then still on the show, of course, including something called the Grand National. All right, we're about 45 minutes away from that. Before that, check this out.
With form figures of 3 and 2 for Ted Walsh, not Rogers, can second be first on the third attempt? Poetry in motion in last year's race, but without an amateur dentist on his back, has he bitten off more than he can chew? Punters up and down the country were cross when he lost the cross country, but can he galvanise their support on Saturday? You'd be mad to have a max bet on this one. He's not quite as Tom Hardy as you'd like. With 2 wins this season, he's proven he's not a hound, but you'd be barking mad if you beat yours on the line. Woof. Capodanno is Italian for New Year's, but will he show resolution in a finish? Last year's third is better than ever, and he could capper a great season with a win in the National. Great news for backers if this one wins. Bad news for 80s soul singer Sam Brown. Those Google search results will be completely ruined. It's many people's lifetime ambition to win the Grand National, but is it lifetime ambition's lifetime ambition to win the Grand National? Rumour has it he'd prefer to swim with dolphins. That one. This one's got a big chance, because Coco has been there and done that. There once was a man named Brazil who won the 2006 National. He's hoping this rhyme pays off second time, but he wilted last year like a daffodil. He jumps, he stays, he's quirky and he's grey. Gaillard, Gaillard. Durasso may passo the horseback by Rosso, but I think he lacks the classo to stay on from Lasto. This season all roads have led to this race, but his chance is Greek to me. Escaria 10. I had 9 goes of thinking of a line for this one, and then gave up. This one winning would really take the biscuit for those lunchbox punters. Not all gentlemen wear capes, but this one wears cheek pieces. I've heard at least 3 wise men talk this one up. Let's hope they're talking frankincense. Deal or no deal? Well, I might be boxing him up with 1p multiples. Let's hope he doesn't come crashing down at Beechers. Plenty of hush money coming in for this one, but he might find himself locked up with nowhere to go. I scream, you scream, we all scream when this one jumps a fence. A little less conversation, a little more comfort. The money is piling in for this, and bookies' tears will be falling like rain if it wins. The anti-post favourite is taking a walk in the market. Does he have a mountain to climb? I backed this horse last year, and I did not enjoy Dalen as he fell at the first. Mr. Incredible. No, not that one. There we go. Punters are sure to get animated if they've Pixar'd this one. I hope he Disney let you down. He often arrives latte on the scene, making a mocker of his supporters, and he could be worth a little Olay in the place market. Mr. Hurdle. Yes, your glass of lemonade. That's right, he'll come there travelling, but I think he's likely to croak. Park. Gabby's cross. Why? What have you said to her now? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. As each way bets come, this is a speculative one. Amen. And the award for Best Supporting Actor in a race he definitely won't win goes to... The price of this one just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh no, wait, that's N-Power. Absolutely guaranteed to be staying on when the race is done and dusted. Frankie says relax, he's got no chance. If you look at this one's form from a certain angle, he's got a bit of a squeak. Please promise me, if this one wins the National, do not go into Liverpool city centre on Saturday night. You won't survive. He's a big price to coast home and a little bit more Skegness than St Ives.
That was fun, wasn't it? Roscoe, the best in the business, and absolutely superb. And I hope Mr. Incredible wins now, despite the fact I've not got a bean on him. All right, absolutely fantastic stuff. All right, this is it. The countdown is on. So many of you out there watching. If you're new to the show, welcome along. You can like, subscribe, comment and share. This is Racing Post Live, where we give you all the best tips in the business. Well, some of us do this afternoon, that's for sure. The girl sitting next to me has had an absolute blinder. She's already walked away with the trophy. We'll be finding out what Natalie Green, David Jennings and the Racing Post's top tipster Paul Kealy think about the Grand National coming up. Just the 39 runners to go through then. 5:15, the sun shines at Aintree, and who's going to get us on the run to this? Look at this, love this. Genghis, 26. If Corach Rambler wins, I'm leaving the wife. Doubt she'd notice, though, to be honest.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Genghis, I'm hoping that plays out, my man. I've got to be honest. Right, come on, let's get your 1, 2, 3s, your 1, 2, 3, 4s. It's the race where we go 1, 2 3, 4, isn't it? Of course,
you have to.
We sort of coined the 1, 2, 3, 4 in this studio. You see everyone doing it now, but we literally, you know, it was the first thing that we started doing. People absolutely love to see it. I mean, it's sort of like to do it in the Gold Cup. We go 1, 2, 3, but of course in the Nash we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So much talking now coming to an end. We've got horses from last year. We've got Noble Yates, who I guess Noble Yates would be the stinker in the market kills, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I have looked at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a big task, isn't it? I mean, you know, he got himself handicapped last year, and you know, okay, nobody fancied him because he didn't actually run very well at Cheltenham, but he was, you know, he's £19 higher this year. Now, Tiger Roll was £9 higher because he was given a Gold Cup prep for the second year running. A national prep for the second year running. Noble Yates was given a Gold Cup prep and ran really well in it, but he had a hard race because he was off it a long, long way out. And the trainer seems to think he's getting a bit clever as well, and saving a bit for himself, but he was made to work for that 4th place, and he's coming back in here off a mark of 166. I think he's way, way up against it this year.
The market is agreeing. He's around about 20s at the moment out there. Back-to-back wins. Of course, the stories are everywhere. Who believes in a story for the Grand National winner? And of course, we're hearing this will be Davy Russell's last. Wait, he's got one in the last, hasn't he, actually? He's in the last, isn't he? He's in the 620, isn't he? Hang on, let's have a look.
I thought that was for. Is the
Someone
bumper
told me
for
about
amateur?
Davy in the last today.
Is
that's
the
for
bumper
sure.
for?
It's at 620, would you believe it? He's
Okay.
on Paul
Oh, Pearl of Fields, yeah. Favourite in the bumper.
If he wins the national, can you see him taking that ride? Excuse me, frog in the throat.
Get it out.
It's out.
Wait, what did he say wrong
got-
there?
I had a
Frog in his
my
throat.
yeah.
Oh,
It's because we had a little break.
I thought you
see,
said something
that's
wrong
why.
there.
Can you see him taking a ride in the bumper?
He probably will.
Right,
I
fair
don't
enough.
know. It depends on whether obviously that horse wins or not.
He's on Galvin here
Galvin.
anyway.
I feel like $1 million. I feel like I backed the winner of the national after going to the toilet.
You're a new man.
Honestly, I said it to Keels. I said to him, honestly, about an hour and a half before that break when Ross went through his Grand National pin stickers guide, I said to Keels, I'm actually dying to go to the toilet. And he wrote on the little thing here, he goes, you have an hour and a half to wait. So I waited for an hour and a half.
I love it. Okay, we need to put on a bet for the national, Keels. We're going to go and now. Let's take one from each of our top 4s. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and we're going to try and do a trifecta in the national. All right. Let's try and get it up. Let's go for glory here.
All right.
All right. Let's see. My 1, 2, 3, 4. Shall I get us off and try and remember what it was? Corach Rambler. I've got a couple. I've got it here. Don't worry. It's here. Corach Rambler on top. Steadied now. Amazing. He's not going to go off favour. Doesn't look like he will. I've got him on top. I've got him on top of the Big Breakaway, Jill Kerr, and Velvet Elvis. Take it away, Natalie Green, and we'll get the median after we've.
Yeah,
after
sure.
we've
I get it. Limilos.
Got the app on screen here.
That's
so
your
we're
number
gonna
one.
get it down. Lamilos,
Why
yeah, love
are
it.
we going in number 1?
Yeah, 1,
No,
2,
no,
3,
1,
4.
2, 3, 4.
What in order?
Just whatever. What's your top 4?
I thought it was one ever. Yeah, Longhouse Poet is my number 1.
Yeah.
Then we'll go Delta Work, Lamilos, Mr. Incredible.
DJ?
My number 3 is Longhouse Poet, okay?
Yes.
My number 1 is Ain't That a Shame for Rachel Blackmore and Henry de Bromit. My number 2 is also trained by Henry de Bromit. Gabby's Cross at a massive price, probably about 100 to 1. 3, Longhouse Poet, and 4, a Galvin.
All right, go. Ooh, David Russell love. Keels, remind us.
Yeah, I am 1, Capodanno, 2, Lamilos, 3, Lifetime Ambition, and 4, The Big Breakaway.
Which means we have the trifecta. Because we've got 2 for Lamilos,
Yeah.
2 for Longhouse Poet, and 2 for the Big Breakaway.
But I thought we were having
there
4
are-
in, weren't we?
Are we going to have 4 in?
Well, it's only, how many bets is that? 12?
What we're going to combo? What would be the 4th one then?
Delta Work.
Last year's 3rd.
Okay, something else.
It's got to come from the top 4.
We have Longhouse Poet in it, yeah?
You've got Longhouse Poet in it. I've got
Well,
Velvet Elvis.
you
Is
don't have
anyone
your.
like that?
Yeah, I quite like Velvet Elvis. Velvet
Three
Elvis.
Velvet
Yeah,
Elvis,
we've got
yeah.
to stick a biggie in there. haven't we?
Velvet Elvis, we like him. Right, there are 4.
Right.
If you're going to go and try and combine it, stranger things have happened. Certainly in this studio, we're going to knock it out the park for the Indus Jockeys Fund, hopefully.
All right, and you want me to do this, do you? This could take
Yes, I do.
This could take me forever.
Take your
Right.
time, Kills, and we'll film.
Milos, go on, that's it. Come on.
Should be some treble, wouldn't it? On the
Add
day.
more selection.
For the team. Skelts was at Aintree. We could see him in the winners
Capodanno.
being
I remember
interviewed.
this.
Some hilarious.
It's a half an hour to go to the race.
Longhouse
that.
Poet.
It starts to go quickly, don't you think?
Longhouse Poet
We've
Kills,
got some
yeah.
old prices on there, haven't we?
You can
And
do this at
Velvet
home. Don't
Elvis.
forget, if you're using the Racing Post app, Kills is showing you how to do it.
Bet slip. Right, come on.
We're getting some 1, 2, 3, 4s coming in,
offer
left,
me
right, and
some-
centre. Look. Cocoa Beach.
Here we go. Combination TriCast, 24 bets.
They're all available to you. How much we have on Kills?
£1. Combination forecast, 24. 12 bets at £1. Yeah?
Lovely. On it
All done.
goes.
Place bet.
£36 on, and we are going to have some fun with that. Hold tight. It's
we
done.
go.
Well done, Keels.
Well done.
Absolutely super.
Well done,
we only
Keels.
found out he was doing the app today just as he walked in. He's been an absolute star at it so far. I think you'll agree. Where was that 1, 2, 3, 4? Can we get that back up for Christine that came on? I saw you had Noble Yates in there, Christine. Can we get it back up, Mission Control? Once they've gone, maybe. I don't know. But Noble Yates is there. Okay. Christian McLaughlin.
What? Christian who?
McLaughlin. Did I nail it that
Christian McLaughlin.
McLaughlin. Listen,
Christian McLaughlin.
Yeah, McLaughlin.
is that Irish or Scottish?
McLaughlin.
Or McLaughlin.
McLaughlin is Irish, I think.
It's Gaelic anyway, I think. Coco Beach and Fortescue. Now, if Fortescue is my egg on face, I said that watch out yesterday, didn't I? He's the one. I've had to have a fiver on just because it would annoy me if it wins, which is very much a Paul Kealy MO.
That's the way. That's the way to do it. Back the horses that annoy you.
That will annoy you if they
they're
win.
going to win.
All right, so let's think about them as well. Loads of people coming in and watching. This is the jewel in the crown of the shows we do. It's great to have you with us. Mally D, I can see you back. Absolutely superb. Tom Barris as well. Mally D's on screen even. Mally, Lamilos, love it. Vanillier, Johnny Deneen's pick. The big breakaway, Don Boyne for Gordon Elliott. Gordon Elliott, of course, becomes joint winning most trainer if he takes this out. Wouldn't put it past him, would it?
No, are we going to go through every runner like last year?
Yeah, we will. Is now the time, do you think?
Because, obviously.
Well, we've only got half an hour.
Yeah, exactly. We've only Kills. This goes so quick because so many people come in and want to have their voice heard. You'd think this is the longest hour in racing, but it really isn't. It absolutely flies. We're seeing. I tell you what, Nick Lutt's caught the sun today, hasn't he? We're seeing him look. Nick, what? Don't listen.
Natalie is opening a cream egg here.
I'm trying to deflect from that, DJ.
Yeah. I just got sent a good joke there, by the way, on my group WhatsApp. Do you want to hear a good joke?
Let's do it.
Sticky.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Oh, wait, come on, we need to think about this. Why did the
Scarecrow win an award?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Oh, is that a really old one? Yeah.
He's older than me.
Aww.
Nickel Coin was winning the national when that joke was being.
You're not telling me you've never heard that before.
DJ's absolutely on the floor
Oh
about that.
my word!
Is it time for jokes?
It's like one of them. It's not like one of them cruddy dad jokes. It's been going on
Everyone
for years.
loves dad jokes, though, don't they? I do.
Is it the type of joke that's on the chase?
Yeah.
The
Bradley Walsh?
Yeah.
Fortescue would be my joke horse in this. If you had one horse that would annoy you, DJ, that won. There's got to be at least 3 in here.
Yeah, there's a couple in here. I would say the one I'd be most annoyed if he won, because I haven't backed it, it would probably be maybe Sam Brown, because me and Sam Brown go way back. And I always thought he had the potential to win a race like this, but he's not well handicapped. I don't know if he can possibly win the race, but still, I'd still be like, oh God.
I shall give you 5 minutes to put 2 quid on him, DJ.
No, we broke up a long time ago. Yeah.
Let's get that marriage is ended. Genghis comes back on. He's got the exit in sight.
Drew Mr. Coffee in a sweepstake and instantly thought of DJ and cursed my luck. Exactly. Asked him, can you put it back in?
How could you not mention Mr. Coffee?
Oh, sorry, Mr. It would be Mr. Coffee, because, to be honest, like, myself and Mr. Coffee, right, we went out a couple of times early on, a couple of years ago, right, and we had a great time. We actually really enjoyed ourselves.
Where'd you go?
It was good crack.
Ben.
Yeah, we good crack. And you know what? The future was really bright, okay? And then he ran one day in a Betfair Hurdle, and I said to myself, Mister, I don't know if you really want to win races anymore.
You were blaming the ride that day.
I was. I thought Nico was. I thought it was Nico's fault.
Accepted.
And then I just realised that no, Mr. Coffee is not the horse I thought he was.
Yeah.
Doesn't really want to win races, and maybe he will come latte and win this, but I don't think he will.
Jojo Gizmo says, I was in South Africa for the Giraffe Grand National yesterday. The favourite won by a neck.
Ooh.
Wait, dum dum dum.
It's not bad,
I didn't
Gizmo.
hear that. What was it?
Jojo Gizmo was in South Africa for the Giraffe Grand National yesterday. The favourite won by a neck. That's the sort of joke you
Send
would
in
love.
your jokes, right? I
Come on,
love
let's
jokes.
have some.
I like jokes.
Like Keel's
Keep them clean, whatever you do.
Mr. Narky over
I
here.
can't.
Right?
I can't tell any because the watershed.
You won't-
Yeah, they have to be clean. They have to be
Literally
clean.
bring us to our knees.
Send in your selections for the Grand National and send in your jokes.
Yeah,
'cause
that
I
was
love a
great,
good joke.
Gizmo. Love that. I can read them out if I deem them all right. Oh, God, this is amazing. We get loads of international viewers on this show, DJ. We've got YTube 2009 watching from Mesa, Arizona. Isn't that? It is a new one, Arizona. I once called some greyhounds. It was a job I had, calling American greyhounds.
What are you going to do with that? You're going to eat it.
I'm trying to deflect, DJ.
No, go on, eat
From the
it. Go
fact
on,
that
eat
Natalie's
it live
about
on
to eat.
air.
Because
Go on.
there is a thing. How
No,
do you
it's
eat
all
your Cadbury's
sticky.
cream egg,
I was
isn't
bite
it?
the top and lick it out. But
Welcome from Wyoming. Amazing, Arizona. Oh dear. Toon 2020 says, I'm on Corach at 33s and 25s. Do you know what? So am I. Toon 2020. We
Aren't
agree
you
on lot.
clever, you
Toon
lot, eh?
20.
Aren't
And do you
you
know what? I
clever?
said that to Bruce Millington yesterday, and he went, do you want me to get in my TARDIS? You know, and I was, it's typically our ex-editor putting us down.
Well, here's the horse that I'm backing that would annoy me if it won, and that's Velvet Elvis, because Millington's all over it, and I'm playing golf with him on Monday, and he'll be crowing about it for ages. So I'm having the hedge now.
Who's come out with all the Elvis puns so far?
Oh, he wasn't looking at
Elvis has left the race course. That was one I saw earlier.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
That's one of the ones if you're writing the report.
Matt Madden says, what do you call a three-legged donkey?
Wonky.
Very good, DJ. You're good
Do
at
you
these
remember
dads.
Wonky Donkey? That was
Grizzly Bear says,
live and
watching
kicking.
from Illinois. Welcome along to the show. I've got some very good ones, actually.
Are they sending in jokes?
They are generally
Brilliant.
sending in jokes. I went fishing last night and used licorice as bait, says Terrific Lad 33. I caught all sorts. Very, very good. Keep them coming in. We're having some fun. And we are going to now go through the 39, I wanted to say 40 runners in the National. This was always going to happen, wasn't it? Ascaria 10 is out. What number was that? Because so many people just go for the sweepstakes. Number 16 is out of the hat. All right, let's go through the runners then. Let's go down them for you. Can, any second now, do what Ross Bridie said as a Ted Lasso. Oh, hang on a minute. DJ, you're not going to like this. Or maybe you are. I don't know. Broadcasting legend that you are.
that's
And another one. Look at his face. He's absolutely livid with Paul. Paul. Goodness me, the Tomo.
Devastated.
It's a photo.
All right, big lad.
Genuinely
Sorry, big fella.
Big fella. Hey,
Big
big
fella.
fella.
Genuinely one of the highlights of my broadcasting career was doing an Up the Races show with
He's still
Tomo.
commentating.
Years ago. But we tried to out-Tomo each other.
He's coming again.
Yeah, it's a
still
photo.
commentating.
I'll leave that to the judge or whatever. Isn't it?
Great. I'm a big Tomo fan.
There you go.
Oh, God,
All right.
he's like...
Turns out you're manifesting. You know.
Nobody can out Tomo. I mean, he just is like that in
I had a go
real
at
life.
it.
It's
I
not,
had a
it's
go
not
at
a show.
It
it's just
was.
him.
Look, this is the guy that went for Shergar, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Have you ever seen the doc that they did? And Tomo was.
Oh, yeah.
He was on the phone.
Yeah.
He's like, honestly, it's like.
Tell me where he is,
It's like
big
Troy
fella.
McClure, isn't it? Out
Tell
of the
me where he
Simpsons
is,
being there
big
and doing
fella.
it. Okay, loads of people out there watching. The numbers are growing, unsurprisingly. Let us know where you're beaming in from for the coverage of the Grand National. We're going to tell you, if you drew number one and he's second now, this is third, this is second. Can he make it third time lucky? What's stopping the 16-1 shot from winning this year's Grand National, DJ?
Weight, yeah, £19 higher. It's all about, we will speak about this during our flawless commentary in a few minutes. It's all about keeping in contention. I think if he can get into a rhythm, find his comfort zone, and is travelling going out onto the final circuit, he's a big player.
I felt certain he was going to win it last year, though. You know, was that his year? I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I
Maybe.
thought you meant Noble Yates.
No.
Oh, sorry. Good
No,
start.
any second
I was
now.
going like this as well.
Any second now.
Going in number.
Yeah, I don't know why.
We'd start at the top, you know, like you said.
Sorry, go on.
Turns out Tomo's joined us. Right, any second now.
But weight
Third,
is still...
second, what stops him from winning?
Look, I don't think he's the best horse in the race, and he has top weight. He's a course specialist, so you're kind of hoping that his track nous makes up for ability.
You got on your soapbox about this, didn't you, in your column?
Ah, yeah, sure. Like, there's only, according to the handicapper, there's only one horse. So just say if there's 40 runners in the last decade, I know there's probably been an odd non-runner. So 400 horses have ran in the Grand National in the last 11 years because obviously COVID was cancelled. 400 horses, according to the handicapper, the second best horse to run in the race in the last 11 years. It's any second
Yeah,
now. Only Bristol de Mai, who's a multiple Grade 1 winner, has been better than him, according to the handicapper.
Yeah.
So I just don't get that.
Well, I suppose they would claim it's the entry factor, isn't it?
It is the entry factor, and maybe that's factored. Obviously, I'm not a handicapper, but maybe that's factored in. But I just think that's factored in too much.
All right, we know what you think about Noble Yates. We know what Kills thinks about Noble Yates. He's got in your horse, despite the fact that you know we were in here last year,
Oh,
weren't we,
loved
when he
him.
did it?
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely.
You put him up in the Ultima on his debut for the Whaley Cones.
Yeah, I did.
At the owners this season, of course, and he went wide all the way. But he's coming in with a better prep, isn't he? You've got to say that.
I agree. To reiterate that £19 higher is a lot. It was cool. It was a first 7-year-old winner, wasn't he? Since what, 1940, something that ridiculous. But the young pretenders are making their mark a lot more. Look, what I've done though, Dave, is I've put my top 4. I've ignored Noble Yates and Corach Rambler because I think they have got such strong credentials. I was just doing it without them because I think that either of them.
Top 4 without.
Yeah. I have, because it was just like I've talked loads about Corach Rambler in the past with his head up, and he's every time I've slagged him off, he's gone and won. And Noble Yates is a tremendous horse. I think it's a big ask to do it again. like a Tiger Roll. So I've just gone without those two personally.
All right, that's number 2 on the card. Number 3, Galvin. Now, I don't see how he reverses cross-country form on the weights they are, DJ, with Delta work, but you do.
I think Galvin has definitely got a chance. I think the track will suit Galvin better than Cheltenham did. And I think that was his first go. Like, I know he actually did everything quite well in the cross-country, but it was still his first go at it. And he was against an experienced professional in Delta Work who'd won the race the year before. I just think the Grand National suit him. He's a flicker of fences rather than an exuberant leaper. I think that'll suit. And he might just have too much weight, but I think if he jumps well, I think he'll be in the frame.
On the classy horse, Kills, is number 4, Fury Road. Does he
Yeah,
stay?
he's classy, but he doesn't stay this trip, does he? He barely gets 3 miles, doesn't he? So,
But he pushed Galopin de Champs close, didn't he, at the DRF? He was the one that made him work going into the final event. DJ, you don't like him?
No, he won't stay.
All right, won't stay. John Joe O'Neill takes the spin. Won't get home over the trip if you're on number 4. Number 5, the Big Dog. What do your copious notes say about
I
this
just
chap?
don't love last time fallers. That's the only thing. But there are enough people actually who like the Big Dog. Obviously,
Tom Siegel.
he was running very, very well, wasn't he? And I would. The other thing to say is he has got a bit of class about him. I can't
You
deny
nailed
it.
that Tom Siegel, by the way. It takes a little bit of
Yeah,
time.
Tom Siegel.
When you work for the Racing Post, you have to realise that he's not Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
And someone on the media outlet the other day, I don't know if it was Sky, whether it was ITV, called him Steven Seagal. Tom Seagal, you know, they did the Steven Seagal thing. He doesn't like
I
it.
love
It is
Steven
Seagal. You've nailed it.
on that train movie.
Thanks.
So good.
I'm not.
But
not
the only
surprised.
thing I've got right today is the pronunciation of
the
a
greatest
colleague's
tips.
name who I'm actually quite friendly with. I've
Do you
named
like this?
him right.
Do you like this? Do you like this?
It's been that day.
Do you like this? I wouldn't be dogmatic and put anyone off the Big Dog, but it's just not in my
Struggled
top
to go to
four.
sleep last night thinking of that one. Of course you did.
It was a good one. Like,
Aidan
didn't
Coleman
deserve the build-up.
takes the ride. Now we've got to go
Best
for
I can do.
number 6. If you're on this, you'll be with Paul Kealy on the way. This is his nap of the day. Capitano Keels.
Yeah, I love the class angle of the horse. That, in any other yard, he'd have been running in a Gold Cup. In fact, William Mullins was thinking about running him in a Gold Cup as late as February. So, he's just had the one run this year. He was giving a fair amount of weight to Janadil, got beat 9 lengths by him, but that's a really decent form over 2.5 miles, which is way too short for him. Spring horse, won at the last 2 Punchestown festivals. Don't yawn. Don't yawn.
No, I actually would.
You've only heard this about 12 times, haven't you?
No, genuinely.
This isn't Cheltenham, lads. This is Aintree.
That was actually a real yawn. It wasn't actually a fake one.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I don't think
So listen, we are.
But
Listen,
yeah, he's got a great chance. He's got a great chance.
yeah, okay. So we are hearing that the race is going to be delayed, guys.
Why?
Guess what's happened?
The protesters?
Yeah, I believe
Really?
so. Yeah.
Oh, did you see
indeed.
the thing in the Daily Mail? See the video?
Saw the expos.
Grand
It was like the
National's
fake
not
shake,
happening,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Well, listen. Let's concentrate on the racing. This is what
Oh,
we
are
do
they
here.
eating grass tied together? Bloody, I mean, they're honest.
What
to
can
God.
you glue yourselves to on a race course? I mean,
Each
surely
other.
they've done their job, haven't they, these guys? I mean, they've got so much airtime, but let's not give them it here. Come on. This is the greatest game ever, and this is the Racing Post live with the Grand National. We're going to concentrate on the runs, but we might be seeing a slight delay. The mission control will keep us in touch with that. Okay, all right. Ain't that a shame was going round there, but before we get
We're
to
on
him,
Sam Brown, aren't we now?
we are now on, yes, no we're not. We're on Delta Work, who, again, DJ convinced me, so many people, because of last year, have basically gone, this is his year. But I don't quite see it. He's a pound lower, DJ. He didn't quite get home last time. They're dealing with the
We're just looking at
protesters.
the
I think we can see.
protesters here.
I was pretty right. They would lay down munching grass. I was pretty on the money.
Interesting attire they're wearing. Like Peppa
They don't.
Pig's gone on the race course, isn't it?
It's a lot of this is just uneducated.
Well, I
opinion.
think it's fair to
Have
say
they borrowed the Rich Richie silks?
oh, look at this, look at this.
Oh yeah, look, they're going for it.
Oh,
Oh look!
oh.
I'll tell you what, it's getting the stewards are getting involved in everything.
Oh,
Oh man!
look, oh.
Yeah, they're not
And
having
they
this.
have- they're
Right,
clinging.
we are now concentrating on the
They're
protesters.
clinging to one of
They're
the
going to
fences,
try and do it,
clinging.
aren't they? Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're not having it at all, are they?
How did they get out on the course?
Well, that's a great question. But
Shouldn't be
listen,
on the course.
we've all been to Aintree, right? It's not difficult if you wanted to do it to break through on a race course, is it, when you're at the race course?
Yeah, I know, but they've
so
known
much
about this. I mean,
warning
to let them
there.
out on it.
That's worrying now for even during the race that they might.
They have had warning.
I'm a bit worried there now watching that.
All right, well, yeah, they've gone to an ad break at the moment on ITV. So, look, let's keep going, guys, all right? This is always likely to rear its head. I'm
Yes,
afraid.
Delta Work.
Delta Work,
Sorry,
let's get
yeah.
back to it. For the people that actually want to know what's going on with the equine heroes out there. Delta Work, third last year. I don't see how he stays any better this time. They think he's a better horse though, DJ?
Yeah, they do. Keith Donoghue could have rode the big dog, price-wise, Tom Siegel's pick. He rides Delta Work instead. He rode him in the cross-country, and Keith rides that course beautifully, but he thought he bolted up. He really did thought he won easily. And just from being in around the yard, I was there for Jockey Club press morning the week before last. They think he's actually a better horse now than he was 12 months ago. I know that's hard to believe given his age and everything, but they just think he came out of Cheltenham better than he did last year. Things didn't go well in the first part of the race last year. Like, to be honest, I could actually make a better case for him than any other horse in the race, but yeah, he hasn't made it into my top 4, and I don't really know why.
Yeah, same.
Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them. I think if he won the race, I'd be going, yeah, that makes sense.
I thought last year was his run. I was with him last year, maybe that's why, but he got me excited, and he did, but
the first circuit didn't just go according to plan.
Okay, all right. So yeah, and he's a pound lower, isn't he? And he has to. He comes in off the back of a cosy old win.
Definitely in my top 4.
Okay,
yes.
Sam Brown. We won't go to DJ on this. This would be his egg on face horse. A horse that started off running in the Charlie Hall Kills, and he always runs on at these end of races. He won the 4:15 last year. He's had a win dog.
He won that big race last year. Don't Push It won that race. The Evan Williams things that kept running in the race. I can't remember the name of it. I could never remember the name of it. Won that race as well and got placed in the National about 3 times. Kappa Blur, that's the one. Yeah. So it's very. He's got that about him, but he's an 11-year-old rated 159. There have to be better handicapped younger horses in the race for me.
Okay, all right. So that is, and Aidan Coleman, you have to assume, has elected to ride the big dog if you're on number 8, Sam Brown. But he's the classiest of the British runners. You know, since One for Arthur won in 2017, no British horse has finished in the top 3. All right, that's massive.
Say that again.
Since One for Arthur won in 2017, there's been no British runner in the top 3.
Honestly, because Sam Brown's the highest rated.
I told that to you on What a Shout yesterday. You looked at me like you knew it.
Oh, really?
I've been waiting for this stat to wheel out.
That is some stat, like,
isn't it?
Considering I've done loads of Grand National previews and we've been speaking about the Grand National since Cheltenham, I didn't know that.
Do you know who's got the closest? Stat. It was last year. I'm going to remind myself who it was. It was behind Noble Yates. It was Santini.
Be the
I don't want to bring up Fiddler on the Roof. He was 5th. It was, Nicky Schofield. Right, a lifetime ambition, number 9. Ran in the Grand Sefton and found that inadequate, but took a liking to the fences, didn't he? And this is a great story.
Yeah, great story, Jessica Harrington. Hopefully things will go well for lifetime ambition. Just stamina is the one worry. Stamina is the one worry. We're just looking at the protesters.
I love he wears his heart on his sleeve.
He does.
He's a lovely type.
I actually hope Sean O'Keefe, who rides him, I hope he actually rides him as though it is a 2.5 mile race. Do you know what I mean? Because he's the type of horse that they're trying to get into the fences here. They're arresting people just that are lying on fences. It seems.
Hedge munchers.
This race could be delayed for quite a while, I'd imagine.
Pathetic.
Yeah, it does look a bit pathetic, doesn't it? It's got to be honest. It's an interesting thing here that we're watching.
Make your point. You can be against the National if you want to be, but to go on try and attach yourself to a fence on the course when you've got horses in the parade ring, seriously, come on.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
Yeah, this is not what we wanted to see, really, basically. This is kind of what we expected. Did anyone see that chapping? This is what you get on Racing Post Live, right? We see the sort of humour on this. On Monday, this will all be pretty much forgotten about. Maybe not Monday.
No, it won't be.
At the front page might be covering that on news show each Monday, basically. But this is going to be old news soon. And it's just like they've had their airtime. What are you doing?
But people don't have the pictures. There was a
snowflakes
guy
as
like
well,
this.
I'm afraid to say it. Listen,
carried him out.
Balance is ever so important here, right? We know the world is changing. The race has been modified, and these horses.
They're just uneducated about.
That's what I said.
Totally. Some of the things that have been said in the week. Haydock from Cape Early. That's almost unforgivable.
Yeah, well, that was probably just a slip of the tongue. I wouldn't hold
it's not. It's a lack of research, DJ.
Well, I wouldn't hold that against her.
She had a Haydock. She also said, "I've been there. I've been there at Haydock." So
I know.
It was a lack of research.
Has she really been to the Grand National?
I don't know.
She hasn't.
I presented Good Morning Aintree the other day, and I said, "Welcome to Good Morning Cheltenham." That's a slip of the tongue. I wouldn't read too much into that. It's more like I'm fair play.
We'll agree to differ there.
We have said it before about Kevin Blake on Talk TV. Did a terrific job defending the sport the other day, and it's people like Kevin and Simon Holt, who's also joined. What's it called? Stand Up for Racing. Richard Hoyle, Stand Up for Racing, and we need people like that.
Sure.
Clever people who can educate people about a wonderful industry.
I agree it's about education, because one point is I just would love to know what these people think you can do with thoroughbreds if they don't race. What do you think a thoroughbred horse does? Because I've actually lost a horse in a field that I retired because he was broken. I thought it was the best thing for him. He killed himself. Quarter Star killed himself. You can take isolated incidents. You do not go and turn a load of racehorses out. They are bred to race. They want to do it. If they don't want to do it, they won't do it. But there is no education behind it. Unless people know, they just see this as cruel.
Roy Marsh, we've actually got the horse has come up, look, in the, this is Spotlight Verdict. I thought it was a social.
Oh, Roy Marsh is the nap.
The 11-year-old Gray from Ireland has come on the show. That's the Spotlight nap from Richard Austin, of course. Roy Marsh, who I wanted to back last year, so again, another egg on face horse potentially for me. We're watching Aintree. It's in glorious sunshine. We're hoping that the runners get on the track soon. If you're just joining us, protesters have got onto the track. They are having a bit of a wobble out there. They are being removed as we speak.
The horses are still in the parade ring. There's no jockeys. It's 8 minutes to the race.
It's going to take a while, this, isn't it? It's going to take a while, this we're
Let's go through our selections again. We're going down the runners as well. We've got to Lifetime Ambition.
Okay,
Let's just do carefully selected, because then that's the top 10. Michael O'Sullivan, one of the riding sensations of the season. Keel's the Thyestes winner. He's won again since. He had a really hard race that day, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's a very good horse, but he's 11 years old. He's had 13 runs. That's how much time off he's had, but he's come back almost as good as ever. Now he was well beat last time behind Kemboy. Could have simply just bounced on what was a really hard race. But then he's got to come back out again, isn't he? He's had a bit of a longer break. Can't really see it myself.
And you've changed your MO, haven't you, in recent years as the races changed?
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, from 1975 to 2014, 26 of 39 national winners' race, Ted over. Stop laughing, DJ.
Well, she's eating her cream egg.
Let's just say I'm not going to Natalie anytime soon for a long.
I can't believe you didn't bring us a cream egg. It's outrageous.
I'm not eating a cream egg.
Was it nice?
I'm not eating a cream egg.
All right, move on. It's not about you, dear. Come on, Keels, get it out.
Who was I talking about? I beg your pardon. Right, who was that?
Your age stat.
Yes, 26 of 39 national winners from 75 to 2014 were 10 or older. There have been none since 2014.
That's impressive.
It is.
And I think this is just because the race has changed. We've made more safe, you idiots. Fences are easier to jump, distance slightly shorter, therefore attracting better horses. Obviously, massive prize fund too, and it's become a younger man's game.
What was the horse that? It was obviously Tiger Roll, wasn't it? It was the one horse that we said, the God, this race has really changed. I mean, he flicked through the top of almost every fence.
Yeah, he did. He
still won it on the bridle that first time.
It's like, he found, a new way of doing things.
Yeah.
Like that probably top 2 foot of the fence is loose, and you can just flick through them. And in fairness to Paul Byrne last year with Noble Yates, he obviously sold the horse to Robert Whaley-Cohen, but Paul realised very early on last season that Noble Yates, who had only won a maiden hurdle at Navan a couple of months earlier, that he could aim him at that race because it's not the jumping test it was, and because you need an unexposed novice.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting, because he could be doing something similar with a horse called Farron Lily, who was second to Batchison. Like, imagine running a horse first time over fences.
He won a novice hurdle at Kelso before that, hadn't he?
Yeah. Well, no, he was beaten in that.
That's what
he actually ran, but he won a poor maiden hurdle, and he was second to Batchison with Chacon Persois in third, and Ronald Pump was in it as well. So it's just an interesting angle that you do maybe need, and we'll find out probably in what looks like about 20 minutes time or a half an hour's time.
Yeah.
Maybe something like an unexposed kind of second season novice might be the one again this year.
Or like that goes with your theory of Galvin. Thing to flick through a bit.
To flick through,
So it can go both ways.
Not the fences they were, but blimey, it's still a test, isn't it? As we've seen in the Hunter Chase and we've seen in the Topham yesterday. It was a gruelling affair. Quickening up all the time then on the national course. Don't forget, like and subscribe here on the Racing Post. You can do it on a YouTube channel. So much content coming your way. The front page will be back on Monday. The news hounds will be picking the bones,
where
no
are they taking
doubt
the
about
horses
this
now?
protest.
They're taking them out of the parade.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't rush, Dave.
They were going out like ironing boards, weren't they?
I think we've got a bit of time here.
This is not good.
This is not good. They're taking them out of the parade ring.
Out of the parade ring.
What people will be wanting to know is how is this affecting the horses, I guess, at the moment as well, Nat, walking around all the time. I mean, sometimes you see it, don't you, when something happens on a racetrack and we have to wait for an ambulance to come back or something like that. They need 2 ambulances on track. and are walking around these horses, constantly going.
I mean, what are they supposed to do? They've got protesters on the track. You know, I understand this has got to be safe. They can't take risks. This is one of the biggest. I get it. I totally get it. I'm so sad that life at the moment has become antis always get their way, whether it's hunting, whether it's racing, whether it's fishing, whether it's shooting, whether it's what my dad does, falconry. They get their way because it's who shouts the loudest, and it's wrong. And it is going to have to be a point where people that are passionate about their sports or their beliefs, we're going to have to do something about it, because they've had plenty of warning. Salika said, it's no different to any year. Absolutely no different. Said that on ITV. We've taken preparations. Well, they haven't taken preparations because we're
slipped the net.
at the moment. The Grand National's not
Interesting.
on time.
Was this a little bit complacent or what?
Yeah. So what's wrong? Because this couldn't happen. This shouldn't happen, should it?
Interesting tweet from Kate Tracy, of course, friend of the show, who's been on here many times. She said the irony of these protesters is that they're potentially harming the horses by delaying the start. Race horses are highly strung animals who are tuned to the minute. They will become agitated if there are significant delays, which certainly isn't good for them. At Animal Rising, you are hypocrites for this. There is nothing wrong with protesting peacefully, but you've completely lost any credibility you may have with these antics, which have achieved nothing. Well said, Kate.
I think she might be up there, Kate, as well. Actually.
Yeah, but these antis just keep winning over and over again. I mean, it's sad, and not many people would know it, but there's been a lot of hounds killed the last 3 seasons because they use a gizmo, which is a fake hunting horn. And even when hunts are trail hunting and they pull the hounds off and they've been killed on main roads and all sorts of things. And if you love animals, you're how can you then put the animal at risk?
Absolutely.
And that is what they're doing.
Yeah,
Very sad.
We're going to have a delay here, Dave. So what more jokes?
We could do some more jokes. Listen, we've got to go through another 30 runners as well.
Okay.
But, and now you're going to have to pronounce that, DJ, for me. This first name, the Christian name here, I'm assuming is
Elrena.
Elrena. That was easy, wasn't it?
That's a nice name.
Well said, Natalie. What a woman. There's a lot of love in chat land for what Natalie's just said, actually.
Fair play, Nat. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're tuning in and wondering why we're not getting very, very, very excited for the runners circling round for the start of the Grand National 2023, it's because protesters have,
well, the one
as
thing
expected, got onto the course.
The one thing I'm delighted about, Dave, is that Ain't That a Shame is still travelling well.
Is he? Look at the sea of people there as well on ITV. We've got the cameras up there now. It is a humongous crowd in the sunshine. Wow. Of course, this is the 34th anniversary of Hillsborough as well on this day. We saw Ian Rush and Kenny Dalgleith. We all remember, all of us that were that old, where we were that day, the tragedy that happened. They were laying a wreath there earlier as well. These are the sort of things we should be remembering today. The protest is just getting a little bit tiresome now, guys, isn't it, really? I think they're kind of failing to make their point, really. And as Kate Tracy quite rightly said, you're not really thinking about the horses on the course at the moment, guys, are you? All right, loads of people watching us out there, as usual. Let us know where you're watching, guys. Let's get some more jokes out. Honestly, the one joke, I'm not totally sure I can say it. The one joke is...
Go for it.
DJ's like, say it.
Go for it.
I went to see a comedian not that long ago, and he opened.
Is this the joke?
He opened.
Oh, yeah.
He opened. It was a great joke. He's known to be quite an aggressive socialist comedian, and he opened with a stupid joke. Have you ever heard about the guy who painted his nuts in glitter? I'm not going to say the punchline. You can think about what it is.
Say it again. Have you ever gone?
Have you ever heard about the guy who painted his nuts in glitter?
What do you mean? You can't give us the punchline.
You're going to have to get it yourselves. You should be.
Have you ever heard about the guy who painted his nuts in glitter?
It was a cracker.
He rolled.
You have to get it yourselves. That's what it is. Anyway, I don't want to be going there. Tumbleweeds are going. We're going back. Salika Varma, we can now see on course, by the way.
Well,
She looks pretty stressed, the clerk of the course at the moment.
Yeah, but that's outside the
Bless
track,
her.
isn't it?
Yeah,
They're
but
now
can't-
running for their lives, I think.
They're not running at all. They're still trying to get in, aren't they?
Oh, is that them trying to get in?
That's why they're
It's
there.
like the old Glastonbury days, isn't it, when they try and jump
It's
the
like a
fence?
scene off what's that new show like The
locals
Walking
giving them a
Dead.
bashing on it.
Tony
That's what
Butler
it is.
says he's watching in Toronto. Welcome, Tony. This is Racing Post Live. Great to have you, myself, Dave Orton, Natalie Green, Dave Jennings, and Paul Kealy with the king of the fillers here. And the show will go on, that is for sure. It's just a case of when.
I'm just sad they're getting what they want. I'm just sad. They are allowed their own opinion. I'm just sad that they are getting their own way.
Yeah, all right.
That's what makes me
Shall we
upset.
keep going down the runners? Because we've got a combination trifecta on kills, haven't we, for the injured jockeys?
We
That's
have
our
indeed,
charity
yeah.
of choice.
We have indeed.
Just to remind you, the 4 horses we put in that. Longhouse Poet, there's a lot of love for that. We put in the Big Breakaway. We put in
Capadano
Milos.
and Capadano.
Did we put Capadano in?
No, Capadano.
Oh, did we put Capadano in?
Did you
Did
put
you
Capadano
sneak
in?
Capadano in?
Did I put Capadano in?
So much faith
Yeah, I
he's
did.
got in
Oh,
Capadano.
Milos, Capadano, Longhouse Poet, and Velvet Elvis.
You did
Velvet Elvis,
You did
that
your
was
own
the one.
thing.
Yeah.
Of course he's doing his own thing. All right, the tips are up on the team. We've got some team
Capadano
tips.
was always
A
going in.
reminder, Natalie Green has walked
Look at this. Yeah,
off
no,
with
no.
this trophy earlier. Dave, I'm going for Corach Rambler. DJ's going for Ain't That a Shame. Get a word on him soon. Longhouse Poet. Kills his Capadano, as we know. And Mission Control for Milos, who I think,
There's loads
along
of
with
them.
Corach Rambler, is the
I
best
love
of the British.
Milos.
Yeah.
Such a nice jumper.
We were down to Cocoa
Cocoa
Beach,
Beach.
guys. Harry
yeah.
Cobden having a great meeting again. It's lovely to see Nichols and Cobden have such a good Cheltenham, wasn't it? They're having it again at Aintree. This chap came to life again last time out.
Yeah, I just don't think. I know he won a Grand National trial, but I think he's such an exuberant racer when he's on song. I don't think he quite gets home over this trip.
I'd worry about that.
Yeah, I just thought last year he travelled well to a point, and then you were like, there's just no more. But he's a lovable horse. You know, he's won a Thyestis, he's won a Grand National trial. He's just a lovely horse that I wouldn't begrudge him winning it, but I could see him. He's one of them that if you were to look for, if you could get maybe a price of 2 to 1 between him finishing 5th and 15th, I'd take it.
Right, you like to do this. Having done the What a Shout last year for you when we started the Pinsicker's Guide, you like to do like 24 to 30.
Yeah,
or
where
something
I
like
think
that.
certain
Where you
horses are
think
gonna
horses
finish,
will Very interesting. Probably the only race you can seriously do it with.
I think
isn't it?
Cocoa Beach will finish between 5th and 15th, probably somewhere between 8th and 12th.
Because so many people will be looking at these different markets. The
Jockeys are coming out!
Happy days, that's the biggest cheer of the day, isn't it? Who's the first jockey out? You see, it's always the first only you see on track, isn't it? You think might have a winner and all that sort
The
of
first jockey out.
Who's the first jockey out?
is Harry
Oh, it's
Cobden.
Cocoa Beach as well. It's Harry Cobbers.
Can you believe Harry's only 24? It's young,
Yeah, it's
isn't
mad,
it?
that, isn't it?
Isn't it mad?
Yeah.
One of the fences
young.
we're hearing has been damaged in the protest as well, so they're feverishly rebuilding it, Mission Control. What's going on? I mean,
God.
we're not
doesn't
totally,
sound
we're
great.
waiting for this. Could it be? We're not just
Here we
missing
go.
a runner, we might be missing a fence as
The
well.
latest odds on the Grand National.
No.
Noble Yates is favourite.
No way.
Noble Yates has been absolutely wackoed in the market. We were talking about this, Keels, when we actually started this preview. It seems like lunchtime.
was
when we
22.
did. He was 22. He's now in. So what is this? This is like surely last year's money coming back for him, isn't it?
Wow.
This is his legion of supporters.
Gotta be, isn't
I've left him out. I didn't really want to do it. I could just see him well, but we've given you our top fours. Let's start hearing from you. The starter is up on the podium. We're going to have to go through these, really whittle them down. The jockeys are now having
you have a few
their
minutes.
annual photo. Thrilled to say that that wasn't too bad,
Well,
guys.
it's a good
Actually, as it
sign,
could have
isn't
gone,
it?
is it? You know, I thought it was going to be like Tony
think
Dobbin
getting
coming
that-
back the next day.
Getting that ladder, there seemed to be a ladder. There was a lot of people applauding
moment.
that they seized the ladder.
That was the moment.
All they had to do. All right, okay, we got down to Cocoa Beach. Longhouse Poet is next on the list, and DJ, you really like it, so does Nat.
Oh, I do. Nat will tell you more, and she's obviously in a lot better form than I am. But I just thought last year he was the one I took out of the race and said, come back 12 months later, a year stronger, the experience of the course, trained by sixth last year, but travelled probably too well. Trained by a master target trainer in Martin Brazel. Definitely will be in the frame.
Number 6 Valverde's trainer, of course, 2006
Who will
winner.
definitely be in the frame?
Longhouse
Poet.
Well, we're hoping so for them.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, is that
Huge
because of the
drifter.
support now for Noble Yates? They're sort
Well,
of,
I don't know. It does sort of, mind you, no, he's back in. He's back in. He was literally, honestly, it's one of these. It goes up and down, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was
Like hokey cokey
He
this
was
market.
34 on the machine a minute ago. He's 21 again now.
I love
he's
him. I think
massive,
he's
Alex,
a
isn't
year
he?
older, a year wiser, a year stronger. Like you say, target trainer. And I think with the route they've taken this year, might be a bit more settled.
Nigel says, what do you call a horse that likes to stay up late?
Night. Not night.
A
Mare.
night?
Night.
Mare.
Hey, Kills, we got
Oh,
it.
well done.
Team effort.
I got it.
Well done. Nightmare.
Delta Work taking a slide. Ain't that shame is taking a slide,
Yeah,
DJ.
absolutely.
Dave, pretty nuts, by the way.
Pretty nuts. Yeah, no, that's not it. It's what you think it should
Oh,
be.
glitter, yeah. Golden balls.
Yeah, it's something along those lines. I'm not going to go down
Golden
there.
balls.
I started saying that joke and I was like, let me get a projector seat. Gaillard de Menil is next in the list. Now we're getting to some real market leaders here. Won the National Hunt Challenge Chase. Spoke to you about this, DJ. He's like a third season novice pretty much, isn't he? He's got loads of experience. You said you love Patrick Mullins, but God, he gave him a shocker despite winning.
Yeah, it was interesting. Patrick Mullins, is a really good rider, and he's a really good writer as well. And anybody that
Very
read
good
his
writer.
piece in the Racing Post the week after Cheltenham, he almost admitted, he said he was riding him, he thought he was on the fastest horse in the race, so he was riding him for speed, and he did think obviously that Malheur Mission was going to come back to him, but I'd say when he passed the line he said, phew,
Well,
because you know, the position he was turning for
Yeah.
home, he shouldn't have been where he was.
And
Did well
such
to
is the
win.
belief they have in Patrick, though, and the Mullins horses. People didn't give up on him, did they?
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not. But I think you're talking about the best jockey riding in the race. Paul Townend, the best jockey riding in the race.
I think we could say
The
that.
best trainer that's training the race
Yeah.
without any shadow of a
Yeah.
doubt. And you've got a horse that's won at the Cheltenham Festival.
And you
so
don't think this time he gets far behind, do you? You think, because that was my worry about
Oh,
him,
no.
maybe that he might just get
I
lost
think
a
he
little
was
bit mid-race.
he was ridden to be where he was in the National Hunt Chase at Cheltenham. He'll be fine. He went down to the last with Mighty Potter and a Drimore.
And up
over
until
2.5.
last year, he's been one of the first horses to put a line through because 7-year-olds just don't win nationals. But guess what? Noble Yates lined up last year. We said about the difference to a race. It happened. Durasso comes next. Very quick word on this. Doesn't get home.
Well, Justin O'Hanlon, our colleague in the Racing Post, if you're watching Justin, how are you? He is very keen on Durasso. He
that
told
right?
Frank Berry at the start of the season, Frank, you have got to run Durasso in the Grand National. Frank Berry has listened to the shrewdy that is Justin O'Hanlon, and I was giving Durasso absolutely no chance.
He's
But
having something like his 10th run of the season, and he always turns out. Every time I see an Irish race car, there's a Grade 2 race, he's in it.
Yeah.
But he's a lovely horse. Lamilos, then Natalie Green, number 15.
Yeah, you can't not like him. Jumps brilliantly. The Premier Chase at Kelso was a fine performance. He wasn't 100% tuned. This has always been the target. The form that Skeltons are in, their Saturday winners have obviously cloud 9 today with the winners they've had. He's just a really, really nice horse. You know, he's my top 4. Is he the winner? No, but I don't know.
They've just told the jockeys to get on board.
Right, the bell has
bell
rung.
has rung.
The bell
Yes.
has rung. Yeah, we're getting excited now. The big breakaway comes up. Kills me and you like this one.
Yeah, I just think, you know, he's a quirky sort, isn't it? Sometimes this race is won by quirky horses. If he takes to the fences, he can be a good player. Like, you know, he's got, you know, he's one of your old-fashioned chasers, I suppose. He stays really, really well.
Yeah.
He's second in the Welsh National, obviously. And, you know, if he gets into a rhythm, I mean, I always worry about putting first-time headgear on a horse in a big race.
Yeah.
But they've stuck the blinkers on him because they think he didn't really enjoy himself.
I
at
quite
Cheltenham.
like this angle. I
Yeah,
quite like
and
it.
it could be just keep him out on his own, let him jump, let him pop away at the fences, and we'll see. You know, he's a very talented horse.
If he gets into a rhythm, look, he could just go very, very well. He's a bit of an oxo horse, that Welsh national form. When you tipped in Kills, that's what we're pinning our hopes on. And as a young horse, we thought he could just be the next thing coming. Could it be that the National's been what it's all about? You see this in the National. Cape Gentleman comes up next. American owned for Shark Hanlon. Used to be owned by Emmett Mullins, of course, Noble Yates' trainer. Very classy horse. Seems to have lost his way slightly.
in the words of Les Dennis, if he wins, I'll give you the money myself.
Baked beans for you.
Yeah, can he really improve him that much from Emmett?
No.
Like,
No.
it wouldn't be a trainer I'd want to take to improve from.
Yeah,
So
but
we
this
have
is
no
Shark.
have we no parade? We have no. Oh, maybe we do.
Maybe going to do. I think if it's a parade, they're going to go down very
Well, they've
quickly.
got another race to worry about, and the poor horses there, haven't they? So they've
Well,
got
we've
to get...
still got, it's, believe it or not, 6:20.
It looks like no parade, folks. It looks like no parade. So we better rattle through these very quickly, Dave.
I like that decision. Roy Marsh
Yeah.
comes
We've got
next.
2 full starts yet. Don't worry about that. Plenty of time.
Roy
At least
Madge,
two.
Roy Madge, the spotlight nap of Richard Austin. Just to talk people through it, he says he is second choice pick, Lamilos. To dark horse Roy Madge, his form at Longhouse Poet is not solid, but he did show his well-being, and his French run suggests that this test can reveal him in a new light. Spotlight nap, Roy Madge.
And reported to have scored well.
Yes.
I wanted to back him in the race last year. He didn't make the cut, and he's another year older. He's a
He is
strong travelling
£11 better off as well with Longhouse. It might not be that solid, that form, but he's £11 better off for a length and a quarter with a
40
horse.
to 1 shot that could
It
go
does a lot
well.
shorter.
Number
D.L.
20,
Kerr.
I'm taking D.L. Kerr. He's in my top 4. 100 to 1 shot. That's right, triple figures. I love this chap. If you like Ain't That a Shame, who DJ's going to give us a waxing lyrical about in a minute, you've got to like this guy. It's Paddy Power form. He can be in and out, but if he takes to these fences, I think he could run a huge race. Unlike Wave of the Sea, which we're just going to sort of paddle past that one, are we, guys?
2 miler.
Yeah, can't stay. Don't
Yeah.
know why he's in the race.
Two
So that's
miles.
number 21. Number 22 is Manila Trump.
No, too big.
Stamina.
Don't
No.
think he'll get home, but he's got an interesting profile for me. I wouldn't be surprised. Vanillier then Kills. Tell us about this one. And a Grade 1 novice hurdle winner.
Yeah, I mean, one of the Albert Bartlett, he's a very, very strong stayer. I just never liked him as a chaser. I always think he backs off his fences. But if he finds out that you can flick through,
He can
might
do the
run quite
tiger
well.
arm. Yeah. All right. Okay. Velvet Elvis comes up next. DJ, this one has got bundles of stamina.
Bruce Millington, Richard Forrestal, Ireland editor at Racing Post, former Racing Post editor, both very keen on Velvet Elvis. Really good trainer, Tom Gibney. Trained the winner of the Irish Grand National a couple of years ago, Leon Barney. Nice profile for the race. Good jockey in Darragh O'Keefe. One of those that I could see run really well. I think he'll finish in the first 8.
Editor's choice then, Velvet Elvis. And you've got to stick with you, DJ, because ain't that a shame. This was a massive gamble. Rachel Blackmore bidding to give her a second Grand National
Yeah,
win.
massive drifter now, ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame to me is potentially the best handicapped horse in the race off a mark of 146. I think he's better than that. Should have won the Munster National, should have won the Paddy Power, didn't win either, and I just wonder, will it be a blessing in disguise? 10 stone 5, Rachel Blackmore, if he gets into a good rhythm, I'm hoping he'll stay. I think he's a good horse.
For owners, Rob Core having a great week, and Henry de Bron made, of course, 1-2 for Henry before. Could it be the same again? Corach Rambler comes up next, then you can't have him, Natty Green, but I love this horse. I think he's the winner.
No, it's not I can't have him. He comes from off the pace, which you like. I think long running won't suit him in that effect. Not when he can do that thing and put his head up. And he needs to be produced to perfection. And in the Grand National, that ain't easy.
They're circling right down at the start, guys. Enjoy Dalen is next if you're looking for this one. I don't think I'm going to get through them all actually, but
go.
He was very well fancied last year. I don't know if this one comes up. It wouldn't be totally.
He's been placed in an Irish National. He's got the ability, but he can't jump, and it's hard to see him winning.
Keep an eye on Mr. Incredible, number 28.
Yes, who comes up next on the list actually.
He looks pretty
He's all right, isn't he? We're not going to get through them all, guys. That shows you what an insane rush this has been to get onto the track.
Mr. Coffee is Mr. Coffee.
Have we got our commentary sorted out yet? Do we know where we're going? Are you happy on me?
There's 30 fences, okay? 30 fences. So that means we're taking 7-ish each.
Oh,
who wants to go first?
I'll crack on first. I'll go first and I'll pass it over.
That's okay. Someone's getting regirthed.
You want to go second? Will we go this way?
That's the big
Yeah,
breakaway.
we'll go down the line.
I think
We'll go
that's a
down the
big
line and back up.
Yeah, okay.
All right, listen, great to have you watching out there. So many people out there, all our families watching as well. Hello in Great Missenden, you guys watching there as well. All over the world you've been watching us. Don't forget, thumbs up, that's what it's all about. Like and subscribe. That way you can stay in touch with all the great content that's coming your way in 2023 here on the Racing Post YouTube channel. We absolutely love the game.
So
Who's
final,
excited?
Final selections then?
Corach Rambler.
Long has poet.
Ain't that a shame?
Capadano.
All right, they're the top 4. We're going through the card. All right then. And again, thanks for being with us, guys. This is our final race. It's 10 minutes later than scheduled, pretty much. You can see how they're going to line up. It's going to be a falsie here, guys, isn't it?
Oh, definite false
It's
start.
going to be a falsie.
Definite false start.
And that is because they're not allowed to trot in, basically, to the start. They're not allowed to walk in. And
You're also missing Cloudy Glen.
he's a bit of a nutbag as well, isn't he, for the late Trevor Hemmings colours, who will become
I'd say we will actually
winning most colours if Cloudy Glen does it. You think he's got half a squeak as well, didn't he?
I do, yeah. I think he could run well. I think we'll get through the 40 easily. There'll be a load of false starts here.
All right, okay. Yes, there might be.
Well, Mr. Coffee we know won't win.
No.
Mr. Incredible has the talent, right? But he's just a
Hill 16.
nutbag. Hill 16 on the Beecher form, yes, and they're chicken on the pieces. But Sandy Thompson hasn't got him right, has he, this season?
No, he's had a bit of a frustrating season.
80-1 is a big price about Gabby's Cross.
That's massive.
Who could take to it. And if he settles early for Peter Carberry, he'll be sitting stone. Look at him there. He's nearly last.
He's got that Paddy Power form as well, hasn't he? And the leader of the Naps competition is the expert eye on the nose at the Racing Post. They've napped Gabby's Cross today, and they're once again leading the Naps competition. Recite a prayer. You'll need one, DJ, if this one's is your ticket, I would imagine.
Passing the prayer.
Yeah. What about Eva's Oscar Kills? Stout stayer.
Yeah, very stout stayer. Good enough to win this? Probably not.
First time visor. That's number 34. Number 35 is Our Power. He's become the second Welsh winner of all time, and he's been an absolute win machine so far this season. Anyone like Our Power? He would have been about 6th on my list.
8, he jumps well and he travels well. What is he off 10? What is his weight? 10-2?
Got a very low weight.
Not bad.
I thought Phlegmatic should have beaten him last time, but it doesn't mean he didn't put up a good performance.
And Sam Tristan Davis won the Topham. That's the precursor
Sam
for this
Thomas
yesterday.
is getting really good at these.
They didn't want the
target
rain.
races.
I saw the Potters Syndicate basically said, rain, stay away. What about Dumbo and then?
Here we go.
Are they going to let him go? Go on, start. You've got to let him go.
Let him go.
Finally, in the 2023 Grand National, there I've got my spotters ready to go. Good luck. Whichever way you did decide to play. If you're watching internationally, we will do our best to tell you what's going on. I mean, good luck. I mean, they've absolutely pound to this first fence. There's a market on how many folders there'll be at the first fence as well. Let's hope it's 0. They're about to come to it. Manila Trump's up there. I'll tell you what, Dominiel's up there as well. Oh no, we've lost McCloudy Gaines unseated.
Gone.
Is that Gabby's out the back
I think
as
that might
well?
be right. Recited prayer went.
A couple went as well.
Well,
Oh man, who's that? It wasn't
few
Corach
gone.
Rambler, was it? Hang on a second, I'm going to go to the machine. I'll tell you what. Who's gone? Oh my God, carnage over the first 2 fences. This is an old school national if ever you've seen
Corach's
it.
all right. Corach's there.
Hang on, I'm looking to see. Keep going, guys. I'm going to try and find out who they were. You think Mission Control would be on my back, wouldn't you?
No idea.
There's a big queue of money we're hearing for Enjoy Dalen on the exchange just before the off. JP McManus's runner, but it is Cocoa Beach, former Thyestes winner in the blue cap. Lifetime Ambition is up there as well. He's pulling for his head. Look for some of the others.
Mr. Coffee on the
Power's
inside?
up there. The
Mr.
big
Coffee
dog.
loving it.
Mr. Coffee loving life. This is what it's all about. We've got 2 loose horses up front. We're not sure what they were. Gabby's Cross is still in the race, I can tell you. Guard to Manil sat off Andy. He's dropped back slightly. We're about to go over God knows what fence. Frankie de Perle's there as well.
It's just impossible.
Back on the lashes there, I can tell you. Born in the Sea is there, Born by the Sea. But at the moment, it's a freebie up front, David Jennings, for Coco.
Yeah, Cocoa Beach loving it. We knew he'd do this. And if ever there was a front-running jockey in the Grand National that you wanted, it's Harry Cobden. He is going to be absolutely loving life. They seem to have gone pretty quick, though. So I wouldn't be too worried if you're out the back. Gaillard de Menil, Gabby's Cross, Ain't That a Shame, very, very far back. Kate
Noble
Gentleman
Yates is out the back of the telly,
Yates
guys.
is out the back.
Well, he was always going to be, wasn't
The
he?
2 horses on front here, Cocoa Beach and Lifetime, are suspect stayers. That is the one thing you would
Cocoa
definitely
We've
Beach.
lost another one there.
Wow.
Who's that? Let's have a look who's gone on the ground. The jockey fell off. The camera just went off him as he went. The loose horses are off the track now, thankfully. Velvet Elvis is in the... Whoa,
that's
who's that
Lifetime
gone?
Ambition.
Lifetime Ambition.
Lifetime Ambition. Sean
This is
O'Keefe's
carnage.
flying off.
Mr. Coffee is in front.
Corach Rambler is sitting in 8th position, guys. That's the breaking news, I would imagine, so far. Let's have a look. Where's my deal Kerr? Where's he
No,
going?
he looks all right. Corach Rambler's actually, he's doing all right.
He's loving it. Yeah, he's loving it. Yeah.
Corach Rambler's on his own line. He's jumping well. He's in a good rhythm. I mean, it's been
Corach
carnage.
Rambler's a lot closer.
I've
Good
got a
job
feeling
there,
Deal
Corach
Kerr
Rambler.
might have gone, guys. I can't see the yellow cap at the moment. Where's Ain't That a Shame, DJ?
Yeah, he's creeping into it under Rachel. Started off last into mid-division now under
Where's
Rachel.
Lemilos?
Vanillier travels well.
That's a
the
great
grey.
shot.
Lemilos is just about jumping it now, is he?
Where? I
Hang
can't.
on. Hang on. I'm looking
just
for him.
trying
We
to
can't
see
find.
the
We're on
bar.
Lemilos cam. We should get an idea now. Sean Bowen is rowing away at last year's winner, Noble
Yes,
Yates.
he is. Right.
Against
Have you got him, Kealy?
Lemilos, orange
Lemilos
cap
is
in the middle,
behind
yeah.
our power and whatever. So he's right in the middle. Sorry, orange cap behind Capodanno, I think. that is.
Fortescue is lying up more handily than normal. Under Hugh Nugent must be
Mr.
thinking
Coffee,
this could be it.
absolutely loving it.
Mr. Coffee with coming in round to just about have the first circuit, and the news is Mr. Coffee is leading in the Grand National. Couldn't be, could it? For Nicky Henderson, he's never won this race.
On a going day today.
He said, "I won't retire, but it will be just about the doth in the cap if he wins this." He's having a great week as well. Could he possibly last out? Look at that. Roy Marsh is up there. A lot of love for that at the moment. Our power pulling for his head a bit. Is Corach Rambler a bit close here, guys?
He's very close, yeah.
He's very close, and he's absolutely lobbing. And given how well handicapped,
And
he is.
Still can't see Lemilos.
Lemilos
in the
is
middle, right in front
Oh
of him.
yes,
Yeah,
okay, I got him now. Harry Skelton's got him in
One
about
horse is
30.
He's next to Capodanno, who's taken a bit of a hold.
Noble Yates is starting to
Gabby's
actually
crossed
grab
out the
hold of
back
it.
for DJ in the
No,
white cap.
Noble Yates
Is
is
that
under
Wave
it,
of the
isn't
Sea?
Any second now, still there.
Any second
Any
now's
second
out
now
the
he's
back.
second last.
He's
Dunboyne
second
is last. Yeah.
Noble Yates is just starting to warm up a bit. Guy Dominion's with him a bit. Let's look for some of the other players.
on,
Where's
Peck.
Capodanno, Keels?
Oh, Gabby's cross is gone.
Capodanno's absolutely lobbing. He's pretty much alongside Lemilos.
What does that mean if you followed you in, Keels? Are you happy with this?
I'm happy with his going at the moment, but it's a long way to go. He's skipped over that one. You
We've
see
got
him
a
there.
circuit left, guys.
Circuit to go.
He's next to Evers Oscar, yeah? You see,
Okay.
you see next to the grey Evers Oscar.
I want to say we're going over the Melling Road, and I want to go to David Jennings.
Yes, Melling Road, we have Cocoa Beach currently leading with my old buddy, old pal, Mr. Coffee. Our power going swimmingly on the inside.
then
going
Noble
really
Yates-
well. The big dog, for price-wise, Mr. Tom Siegel, is absolutely loving it, the big dog. He's
Ain't That a
creeping
Shame
nicely.
is still going.
Yeah, no, Ain't That a
Dunboyne
Shame.
can
Ain't That a
pull
Shame has travelled beautifully through the race.
Right, they're going round one here.
Bypassing this
They're
fence.
bypassing
Oh
the
dear.
fence.
That was the first last time
the
round.
pace seems to have slackened considerably here. The pace has slackened.
Where's Delta
and they're
Work,
bunching
guys?
Up. Delta Work is in the second colours of
White
Gigginstown
cap.
Hutstone.
White
The
hat.
white cap on the
Yeah.
That's
outside.
round the outside,
On
yeah.
the outside.
There's
And
a
it
lot
is,
of the major players in this
Second
race
now
at the
being
moment.
pulled up.
Any second now is being
Oh,
pulled
any
up.
second
It's a
now.
case
Just
of
not the dream, not alive, I'm
for any
afraid.
second now. The big dog under Aidan Coleman is tracking the loose horse with Cocoa Beach, Mr. Coffee, Our Power, Roy Mage going spectacularly well is Roy Mage. Then you've got Lemilos, who is going really well for Dan and Harry Skelton. Being switched dramatically from inside to outside there. I just can't spot
Back
exactly
on the left.
that
That's
was.
Guard de Menil giving up the outside to no one all of a sudden.
Rachel Blackmore is just creeping ever so slightly
Oh.
into contention on Data
She is.
Shame,
There
but she's on
are-
the inside. And the one
Lemilos
horse,
right upsides.
the one horse we haven't mentioned so far, and if you're on him, you would be extremely
Delta
happy.
Work,
Work!
The one horse we haven't mentioned so far that is going extremely well is Mr. Incredible, who did start,
Yes.
and he could finish very strongly because
Yeah.
he is going really
Yeah.
well. We're coming up to the canal turn soon.
Here
and,
we go.
Here we go. It's Mr. Coffee, still loving life.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Was that
Lemilos.
Beaches?
That
This
was
is the
Beaches.
canal turn
Look
coming
at
up,
Noble
guys.
Yates.
Let's Foyne over
Look
coming
at
up. Come on.
Noble
Oh, this
Yates.
is Foynehaven, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Noble
Thank God Paul
Yates.
Kealy's actually in the studio.
Noble Yates is going really
All right, I got
well.
excited then because Capodanno took a real reach for that
Cruising
Beaches.
kill.
gonna be
Yes,
hardly
but he
any
reached for the
horses left,
Beaches,
isn't
so
it?
Here's the canal turn,
Here's
right?
the canal turn. Here we go. It
Mr.
is
Coffee,
Mr.
Cocoa
Coffee,
Beach.
Cocoa Beach, the big dog, Roy Mage, Our Power, Corach
Go on.
Rambler.
Come on, the Corach.
And they've
All
all
over.
cleared. They've all cleared it. It's shaping up nicely here. We've got about 8 to jump, I think.
We have.
And it
Someone's
is
just
Mr.
plopped off
Coffee.
the side. Someone's just plopped
We
off
lost
the
Eva's
side.
Oscar.
Right.
And
Vanillier's out the back.
Rachel is creeping. She's tracking Corach Rambler. Corach Rambler goes really well.
Carefully
But the-
selected, not going well.
Sitting
big
some
dog.
way off it. He's now sitting a fair way off it on Lemilos. I don't know whether he seems to be happy enough, but I mean,
Is
he's
he
a long
going
way
well?
off.
We'll find out in a
I mean,
couple of
Corach
fences.
Rambler is catching the
Corach Rambler is
eye.
absolutely
Yeah,
tanking.
he
He is
is.
looking
And
amazing.
so is the big dog. Our
Ain't
Power,
that a shame?
Cocoa Beach is still there. Ain't that a shame, Rachel? You're creeping into it, Rach.
I think don't think
You're
we've got that
creeping
many
into
to
it,
go,
Rach.
guys.
How
This is
many
3
we-
out, isn't it?
this
I
is-
think.
Is there only 2 to jump?
I think those 3 to go,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Corach Rambler looks
Gaillard and
weird.
Menier is creeping into it.
Gaillard de
He
Menil
is.
is creeping into it as well.
Corach Rambler hasn't put a foot wrong.
He's
we
absolutely
go.
tanking.
There
But
is
at the moment,
7 with a
Mr.
chance.
Coffee.
Mr. Coffee is 5 clear from the big dog. It is Corach
Didn't
Rambler
Hendo
is in
say
third.
he'd retire if Mr.
he go,
Coffee won the Grand
He said he
National?
might.
Right, he's sneaking.
They're
sneaking
queuing
close,
up,
Lemilos
guys.
is there.
Lemilos is
Gaillard
now
de
sneaking
Menil is there.
much closer now.
Derek Fox is at pains not to go for
Going
Corach
too
Rambler,
soon.
isn't he?
Yes.
They are queuing up. Now
they're
we're
queuing
going
up.
for it. Ain't that a shame just starting to shake
No,
the
ain't
reins?
that a shame? It's beating it.
Lemilos is coming. The big
Gaillard
one in
de
second.
Menil.
I'll tell you what, Nico de Boinville said,
Corach
catch me
Rambler.
if you can. He's going to get them out of their comfort zone at some point.
He is
Forgot
good.
about
He's got
Mr.
him right
Coffee.
Gaillard
out
de
there, right
Menil
there.
and Corach
Holy
Rambler
God.
probably the closers. Carefully selected is coming, but surely all too late. Noble Yates has got it all to do from
Can't
there.
keep going, Mr. Coffee.
I tell you what, Paul Townend looking
Oh,
confident. And he
Mr.
goes over the
Coffee.
second last. All of a sudden, Corach Rambler's
Corach
absolutely
Rambler
cruising.
is
Could this be
absolutely
the
cruising.
one for Scotland? The big dog looks like he's
Corach
out of his feet.
Rambler.
Now
Here we go,
all of a
they're
sudden,
coming.
Gaillard de Menil is in some trouble, I think, but we know he stays. All of a
Oh,
sudden,
it's Corach.
Corach Rambler's going on. He's on the bridle. He's £10 winning this
Amazing.
horse. This could be it. Derek Fox sends him on for
Lucinda.
glory. What's going to catch him? Vanillier is absolutely
Vanillier
flying.
is flying.
Look at Vanillier.
Oh
He's
my
flying.
God.
Is it
This
too
race
late?
is not
Corach
over.
Rambler is
This
flying.
race is not over.
Come on, the Corach, up you go, Derek. He might have. Oh my God. He's running on. Come on, the Corach Rambler. Aye, we got it on when it matters the most. We saw him at Cheltenham, £10 winning. Vanillier's there. Another Cheltenham Festival with a Gaillard de Menil. It looked like Noble Yates got 5th. Wow, the big dog was there as well. A win for Lucinda Russell. One for Arthur. Sadly passed away this year. He has got his replacement. And Derek Fox, what a ride.
David Orton, take a bow. Take a bow. Stand up.
Happy
stand up,
days, we'll
stand up,
do for it.
Take a bow. Well
I
done.
needed something this show, I
Presenter
can tell you.
extraordinaire. I see Davey Russell saying congratulations to Derek Fox and Corach Rambler there. What happened to Galvin?
I am really not sure. He must have gone early, Galvin,
Gone
mustn't he?
early.
There we go. We can see Tom Scudamore retired, of course, a big part of the team. Peter Scudamore will be in tears. Lucinda Russell lost her father, of course, such a big part of the team. Leading up to Cheltenham, this guy delivered there. He was so well in Natalie Green. The worry about him was getting too far behind. Derek did not read the script.
Not even just that, it's just that Derek managed to get back on him after obviously that frightening moment if Derek was going to be on him, because obviously he had that fall. I mean, the narrative, the stories behind this is absolutely
and like a couple, as a couple, Lucinda Russell,
British horse.
I don't know either. I don't know Peter
You'd
Scudamore
love
and
him.
I don't know Lucinda Russell, okay? But as racing people, that is what the sport is about. Lucinda Russell, Peter Scudamore,
Yeah.
like they're just a breath of fresh air. I love Lucinda. She's always smiling.
She's so
always happy.
easy to deal with. She comes on every show you ask her to do. Scudamore would come in as well. He's been in this studio, Pete Scudamore, on one of the early What a Shouts as well.
He was
This
great
is
on
their
it as
second
well.
And I
national. He was
can't tell
great
you,
on it.
because I do actually know them, and I can't tell you, Lucinda, right, you wouldn't believe it because she's a Scottish trainer. Aintree and Lucinda loves Aintree.
And he went
School
off
is
favourite,
Cheltenham.
guys, as
He
well.
went off favourite, wow.
Yeah, he was the
Lucinda-
favourite. Favourite wins the national. Vanillier has run an absolute star.
What a run from Noble Yates.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Great
it
run.
is.
Yes, because he was off the
Amazing.
bridle. Born by the Sea, I think might have been sixth.
Born by the Sea. Roy Madge ran a cracker.
Yeah, for your
finished
places.
seventh.
He might, because you've got top 8, don't we? Let's keep it. Oh, the camera goes off it totally. So, listen, Corach Rambler, the signs were there. We had Lucinda Russell in this studio, and what a shout. We said, do you fancy your chances in the Coral Gold Cup? She said, he's a lunatic, this horse. He'll be looking at the ambulances. He'll be looking like he doesn't enjoy himself. They roughed him off after that. He came to Cheltenham. He won the strongest Ultima we can remember for years, with plenty in hand. The handicapper got it right. But
What
it's
was he,
all
a
about
20
the
grand
tactics.
horse?
Oh, it just is
Wasn't
remarkable, isn't it? He has come from out of
mean-
nowhere. I said to you yesterday, didn't I, DJ? I think this horse should be running in, near Gold Cup
Yeah, fair
company.
play. You called it the whole way.
Well, he might be next year.
It's interesting here. We're just watching the replay. They're turning for home, like Mr. Coffee. Oh, Mr. Coffee.
Oh.
Do you know where he finished? He
Right.
finished about 18th.
Did he?
He's 6 lengths in front. jumping
We're
the line.
laughing if you're on him, of course. He's given Nico such a sight, but I mean, he's basically teed it up, isn't he?
He's having the crack. He's good
But
at banter. He'd be
Corach
great on the night
Rambler, Derek Fox, I called it in
Like-
like 4 out. He did not want to let him go.
Most jockeys right at this point, so we're about 50, 100 yards from the last
Yeah,
race.
there's the
Most
top 4
jockeys
guys.
would go there. Most jockeys
Yeah.
would say, right, I need to go. Even after jumping the last, look, he
He's
takes
taking
a
a
pull,
pull.
look. He
But
doesn't
look at the
ask him to
horse's
go.
head when he gets to the elbow. You think he's tying up. And Vanillier, the second, is about 12 lengths off him at this
Unbelievable
point. Gaillard de Menil, he'll be coming back next year for sure, won't he? Born by the Seas one, an absolute sledge of the
Look at
Raglan.
Corach
That head
Rambler.
carriage is
Wow.
insane, that, isn't it?
It's now. No, it's now, and you think, because he hasn't in the end. Obviously, he doesn't win
He
by
won
that
easy,
much.
yeah.
Because look, now he goes,
my Lord.
why am I here?
Here's the crowd.
He actually had loads left.
He's won easy.
Yeah.
hasn't
Has
he?
he?
He has.
Easy.
He
Has
has.
he actually hit the horse only once? I think he's only hit the horse
And
once.
that, listen,
panics
that's
a
a
bit
great
now,
advert in
but
itself,
isn't
isn't
that
it?
great?
Vanillier will be back next year. You'd
Right.
imagine he's found his niche now, Kills, hasn't he?
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
There's
Around
Mr.
there, he got a bit out of his ground, didn't he? But he
Yeah.
certainly rattled home.
And we're
Oh,
watching
look at
Tom
Tom
Scudamore,
Scu
who's just
there.
retired, of course, now part of the team. This is marvellous. And we hadn't had since One for Arthur a British horse in the top 3. There was a delay to the race. It was a total disgrace, wasn't it? From every angle that you look at it. And what a story this is. Absolutely superb. He just is, 8-1 favourite. He looked sure to go off a short price favourite. They started coming for horses all over the place. And I don't know what to say, really. I mean, it's just,
Tom's face.
he's different class, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
brilliant winner. Best horse won the race. No hard luck stories. It was just a fantastic Grand National. Plenty of trills and spills. They
Yeah.
went lickety split down to the first. Loads of fallers. And at the end of the day, Dave Orton tipped, backed, and napped the winner.
You're only
At
as good as you
33-1.
lost. Yeah, getting your TARDIS, Bruce Millington.
Did you back at the 33s?
Yeah, after it was one of those where it's been a long time since I've seen a national winner like that so far out. But I must admit, I wobbled a bit in the week when he looked like he was drifting out, and I thought, am I thinking he's going to get too far back? But Derek Fox, who only just made this ride, of course, that's another story. Absolutely fantastic.
And one thing I will say for Lucinda, the other day, it must have been gut-wrenching that a high senior was beaten by Shishkin. After the race, she was interviewed, and she was so, in defeat is how really sums up a person. And in
Lady.
defeat, she was said, the horses run a cracker.
Yeah.
He's done
She's a
everything
lady.
right. She's a lady.
Listen,
Fair play to you,
we're
Lucinda.
watching it come in. He's by Jeremy, of
But
course,
we-
this horse.
We talk about
Makes it even
the
weirder.
lack of British success stories in the Grand National. Lucinda's won too. I mean,
Yeah, it's
what
marvellous.
the
And you're
heck?
right, DJ. She is just a perfect person to have on these shows. She gives you absolutely everything. They go up and down the country in their, with their dogs and everything in their, camper van, isn't it? You see them all over the place. She always smiles and has a chat. We see her at awards dues, all that sort of thing. They are a great duo, and it seems a bit cliche and a bit cheesy, but fully deserved. And another win for Scotland.
Are you going to treat us to dinner now after?
I'm going to buy some baked beans, as promised. David Jennings hates his baked beans. I'm going to feed him a plate of them. Listen, this has been great. You've been watching from all over the globe here. We had a delay. We started off what seems like an age ago, doesn't it? David Jennings, your first Racing Post Live. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Yeah, I'd like to apologise to all viewers for my pathetic tip and display. I thought Ain't That a Shame was creeping into it, just didn't get home. It's been terrific.
You've got a bit of credit with them.
Terrific host, terrific company. What better way to spend the Grand National than in between Paul
What's the
Kealy
scoreboard
and
then?
Natalie?
I would apologise for my pathetic tip in display, but they're used to it by now. Never do a tap
And it
when I'm on
turns up you've
RP
got an
Live.
exactor up on the slide, isn't it? And all that sort of thing. Listen, we've had great fun. Well done to Mission Control and the gallery. It's been a great week here at the Racing Post. This is one of the important weeks for us, DJ, isn't it? The morning show's been great. In the Know's been great. The podcasts have been great. I'll be front page on Monday. We've got all the up in the ante coming back later in the year, but it's Royal Ascot next for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, what we try to do here in the Racing Post is just transfer our passion across to the viewer, and I think you've done that brilliantly today. And we're on to Royal Ascot now. The Guineas is coming up. Obviously, it's into flat mode, but we have Punchestown before that, so we've plenty of Punchestown shows as well.
We've got the Scottish National
And the
next week.
Scottish
Me and Natalie are going.
Why are you always forgetting about the Scottish?
Will you look after him next week?
I can't wait to see Luce there. I hope Lucinda throws a Grand National party that we get to go to. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, maybe, and you're going to be, expanding your family the next time we see you. Well done today.
I don't know what way you're going to phrase
I don't know
that there.
where I was going with that.
She's definitely going to be expanding over the next few weeks anyway, yeah.
For sure, well, you never know.
But keep eating cream eggs.
Natalie,
I
you've
will.
done ever so well. All considered the queen of RP Live. Keels, thanks for coming back on.
No problem, mate. No
This
problem at all.
has then been the 2023 Grand National. The favourite won it. It's simple, this game, isn't it? Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the front page on Monday, where you're going to get all the debrief on what's happened today. I've been Dave Orton. Enjoy that sport. Well done, guys.